there. Favour him to win that duel. The fact he's showing that he can go toe-to-toe today, but in a very important game as well. But you do just have to keep on winning at this point.
They went fast on mid. We're good.
It's a better picture. Scrappy start towards mid. Height disbalance with the orb tacked down to 13, so he's going to posture up. But there's the peak from Dilladez. And he's spotting everything on this. Tons of info. Not ready for the run through the smoke for Rez. And they're bringing this round back alive. The Lazarus effect here. Down to just 2. Glowing and disbalance. Let's see if they can do it again here, Vince. They get a read towards mid-side. Glowing looking to take the peak, and Cindery's going to make it uncomfortable for him. He's got to tuck in behind the doors. Spamming in the back line, getting tags out, but no kills.
I just can't believe, honestly, NIP's still in it.
At least has the benefit of knowing where one of these 3 players are, but with so much time left, they can easily retrieve the bomb, drop back at the double doors.
Would it be high res?
And fast track over on the site for a post plant. So looking like a save on 9 Pandas at best case scenario. Just making sure that he's not hiding in the cave.
I'm back, but now I'm eating food.
Especially as his teammates aren't really with him to bodyguard. It could get really awkward, you know, if he goes for the plant, gets shut down, then maybe the fuse comes in. So understandable, they're just being ever so careful. Oh, the timing. Brutal. And Idisbalance will not be able to save the orb. Now, they've got plenty of funds to come back in, but if it would be a secondary orb
sorry, Bolly, I'm being a little picky.
Can you just do it would have to be a glass cannon.
Major
and at this kind of standing in the game where there's going to be a few grenades that missing here
for the teams and stuff, I don't have to update it in case nobody's on.
To play, so I think he's gone for the A1S instead.
And this is the round that MIP win as well, right? Going into it with a very scrappy setup. Just the Deagle's Tech 9 single rifle. They find impact towards mid. Rez runs through the smoke. So as much as Dilladez had all the info, you're overwhelmed. So reinvestment comes back out. Concessions made, minor in terms of the utilities. There's a couple gaps there, late round for 9 Pandas. No defuse kit either. So they just take it headstrong. Resort, scrapping down mid. Very aggressive game from their CT side setups. That's the AWP of Wrinkle taken out of the game before he can even find impact with a weapon that he's known for.
Thank you, Bolly.
It's kind of aggression that can really stamp your authority down on Ancient early doors. And if we were worried about maybe nerves creeping in, then it seems like 9 Pandas aren't just yet. Taking the fights, happy to get in the thick of it. And Shalfie has had a lot of impact on the mid side. He's been Molotov'd off, not going to spread to him, so doesn't need to utilize that smoke and keep it
anymore.
To actually fend away.
Now he mostly spends his time tweeting a device.
Downside of this, though, is it does allow the T's to have more control over middle. With 55 seconds left, they're starting to slowly move their way up on the ramp. Idisbalance does have the off angle, but a flash could neutralize this position completely.
They're going for the boost up on the back as well. You're just jump spotting there for Glowing. Luckily enough, the shot misses. So Idisbalance can get himself into a better position, play off one another here with the crossfire. Peek out good, no real response. Tagging, slowing down Isaac as well. Swings back, but he's so low on health. It's quick trades. 3 versus 2. Ooh. Up close and personal with the AWP, wields it like a shotgun, blows away Disbalance, fast swing as well, and an over flick from Yokab there, wielding Wrinkle's AWP. So it's all down to Rez once again, 17 seconds on the timer, you've got to get the bomb, 2 angles to contend with, one of them being held by Resort on the walkout, missed shot, they close it, put a lid on the game.
Yeah, just 40 HP as well, needed that insta entry, didn't come through. Small little cheer across from 9 Pandas, knowing that they've managed to break down the economy somewhat, but there will be another buy-in from the T's. So NIP want to make sure that they facilitate this buy as best as possible by getting Exist involved. But yeah, this mid-control has been a consistent issue. We haven't really seen like a crunch over on Cat yet through cave and ramp pushes. That's probably a play that's going to be up the sleeve of 9 Pandas at some point. And it's likely very cognizant of this fact from NIP. When do they want to push? Or are they just going to dial it back a little bit? We saw Shalfie that last round not really get aggressive, play a lot more passively at the top of red. Playing the mind games a tad. It's up to NIP to try and break the deadlock
did play with the OGs, yeah.
Second AWP on the T-side campaign for Mr. Wrinkle. And there's a big AWP disparity between both of these.
I'm eating here, bro.
One of them is a huge performer for the team. The other one hasn't really been able to
find
his form
over the
course of this event. Wrinkle's been going for twice the amount of opening duels that Idisbalance has. And again, here you see why. He's quick with these, even missing the initial shot, but favoring himself for the follow-up. If Glowing walks back into cave, he's a dead man, knowing it's compromised. He's going to post up inside of the cubby. And Shalfie towards Red Room. Got the timing on this one. Finds Yokab smoke relatively deep as well, so there's a gap he can play around on this. Might even fancy his chances going for the swing back out, doubles up. Shalfie with 2.
Yeah, you nailed it, man. That smoke was too deep. Shallow could just
Stop
go out
eating,
for the
give us
Shalfie, I should
attention.
say. Should just go out for the peak on the shallow
No.
approach. And I'm not even sure Rez had any idea that that was a possibility. Glowing has also shut down Mistem. So for all of Wrinkle's early work with the tag and then the follow-up kill, it looks like it may be for naught. And yeah, I mean, iDisbalance has been the AWPer that we've looked at time and time again. We've casted him already. He had a very flat game, didn't really have any impact whatsoever.
That's
but
right.
in the early doors of this game, it's been going his way. It's actually Wrinkle that's been struggling a little bit more.
Like I said,
He hasn't had the AWP great
Nori
deal,
understands.
obviously.
Nori also
Economy hasn't
understands
really
that
allowed him to fully flourish with it just yet.
if she
but
lets me do this, then
still very early
basically
days in this best of 3, of course.
more
A
than
lot can
likely we'll go
change.
to some really nice place because I want to.
For
and
this
she
round,
wants to,
though, it
and it'll be
doesn't
nice.
appear it's going to be a save into a 5-1 scoreline
Some
on
actual
the side
quality
of
time, you know.
Pandas.
Oh, the revival games, they were good.
Back it off. Hold on to what you've got. Go back into the next. And this was with Wrinkle going for that fast hit on Cave. The only frag they found into the round. Obviously, the response back was the peek out from Shalfie at mid. He'll take that one. Glowing, dropping the love hearts. So ideal opener into their CT side. This was the pick from Wrinkle on the run-in. And then, of course, Shalfie with the closer towards mid with the double up.
So a buy is pretty much non-existent. It's Deagles alongside the 2 safe weapons. NIP as well, remember, they did call that tactical timeout. Nothing really went their way, but you have to feel like a key pivotal moment
Missed
in that
him as
round
the
actually
IGL
was
for
the flop
NIP.
smoke into the peak. That basically
And
shut
he's,
down mid and gave
if you guys don't
Nine
know
Pandas
the
a
lore of
fantastic
him,
advantage. So
he came over with
these
the
little
South
small
African
mistakes
guys,
can cost you so
JT,
dearly at this
Sonic,
level of CS.
all those guys.
Missed them out in the meanwhile.
So he
though,
played
but
in
Result
NA
there
for a
to
while.
send him packing with the AK.
And then he went
Although
over to
Wrinkle's
NIP's
boosted up
academy
and Glowing
team.
is low. He can't quite finish it off just yet.
It's Dilladez as well. That's the insurance policy. Wrinkle's looking for the cave run out. The verticality's going to throw him off. So Dilladez can run straight in. Even spamming on the fight through the doors here softens up Isaac massively. Hinging on a pick towards the B bomb site. And that's not there. Constricting them now as well with the advanced positioning. You got trapped by the doors. You go running out.
He's
from
not
this,
very good.
crosshairs,
Considering
you
this is
get
the
left a bit.
furthest
They're
I've
still
seen
looking to try
NIP
and
get
fight
and
on
the
it as
closest
well.
they've gotten to a
Headshot
major.
angle for Isaac. But even dragging
Sorry.
his guns into the next. is a
Compared to what we've
limited
seen from
opportunity
the
for them.
previous NIP rosters, I think he's doing quite well, considering the circumstance.
The only thing that may allow them the chance to maybe save the AK is that the economy of 9 Pandas not fully established on a few. The fact they've put out Yokab and dropped the bomb. Seems like Isaac wants to fight for this one, and Dilladez will oblige. Another convincing, straightforward round.
This
Sure,
is a
it
lazy
was
pickup
against,
by
for
NIP.
the most part,
Have
just
you seen
Deagles.
what happens to NIP when they
But already
try to
a
go for the big
second
splash
timeout
signings?
called. NIP clearly feeling the pinch. Missed them, yet to get off the mark on 0-6.
It feels like NIP needs to start putting out the milk cartons with his face on the back because Mistem's missing. Where is he? He's had opportunities as well, Vince. Like some of the aggressive angles he's gotten himself into, right?
Draco,
It's
I
not
get that you're not
happening,
like a fan of them.
And that's the worry.
I call
As much
NIP
as,
the
like,
EG
obviously
all
you
the time,
look
but
at
you're
it
also
and
kind of
statistically
like
can back up
misrepresenting what's going on with the team, I
He's
feel
the
like.
passive AWPer. You know, he's waiting for things to happen, whereas Wrinkle is the one that's instigating the plays. Both the times
Calling
he's
this
had the
lazy
orders,
when
the
they're
one
finally
pick
not
inside
just
cave
trying
where
to
he goes for these quick
do the
halving
get-rich
hits,
quick scheme for a
plays a lot of
roster,
spawns, plays a lot of intuition.
and they finally have a little bit of
when
success.
he's
I'm
not
not
got
saying
that
they're going to
ball,
qualify,
It's a drop-off. You
but
can see here, of
at least
course,
for
you've got
once,
the
it
money
actually
to
seems like
afford
they have
it
a
with how
plan and
this
a
has been
vision.
going so far. So Galil's in play, tons of util at least. But what do they change? How do they set this up? The fights towards mid have been relatively back and forth. 2 players on elbow. You've got utility to work with. Deep nades thrown in from 9 Pandas on the B hit. This balance this time, he's the only one situated towards B with a quick rotate from Glowing if they do suspect a push is coming, but a lot more aggressive with their setup on mid side. You're going to go for the late flash out, see if they can run in. Again, sets up that duo. Shalfie with support. It's Dilladez that's inside of Donut this time.
I think this mix of pace has really kind of caught NIP in an awkward spot as well. A lot of aggression in those first 3 or so rounds, especially the rifles. And now slowing it way more down. The grenade blows open the smoke, and Dilladez from Donut pivots in for 3. Sending this round into the blender one more time. NIP can do nothing. I almost feel sorry for Wrinkle. It's like we're kind of discussing how little impact he's had.
Absolutely shut on. Honestly, I'm with this guy. Never mind. These guys are
crumbling around you like this. You don't really have control over any area of the
device
map.
again, NIP. Let's go.
Even when they smoke off red, it's like Shalfie is still finding ways to have impact. He didn't get on the scoreboard, but he's weakening up multiple players there in the process.
Dilladez dealing death. Huge play. And yeah, I mean, he also just draw their attention, right? Like they break the smoke, everyone suddenly flicking their crosshairs towards Red Room. He gets the tag out, you swing out, because Dilladez has been going for those rotates out through cave side as well. This is a bit quicker. Fast play, you've got Tech9, you're gonna run in, use the flashbang, Smords over the top, see if you can smoke off Donut and CT. 1-for-1 trade, but he gets a rifle. Advanced position inside of Donut as well. And Dilladez. He shows off his position, eye disbalance, spotting out onto the Tech, trying to bait out the shot. Leg goes too deep. Mac 10 responds back from Wrinkle. He really wants to grab that.
Is ACS in a worse state than NACS?
Might not matter though.
Honestly, it's pretty rough for them right now.
Dilladez is going to set up Glowing with a flash over the top. Glowing can go through the walk out. But they've got noise on this one. They're posturing off as well, so no need to commit to the plant. They've been able to get 2 weapons off the back.
Honestly, I would say yes.
Grab that AK from inside of Donut. Wrinkle's got his hands on the big green gun as well. And you can walk back from this. And the longer they cut time, cut noise, you're thinking, okay, maybe they're wrapping off. They're going to go for the late B hit on this. They've got enough time to go for it. So Wrinkle's hoping one of them pushes for the info play on A main. He hits that shot, and then they can make their decision.
I think it's just so uncomfortable as well when you have the smoke start to fade and Wrinkle's got the AWP, so he's a little bit less mobile. They want to try and mix it up here, try and draw away one of 9 pandas while they go for that fast rotation. I say fast, it's been pretty labored, but it's about to have to pick up pace because there's not that much time left on the clock. 25 seconds, flash in. Oh, Wrinkle fully blinded and Dilladez takes him out in midair. However, this bait has paid off in the sense that the post plant now is able to come through. Isaac playing up close will try to catch the CTs in an awkward spot, and if they line up, this could go down real quick for Isaac. Spray
to help out the YouTube chat.
5 bullets left, but that's more than enough.
Well played,
and
Isaac.
NIP
Well
has
played.
stolen this round away. Had Tech9s coming into
I'm responding to something in the YouTube chat. All the RMRs, guys, for all the regions are in Shanghai, and the majors in Shanghai.
With Mac 10 and Tech9 for that duo.
So everything you're seeing, and this is the last RMR. This is actually the last
towards Donut as well.
This is the last day. We're seeing the final teams qualify today.
So heavily committed, believing it was going to be a late walk back in, a bit of a bait where they'd return towards the A site. Wrinkle keeps them on the bomb site. He gets the plant off, and then he's so close ahead that he can close down the round. That's 1 of 2 they've been able to secure over the course of this so far, though. Need more of a buffer to play with. Warps back out for Wrinkle again on reinvestment. Oh, missed them on the cross. Gets spammed in by Dilladez. But there's Wrinkle. Blind, still fragging. Glowing, blown to bits. Spam back through. I know about Dilladez's position.
How the other tournament go today? You mean mine? The Revival Series? It went well.
Chips through the wood, bringing him down to 19. 4 versus 4 here. Tons of time on the clock.
First world problems, it went so well. I'm eating my food right now because I didn't have time to eat it before.
Sympathy for Mistem is
this game
0-8 just gets pierced through the smoke. Isaac, though, has opened a way forward over onto the A site. They're going to exploit this instantaneously. 9 pandas already setting up as though they want to save. Understandable considering 2 of their 3 players are exceptionally low. And although their finances would be good for another buy, they want to hold on to these weapons so they can get a full-on utility belt alongside it. And play for those last 2 rounds of the half. So, good news for NIP, though, is it hasn't been a complete collapse. Yes, this T side has looked pretty shaky at best. They have 3 rounds already, and who's to say they don't end up with 5, which would be a great recovery, all things considered. Isaac's having a stormer of a game as well. He's up to 10. Some big entries in these last few rounds. Looks like 9 pandas will be afforded the luxury of a save.
In fact, I just finished my phone, so.
NIP needed some sort of comeback into this game. A string of rounds towards the tail end of the first half could be enough to wake them back up.
And then we're fully back.
Felt like you were pushing up daisies, you know, they're just going down again and again. But finally, a little bit of fight brought back. Isaac with 10 kills, missed them. Still struggling to bring himself onto the board, though. Not off the starting block yet. Orbs back out for a disbalance. You've got those saved AK as well to work with in the hands of Resort. A man that I thought we would see really, you know, going blow for blow in a game like this, Vince. But again, he's been relatively quiet. It's a lot more of the squad dealing the damage for him. Instant molly around the corner onto elbow. Make it uncomfortable for Wrinkle. He's trying to play on the periphery of it. Resmoke goes in, so they've got to give up the angle. Can't really hold on that one. So Resort, maybe this is the round where he comes alive.
Flashed into the peak, the smoke's in the way. However, he can close the gap. Looking to constrict on the cap for the time being, and they have forced back the T's. Now, one problem the T's have been suffering with time after time is entry frags. They've only picked up one opening duel in the entirety of this map. In 10 rounds, one time it's gone in their favor, and that was to Wrinkle. Shalfie has 3 by himself on middle. It's one of the reasons why this T side has felt pretty toothless, like it's been lacking punch. Because they've always been playing from behind for the most part. Will this round fare any differently?
Well, that AWP provides disbalance. It was on the A side playing behind the box. He used his smoke, called in for the rotate, switches off. Now he's playing deep on mid side, holding up, seeing if they come walking out late. And that is the call they're going to go for. It's a split push towards the B-bomb site. But Glowing's advanced position could be so impactful, but the flashbangs ruin it. First one's in, Resort. He's been biding his time for this, but no success. There is the connection back. Up close, the AWP provides this balance, sending Isaac off kilter. He's connected onto Wrinkle with a nice shot, and Rez as well, holding his own with the AK.
You think Astralis ever
All
goes
on
international?
Shalfie.
Not sure. As much as I dislike cheering for the organization, I do think it's cool that we have some like regional or national teams.
Now with 4 rounds. And obviously, Captain Obvious, in terms of 4 rounds, still not great on the T side
it's
of
a lot of fun,
but
you know?
considering the vast deficit they were facing down not that long ago, quite the recovery, and it could get just that little bit better because the finances on 9 Pandas is so
I just don't want the game to become like so international that like
they spend every single cent allocated to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've already seen an MP9.
I think eventually that's where it's going to be, but also if we don't have like stronger regions, I think it's just going to be all international teams in Europe. They had
to start waking up. They had to start grinding their way back in. Well, they have. They've put the foundations down.
That's more so like what I'm like.
That's been Isaac, but Rez
I don't think that's
round
good
showed us a little bit of something.
Like the more regions and the more
just a
people we have involved, the better. You know?
MP9, a smoke, an Idis balance, a FAMAS, and not too much in terms of kits. Just the one for Shalfie.
Just kind of going like, well, this is where everybody should be.
But we've seen
over time, it's actually just going to shrink things, not make it bigger and more successful, you know?
We can see NIP here this time around throwing the utility in for the setup of an idea of a fast hit towards the B site, when in reality you've got Wrinkle and the rest of the squad grouping up, getting contact up through main. He was pre-scoped, no audio cue. Is Shalfie looking for the run out? Oh. Sees the walk in, but no real response back and no utility for them there. So they can't slow it down.
G2 beat Spirit.
They've secured the site. Resort in Donut needs to win on this one. It's missed him with the bomb as well. So you take him down here. Bomb could go flying and make it a bit more uncomfortable. Instead, that's how missed them. Responds straight back, blowing with a bullet between the eyes as well. Shalfie being forced out. Wrinkle was holding for the cross. Misses the shot, but he's still making it rough for them. Down to the retake on this one. It's going to get real wild. T's in great positions, and Wrinkle ruining them with the AWP. Felt like that was their easiest round yet.
Fuck back.
One casualty on missed them on the fight towards Donut, but they pick it up.
Impressive
and a
stuff.
good recovery on the half.
Well done.
Looking really flat initially, feeling like they were losing out on their duels, unable to really convert from these rounds. Shalfie was feasting
better win
mid.
this major. Yeah, we'll see, man. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Starts to get into the groove of the game here. 7-5 could still be anyone's game.
Oh, it's definitely up for grabs now. It's up for debate. It's very one-sided, and NIP just looked flat, dejected almost. Exist had to get involved twice and eventually start to see some success. But you said it looked uncomfortable. Resalt looks uncomfortable to me. The trade he just lost out to miss them in Donut, he had the angle, he had everything going in his favor, but his aim was completely off. And again, the reason why we highlight that is because he's typically their best player pretty much. Like, he's the guy you look at when it comes to rifles to be the rock-solid component of this roster. So if he's having a bit of a rough one, that could be a problem, especially on the T side.
And the difference the Jewel could have made as well in the scheme of the round.
Yeah, Monasty's been struggling a little bit. Hopefully he can turn it around.
On his back in that encounter. He had backup, sure, but you make it messy. Could have bought more time for the rotate. Who knows? All said and done, though. We'll put that in the past. Focus on the present. Where's the pistol prowess today? Round 13 going live.
Type of stuff is on the
All
sheets.
USPs
It varies
with
from team to
investment
team,
into
I'm
the
sure.
smoke. And the kit for Mistum.
But tendencies,
Armor on the
things that
rest
you
of
want
the
to be
squad
reminding
for
yourself
NIP.
of.
2 players with utility here, setting
Excuse me,
themselves up
things
for
you
the
want to
AP
remind,
hit,
like,
smoke off
remember
either side,
what they
knock that
like to
off, goes
do.
The Molotov onto the cubby. As it can't come running out through cave. The Wrinkle, he's biding his time. Goes for a quick info play. Postures back through the smoke. They've been able to take control of the bomb site, but maybe not for long. Rez, smoke shot in. Hits the face of Glowing. Shalfie's forced to recover it. That's another tag to slow him down. So bomb only just being planted.
Oh, Dilladez on 4 HP as well, and he has been the shining light, the talisman so often at this event. So he's going to have to play more of a bait and try and get Result activated, but instead he's been put down.
Jesus.
Disbalance in all of this time, though, has been playing on the ramp side. Eventually, Dilladez is forced to meet his maker, and Yokab on the cross will double up to seal NIP's.
Damn, bro, this is 7-1, chat.
And that was some nice shots through the smoke, as he's saying. Like, obviously, it really did kind of wind down. But again, Result had chances off the box.
Yeah.
Dilladez was baiting him in.
Oh, shit, I had it in my clip yesterday, dude. But yeah, I don't know why they changed it. They just did.
Nothing. You expect him to get a kill or two out of that
What's
spot.
up, Badger?
More energy there for NIP now. They know that's a big round to win. And fair play to Yokab as well, doing his due diligence on the clear.
I always love hearing the energy.
Let's fucking box with low HP on top. You're hoping those teams won't expect there to be a second person in that position. Trying to play to his strengths with how low on HP he was, but doesn't really pay off. Contact play here towards the A site. Off the bomb plant, investment.
Has been the best player of the whole RMR. Has he? I haven't looked at their
Isaac's the
stats.
sole defender. Quick reposition for Wrinkle as well. He's on his way back around, but again, comes back to haunt them. Haven't got that utility to slow down the push. Your favorite.
Oh, dude, if you're asking me to explain exactly how it has something to do with your opponents that you played in the RMR. It's not like your overall.
Off this. Everyone's going to overwhelm on the peak back out. Another 2 frags for Yokab. He's quiet on the T side.
Yeah, Debbie, I don't know. It has something to do with like difficulty of opponent in the tournament.
Into the preceding round. Good play from Wrinkle and Isaac on the site. So no steal away bomb plant for 9 Pandas there. 7-7.
How long has Exist been a part of this org? He came back after Heroic broke up in the stabby stuff.
Tied up, but the advantage now fully
So
in favor
when
of
Cadian
NIP,
went to
because
Liquid,
9
is
Pandas
when
can't do
around
too much about this.
Basically the start of the year.
Credit to NIP, man, like to have the resilience to bounce back after a really shambolic first 5 or 6 rounds. Starting to share the burden as well. It's not just Isaac, but Wrinkle now starting to pop off on the CT side. Like you mentioned, Yokab, couple of good rounds. And Raz is always going to be a threat. HG designated to A main. Ooh,
is this was coaching Heroic like pretty much the whole time they're on that?
Does give them a way forward, but Yokab is
on their rise.
Try and deny this bomb plant. M4 also taken in amongst all of it, and the smoke put down onto Donut. Needs Wrinkle now to step up and deliver a couple of kills from this spot, but it's missed.
Oh, nice shot.
Dilladez with yet another deagle in this round, although he's down to 32. If he can pull that trigger one more time and connect, everything could come unraveled for NIP. The timing for Shalfie on this approach, though, has caught Rez in an awkward spot, and he expects it, though.
Damn.
He
Nice
does his due diligence,
Rez.
clears the angle, and gives NIP the advantage once more.
Deagle D's nips, but only for 2. Can't get any more on that one as he walks into the crosshair.
Jackie, what?
And disbalance, the aim punch, sending his crosshair off kilter.
Jackie's having way too much fun.
Best chance now is to commit to the plant. HE goes flying over the top, so no damage back from that. They might think he's really low. He's going to try and play on the anti-flash angle close inside the cave.
These nips.
They all go in together, so they can double up for it. Off angle with the peek out, gets one. Don't give the 1v1 here, boys. They're running in by 1. Oh, out of ammunition on the A1S. Had to switch to the other gun.
All right, Nori made me a coffee a second ago, so I'm going to grab it. Hold on.
Close, but no cigar. Makes it uncomfortable, though. At least getting the weapons out of their hands. And otherwise, it would have been a pretty clean round, right? Like Dilladez, 2 nice frags there on the Deagle. Then you bring it right down to the 1v1. So the economy, it's still there, but it's not as big as it could have been. They're not buffering it as much. These are the rounds that matter, though, Vince. Reinvestment comes back out. You get the AKs, AWP in the hands of iDisbalance, AWP for Wrinkle as well. Now, CT side, as much as it might not have been as much of a show-stopping game in his T half, on their CT side, I prefer the way he plays on Ancient. You will see that intuition, those aggressive plays. Takes a lot of deep control towards A main, always wrapping around the back. He goes for these very characteristic calls. It's Yocab on mid, looking for the fight, though. He can just post up in the close angle here, trying to take control of Elbow. Missed them running down the ramp. Shalfie holds it.
Fired some coffee.
Responds back, but Shalfie still standing. Flick onto the head of Rez, and that's that duo, Rez and Wrinkle. They love to play off one another, try and get control of the map, but the real control is on the A-bomb site, and that's now 9 Pandas.
Nips as an NIP? Well, yeah, what did you think he was talking about, dude? Clearly he meant NIP.
NIP can do nothing to weather this storm.
Care with that one? It's a sipper. It tastes really good.
Blown over the A site. Kills back-to-back. Map control attained as well. Wrinkle couldn't really get fully into this one. And Isaac, how he wishes he could try and tap on that bomb, but he has no kit. Prospects for the full defuse extremely low. And iDisbalance is watching from A main. So if he goes for that cross, he could be in a spot of bother.
It's a quad?
Down he goes. iDisbalance continuing his
fight form
up to 15. And 9 Pandas, as you mentioned, there was a buy coming in from NIP, but this is really where that 4K round into a post plant actually catches up with NIP and
from the lift, or
because now you're down to a really garbage economy where you're probably having to force buy, and it's going to be 5-7.
He didn't eat with her. To be fair, she made this before
this
eating.
Is 9 Pandas' golden opportunity to take this map and make it theirs.
How was the food? It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's ebbed and flowed. We saw a real rough start for Nip. They're starting to get back into the groove of the game, but as you touched on, with how uncomfortable it was going down to just one player, it's burned through their economy. Yocab looking for the fight here. Quick adjustment shots from Wrinkle as well. The 5-7 playing off the utility setup.
Wait, I just realized they got both. Hold on.
Picks.
I thought it was just one.
Play your cards close to your chest, though. Don't give this one away. Dilladez, Molotov'd in so he can take an advanced position inside a temple. iDisbalance playing for the run out through Donut. They want to try and bait them in with the nades. Only sees one. Resort paranoid about it. You could tap onto the bomb, try and draw the peek out. But do they know about Wrinkle's position? He might be low on health, but he can still frag with a 5-7 and a fairy tale, taking us in the direction of a round for Wrinkle. Reading them like a book, but the problematic trades leave us back in the 2v2, and it's all on the young Wrinkle. AK the play with, can he fold them up? Needs to spray on the peak round. A slow face into Disbalance would be death, but he can just posture off. Still a minute on the clock. It's up to him to make the move, and the bomb is down on the site.
Kobe.
Time is going to have to be the ally of iDisbalance. You have to feel, but the problem is he's not been quick enough on the draw. He turns around just in time.
You actually read it.
And nails Wrinkle. It was a round that NIP should have never been close in. And they nearly punished 9 Pandas, but iDisbalance, he had that game sense just come through. It looked like he was going to be pushing onto the site and was going to get backstabbed, but just turned around in the nick of time.
Playing for the bomb, thinking that he'd go for the plant. Wrap off, leave himself susceptible to the backstab, just play off the audio cue for the peek in. Doesn't work out. Wrinkle thought that fairy tale would have a happy ending, but not this time. So pause call back in, second of the game being used for 9 Pandas.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem
Turkey's
here
mini
as
thanks
well
to the
for
5 month
IP is,
reset.
like, you want
Thank
to
you.
be super hype about the fact that you just took 4 players down, and you know you're on this force buy of really awkward 5-7s, but you have no finances now to punish. So you basically have got so close, but now you just have to watch as 9 Pandas build up their economy one more time. It's full USPs. There's realistically nothing that should be attained or gained or any kind of reward in this round for NIP. For all intents and purposes, this is a formality of a round with 9 Pandas taking 10. So you got so close, but it doesn't end up mattering in the short game.
Bombsite compromised, audio cue being gathered. It hinges on Glowing here to close it down with a backstab. They're looking to wall Wolfpack out through Donut and mid-side. Attention drawn, he can go back in for the backstab. Yocab keeps locked on it. Oh dear,
oh
dear.
God.
Don't give them an inch, boys. They're grabbing themselves guns as well. You could just run away with those. Doesn't really matter about the round. Gives you the 2 AKs to play with off the back of 5 USPs on this.
Ignore what I said, Jackie. It should, that being the key word. It doesn't mean that it will. Yeah, you're spot on. You save those 2 AKs, and that is a great takeout of this round. Sure, you're still 10-8 behind. 9 is still in a pretty damn good position, but this should have been.
Who would you give your T-side molly to, chat?
Burger of a round. Like, this should just be NIP bowing out.
It's actually like
instead,
such a
2 AK-47s trading hands. 9 Pandas are going to be disappointed with that, and it was
I feel like
really,
you don't want to throw the molly. I give it to the mid player
as well. Like, I think it was Glowing that peeked out from elbow. Just
isn't that the one person you don't want to have it?
By USP, and then another player peeks out from Cat, but they know there's multiple players stacked in mid. It's just odd decision making.
He's hoping that everyone's focusing up on the peak there towards lane side. He can just mow him down with the AK, but Yocab was ready for that.
I feel like I'd want to throw it towards
the
mid, though.
So
Where
fast,
they take it?
Goodbye,
Who's
coming
got
back
it?
into it.
Rez?
Glass cannon AWP for Wrinkle. And this is
Nah,
what he
don't
does
throw
in
it
these
at
kind of rounds.
catwalk.
You'll see him very aggressive in towards A main. He'll try and take space if it goes a bit quiet. Instead, he just holds the line.
Well, they didn't smoke it, so I guess that works.
Going to be salty off the back of that one. They try and hit it quick into B. Missed them in the close angle. If they fight towards cave side, he's now got support as well. And Wrinkle's arriving on the scene. Another round from him. Death being dealt by Mistum as he'll hit all those, and I disbalance. Left in round 19, all on his Todd. Just one man left with an AWP in his hands, and Isaac's pushing out on the extremities. Might be able to find him here.
It was 7-1 at one point, and then NIP just rallied.
The footsteps, he knows. The same can be said the other way around. They both ran into each other, playing around the angle to perfection. No saved guns out of this. 9 Pandas can buy again, but Glowing down at $2,000. They elect not to go for a double up setup.
I was just helping out the mythic user real quick. If anybody wants to play gold, I got you.
Isaac is happy enough to hold on to the AK. Fully understandable, and they know the importance of that round. 2 super slick shots, by the way, from Wrinkle. Like, just runs around the corner and just snaps somebody back. It's kind of crazy how quick he is in those flicks.
That's what we're saying, like the statistical difference between their play styles. Vi Disbalance and Wrinkle, how those AWPers have very fundamental different ways of playing Counter-Strike 2. Wrinkle's always going to be aggressive, always wrap himself.
Gold 6-9.
Even glass cannon there. Difference of missing the shot.
And if you're 6-9 and you want to try it,
hinges on basically his teammate to slow down the push if they came barreling in, but good first pick, wraps off, expects the hit towards B on the response, only seeing the one.
I don't understand this. Are Big and 3 Max eliminated now? No, on top of it. They are not eliminated.
Situated in donut this time.
They did, however, lose their spot that they thought they previously had because of rule change. Like,
trapped outside, smoke wall goes up on the A main.
They should have been able to skip a step based on the rules they're using, and they backtracked the rules. So they still are in the major.
It's going to be Wrinkle, Rez, and Yocab in position to defend. Molly round on the corner, expecting the close angle. Will they know about the next man in line? Able to get the spray off for one. They're going for the hit onto the B site now. Cave control conceded. Wrinkle's got to wrap round the back.
Just have on Twitch. No, it's a different step. Face it once you're money. So they
just sitting on top of him. Walks for the run out. They might not expect this whatsoever. He's going to phase back through. It could line them up for 2. Damage done. It's a round you can get your way back into now. Paranoia for the Pandas. Isaac might be caught by disbalance if he goes in through cave, but they want to buddy up. 2 players, round through ramp. You got the incendiary, a flashbang to set them up on contact, and the bomb's only just gone down.
They're moving together. Trying to trade out.
Yeah, they went back to the original rules, but they changed it after results, which is crazy.
Fast enough. And now Disbalance realizes the situation is bleak. Nails the AWPer on the approach. Flash out, bomb tickled. Could force Disbalance out to the open. And Isaac takes him down. NIP continue to fight, continue to stay in this game, and ties back up at 10 apiece.
NIP took that 2-0 versus TSM on this very map. It was the second in the series, a 16-13 overtime win. So they're no strangers to games getting out of hand, but being able to find answers back. And Disbalance.
Yes, they mid-tournament reverted their rule change of a rule that they also changed.
NIP weren't really showing signs of energy early on into this one. They've just been getting louder and louder, and more Wrinkle plays are starting to don the screen. 19 kills to his name. Quick hit here, but Wrinkle always ready. Snapshot across, Riesel down in the dirt, missed him on the back off. But Rez, ready to rumble.
Oh, they're stuck. They're
Able to
stuck.
deal with another one. Keep those pistols out of arm's reach. They can't get up close and be lethal, and Rez ruins them.
7-1 at one point for 9
Solid
Pandas.
hold on the bomb site. They went for a quick hit with a low buy, but no success, no money made.
And the problem here is, as you mentioned, it's a low buy, but there's another low buy available if they want to take it. And third timeout called because you're 11-10 down. If you decide to half buy again here, you're eyeing up potentially playing for OT. This is a really awkward spot to be in if you are 9 Pandas. I'm sure they were anticipating, like, we're going to rush the site, we're going to get a plant down, then we're going to secure ourselves rifles into the next. Didn't happen.
No.
You get shut down completely by Wrinkle and Rez on the site, and now you are
There
forced
might be... Somebody clipped it
reassess
from
the
yesterday and we
situation, which
pinned
is
it, so it might
looking
have views.
increasingly grim with every passing second.
Me being a little lazy right now, if somebody gets that clip, I'll repin it again.
The stream, they were 7-1 in the lead in the first half. They were in cruise control. NIP couldn't even get close. And yet here we stand. 9 Pandas have forced out a buy, but it's 2 MAC-10s, 3 Galils. Far from ideal.
The 22nd begins. 2 players waiting towards elbow. Quick hit. See if they can fight out.
Pride, thanks for the 44-month primer.
They've always
Thank you.
been so paranoid about the cave setup, though, where NIP
Oh, the fuzz is really good.
with who's in there, how they're playing it, if it's going to
Fucking
be aggressive
won't
or
lie.
passive.
So goddamn blessed in
This time it's
Vegas
a deep
with food
smoke back
options.
in
It's
from Rez.
crazy.
If they want to go out for this mid-burst, it's Yocab with support of Isaac and Wrinkle inside of Donut, and they've even postured off the rotate back one towards Red Room as well, so you've got full control here on mid. You're going to fight your way through the entire team, and NIP, good for the opening picks, brings it down to just 3. I
Why don't
disbalance.
pros use a FAMAS?
He's looking
Because
to
the
pop flash
MP9 is
in,
better
so
and
they can
cheaper.
fight inside a cave, but Wrinkle does not give a damn. Glowing's the
NIP
only
even
one
Swedish.
in Red Room that hits the head.
4 of them
Just a
are,
duo
I
remaining
think.
in the
Mistum
round.
is South African.
They could be on for match point here. Put Ancient in a position to close it. Go into Dust 2, 1 map up, and miss them on the timing. This should be bang to rights up against Shalfie. Glowing. Although he's had a couple of nice rounds, it's not been that same level of lethality that we've seen from him previously. Not hitting the hot streak. And again, it's another one
that's
from
right,
Wrinkle.
that's right.
A hat trick.
Sorry.
Consistent
3
multi-kills from this
Swedes.
Warper.
1 Ukrainian, 1
And
South
again,
African.
it's a shoddy economy for 9 Pandas to fall back onto. It could very well be a very similar purchase to what we just saw. Around the same kind of standing. You're looking at Galils, MAC-10s maybe. Someone to dip down to like a Deagle or a Tech-9 for extra utility. That's also a possibility, but... Oh, it's so dire. And 9 Pandas will be kicking themselves if they lose this map. All the advantages.
Sorry,
tons
putting on
of
my
credit to NIP.
walking shoes,
In particular,
'cause I gotta
that
wake
man
up a
Wrinkle.
little bit.
He didn't have much impact in the first half, but my God, he has
Time.
just bossed this CT side. And as they try and spill out into middle, they've taken a lot of damage onto Shalfie. Glowing can't see anything as 2 smokes have plumed up on Red and Donut respectively, and he's looking to try and push through. Isaac is there, but he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Multiple players up against him. He's already dealt with 1, but that's where he will fall down. Red now picks up the mantle, picks up the baton alongside Wrinkle, and smacked him
nice
back down to
shot.
size with a 2K. Shalfie last man standing on 3. And surely he can't clutch this
Brian,
round.
thanks for the 44-month primer, and I appreciate you trying to bait
Clutch
5
or
gifted
bust.
for me, brother.
And
Thank
the
you.
Galil is done. They close it down. NIP, slow start, but a great recovery. First map of
7-1
Ancient
to
is theirs.
13, guys.
1-0 up in the survival series.
Yes, what a comeback for NIP. Things were looking very bad at the start of Ancient. Able to take control in the game,
Wrinkle diff.
turn it around, and it's all because of Wrinkle coming alive in that second half.
Wrinkle in time. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
I did read that, but regardless, I mean, Wrinkle was a hero in this game. From clutching to finding
what?
openings with the AWP.
Not
in
even
fact, actually
flaming
doing
Maui?
A lot of economic damage with pistols too.
He's dressed like my
surely the
grandfather
superstar
right now,
if you had to outline
and
one.
it's really
but
trippy.
that was off of the back of a great 9
I
Pandas
mean,
start. It felt like they
exact
were surely
colors
in
of
control.
items.
Good mid pressure from them, lane pressure as well. Felt like they were locking NIP completely out of the map, Yanko. And honestly, for NIP to turn this one around, it showed a lot of resilience, but also I'd say a little bit of fortune on their side too.
Yeah, when in doubt, Paul and A rush, right? Like that was the turning forward for NIP.
Grandpa Flom had good drip. Don't hate. I'm not hating. That's what I'm saying. It's
9
fucking
Pandas
weird.
on their CT side. Looked like they were in complete control. NIP managing to scrunch a couple of rounds together in that first
It's just
half
weird.
and then just on the CT side were able to
Grandpa Flam was
lock it down.
fly as fuck. Yeah, he's
and
just a
look,
chill guy.
For Nine Pandas, obviously the frustration is that they kind of let this one go. I felt like there were a couple of rounds where they were looking good and they just gave up an easy kill.
Is my grandfather Short Hawaiian King? No.
Of where they were at.
One thing
Pilot
I think
from
that
Detroit.
NIP did to make that happen is that, to me, when I watch Nine Pandas play their CT side, they're very rotate heavy. They bite on a lot of different plays. If there's pressure on one side of the map, I feel like what they are used to in Tier 2 CS is the kind of a lack of fakes. Sure,
family
NIP got
skip
back
your
into this game
generation,
with a hard A exec, but there was a little bit of push and pull on the map that had people like Shalfie wondering
Is he
where to
hanging
go
with the
next.
hottest
At
dudes
the
at the
beginning of
coolest
this
bars?
game, I thought
Hangs out with
Shalfie
the
was the player to watch.
coolest
He's
dudes
been
at a
super strong
Waffle
for them,
House
but yeah,
in the
when
morning.
Wrinkle's getting one kill on one side of the map, there's pressure on the other side
button.
for the other players from NIP. It actually threw him in the blender, and despite him being the best player for Nine Pandas so far, I think Wrinkle usurped him quite quickly.
Just even look at this timeline of his kills, right? Like the first 8 rounds, 2 kills. That was them being down 7-1.
Yeah.
From that point on,
7
he
a.m.
got
at the
almost
Waffle House.
entirety of its kills, and
see him.
I think very apparent in the scoreline and the fact that Nick was able to start winning some rounds.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've been talking about this guy for a long time, Maui. Obviously, we won't talk about how much you were shouting and cheering for him. In
Never
the
knew about
green room,
Waffle House from San Diego. Now that I'm in the
very
Midwest,
dignified,
goated.
but, I mean, you've been highlighting.
San Diego. Did you
Can't
guys
man
have?
be
Do you
a
guys
fan
have
of another
Roscoe's
man?
in San Diego?
I think
No,
absolutely.
they cannot, Maui. I will testify to that. No, you cannot. You cannot have any friends.
Yeah, no, but I mean, obviously, you've been singing his praises
Yeah.
online and highlighting how important he is to NIP. I would agree. I think, you've got the veterancy of Rez on the team that I think is important. And obviously, you've got the overall skill of Wrinkle, and he's still continuing to develop and, a lot of upside to him.
The thing with Wrinkle is that he just needs to round out his game a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because he's phenomenal in the early round. In the mid-late round, sometimes
It
he
doesn't
tries to
actually
keep
fuck me
forcing
up.
the
I
issue,
swear to
which
God,
I
he
think
stole
is
my
more of a
grandfather's
symptom of
jacket
when you're
and
on
shirt.
an
I
unstructured
swear.
NIP that doesn't even know what it wants to do in the second phase of a
I
round.
swear.
You're often just going to send it, and sometimes it's to his own demise and NIP's demise. But in this game, he just hit the second shot. That's what really kind of was the difference maker. Instead of going for that first pick, getting it, and then just trying to desperately get something more out of the round, he actually just got that second kill. And we do have some rounds actually that we can look at in terms of just kind of how this one was brought back.
Sure, let's do it.
And I feel like this was oh, actually, wait, what was this one? This was actually just Wrinkle highlights. So yeah, no, I mean, like, you're gonna see that many of his kills in this one are at the beginning, but we actually see that you had this one.
This
Yeah,
was for me with, he got the kill, it's a 5v4, and then how does NIP lose the round? This is the dysfunction of NIP in this round. You could see the 2 kills from Shalfie, it's just a miss smoke for Red. Right, they're in a 5v4, they lose 1v1 fights, not doing anything as a team, looking completely disconnected, and, just dropping rounds. Then it's like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go for that A rush, Tech 9s, some sort of a half buy a little bit there. Managed to get the kills. Buy space, I think it was Wrinkle for Isaac to be in the 1v2 situation, and then he's able to clutch it out.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, I guess, that was frustrating for Nine Pandas, given that it was a game of fine margins. Rounds like that, you're not supposed to give up. You shouldn't really just be able to run at you with Tech 9s and, Mac 10s and kind of make the round work. And, it's kind of like, I know, I thought Nine Pandas were good value to win this one.
Yeah.
Now I'm really not so sure. Resalt didn't play particularly well. He had a much better day yesterday, and we didn't really get a lot of chance in the pre-show to talk about Nine Pandas and their strengths, but I think they should be winning this one comfortably, frankly.
I agree with that. I felt like Nine Pandas were the favorites going into this one. Frankly, from what I've seen of NIP in general, I just feel like the cohesion isn't quite there yet. So I'm seeing a lot of awkward moves from those players. But if we do want to keep talking about Nine Pandas, I think Shalfie has shown a lot of game sense on his own on this team. I was watching actually his demo versus whoever he played, Aurora, yesterday actually, and he just calls his own number every single round. Like, as a rifler, he'll also pick up the op at times too. I saw him start on Mirage in 4 different positions, and he's supposed to be the con rifler, but he went window, he went short, he went towards A ramp, he went in con itself. He just does whatever whatever he feels like every single round. And unfortunately for him, he didn't do well in this game, but I was just keeping my eye on where he was on the radar, and he was just getting confused actually. After that round 8, it felt like he couldn't follow what NIP was actually doing, which is an indicator that NIP actually called a decent T-side there. It actually made him unsure of what the next fight was that was coming.
Yeah, and I did just want to highlight something as well, and just
I would just say, like, if you're gonna watch like pros, like try to see
but we haven't
how
really
they're
talked about
moving in the
Exist.
middle of a round.
Obviously, he's one of the last
Sammy,
men
thanks for the
standing from
15-month
great
primer,
NIP
thank you.
lineup. Been actively involved with coaching at NIP. I thought he was an underrated coach in his time at Heroic, frankly. I think there was a steady improvement in that team while he was there. What have you guys made of his coaching career so far, and do you think he's having an impact on this NIP lineup here at the RMR?
Coaching NIP is a thankless job. You can only do so much with the pieces that you have, and you know it's always going to be hard. The last minute stand-ins too, like, yeah, you can obviously point out some rounds doesn't look too great, lack of this, lack of that, but how much are you able to do with a couple of inexperienced players to young caller, all of that stuff? I think it's hard to put a finger on it right now.
I would say that Yokab's individual improvement from when he first joined as a stand-in to now is quite apparent. I have to assume that that comes from Mistim probably helping him out, and surely exists.
Yeah.
And so in the first couple games I saw from NIP, for example, they couldn't even make it out of the opening stage of Espo. Yokab was just making weird moves.
Richard lets
like he's just
audible
pushing
grunt
smokes
when he gets out of the
randomly.
chair.
He's just dying in
That's how it
kind
works,
of
bro, when
silly
you're 30
ways if you really
plus.
look back at it. And they had to hold his hand and probably be like,
Dude, when
yo,
I simply
just play with
move
the team a little bit more. You don't
and
need to be a
roll a
hero
little
all the
bit
time. And I feel like he's slotted
out
into
of
the
bed.
system a bit better, even though he still sometimes has minor lapses in judgment.
So 9 Pandas map, Dust 2. What are they gonna do?
I'm not kidding, man. I literally just like roll off my bed
Lock it down on
sometimes.
CT. That's what they did versus G2, right? But I think, yes, they're one map down, but these are the 2 maps where they have a big advantage going into it, right? So I think it's more now the conversation for them outside is, hey, we had a big lead and maybe we got a little bit too relaxed in some moments, right? The focus dropped down. We need to maintain that high level of focus until we win this series. And I think if they do that, they'll be able to take down NIP.
I still have 9 Pandas.
I'm not
going to
be watching the last game tonight, no.
It's simply scary, though, when Wrinkle's firing at this level, because he is going to get active. He is going to get in their faces. He's going to switch up his positions. As soon as he gets 1 kill, he's going to move to a new spot. And if 9 Pandas aren't able to tame him, then
winning
this
before the
series
game
could
was
end
played,
2-0.
I would have said
Okay,
9
well, we're about to
Pandas.
find out, gentlemen. Thanks for your thoughts. We now go
Chad,
to
I'm
a
running it out.
break. We're going to
You
go
ready?
into Dust 2, and we'll find out if the 9 Pandas can chew through NIP like so much bamboo,
I
or
actually
will
on a
they
treadmill?
become
Well,
extinct?
I'm on a walking pad, but
You'll
yeah.
see in a few moments.
Gambling looks sick. Your username is Daryl. True, Foster. I'm completely immune to all ads. I've never once bought anything advertised to me in any way. mic do I have? I have a beacon. They're the spin-off of the people that were let go from GoXLR. Not paid, but they did send me everything for free. That new Flom merch, dude. True Elijah, true. Is it recent? I've been using it for probably about a year. I actually don't need to use this mic anymore. They came out with another product that's going to work with my old Shure SM7B. They basically turned the Shure SM7B into a smarter version of itself. I guess it's Beacon, not spelled like Beacon. Yeah, it's B-A-C-N. Yeah, it is. Yes. How far you walk today? I don't know. I kind of just feel like a piece of shit sitting in my chair right now. 'Cause I've been streaming so much, so trying to get moving so I'm less of a piece of shit. Oh shit, we got 2 Mythic Silver games going, W. Now we just need to get a few Mythic Gold games going. Just a walking pad, I don't know, it's like $100 off Amazon. I used to have a really fancy one. This kind of shit though broke, so I went with a different strat this time. I can break 5 of these for the price of my last one, so. I'm queued up for gold, need 5 more. I'll give some people some trial codes if they want some while we're chilling. They just gotta go to the Mythic Gold chat. Sure? Okay, go into the Mythic Gold chat. There's 3 of you? Okay, I'll post 3. You ready? Oh shit, this keyboard's kind of far. 1. Oh, hold on. 2. You click your account name and then go to your subscriptions. That's where you post it. Oh. What's up, Fed? How you doing, man? My discord.gg/flom. But if you're talking about for Mythic League stuff, you gotta just do !AUTH in the Mythic League chat to get started. What up, Howdy? How you doing, man? Howdy. Yeah, standing desk. Yeah. My desk is pretty high up. To give you some sort of like reference, Bob Ross behind me is, I think, 6'2" or 3. Nah, I don't play CS while I'm standing, no. I'm solid in Bob Ross, only because I'm on the walking pad right now. Can I get a gold code? I think I literally just posted 3. I just posted like 3 of them in there. Only one got redeemed, it looks like.
Call him Isaac Clarke because he split 9 Pandas in half, winning that 1v2 that brought NIP back into the game, Vince. After that, it was Wrinkle going ballistic, playing his style of CS. They get it over the finish line for 1, but the hardest tests are yet to come.
Exactly, because now we move into 2 maps that pretty heavily favor 9 Pandas, at least if you look at the stats, which isn't necessarily the be-all and end-all, especially in pressure cooker situations like this at the RMRs, but 17% win rate on Dust 2, and then with Mirage up third, if we need it, of course, the same can't be said again on 9 Pandas.
Oh, but thanks to the 11-month reset, thank you, appreciate it.
If you look at stats only. Problem is, they need to find Result because he disappeared in that very first map, and he is one of those players alongside Dilladez that you need to show up as much as possible. Disbalance did. He had one of his best maps of the entire tournament, and yet it still wasn't good enough on that second half.
And obviously you touched on those stats, right? For Dust 2, 9 Pandas been looking absolutely dominant online. That's a 72% win rate over the course of 18 games played on this very map. But can you show up and do that again here? It's a different story. You can see them trying to fire themselves up a little bit. Last-minute screams amongst the team, but we're ready to get into it. 2 opportunities to close this down for NIP. Survive their first test in today's run to the Shanghai Major. What have they got in store for us here on D2? CT side start.
I just want to see if Wrinkle's going to pop off again on the CT side, man. That was a masterclass on Ancient. They showed it, they talked about it on the desk. 8 multi-kill rounds, and most of them were on the CT side of just wrapping around corners and rinsing players left and right. Speaking of that, he will be forced off his angle on catwalk from that Molotov.
Maybe I don't want it.
It allows 9 Pandas now to try and pick up the pace and the slack and get in their face. There's 2 players around this corner. Flash is good. Very good, in fact, as Disbalance and Dilladez both chip in for frags, and 1 player left on the site. It's missed them, but not for much longer.
Well.
Oh, it's a clinical T1.
All right, 9 Pandas, my bad.
On the pistol. And it doesn't seem like Isaac's going to be able to do too much out of this one. 1 kill, but mainly a consolation prize. Dink down, going to get finished off from the side by Result. And 9 Pandas,
right, 9
just
Pandas,
so aggressive, not slowing down for anybody.
I see you.
And that wasn't your usual Pandas on the round. That was the red Pandas as they paint the town red, running up on short, might be blind, but still fragging and taking a lovely pistol there. So they get started into Dust 2 with a nice clean opener, only the 1 casualty. We saw Dilladez going wild before the game, Vince. He's getting even louder now they've converted the pistol round. So good energy for the Pandas. Mid-call, though. They want to go running straight up, fight this one, get it a bit scrappy, see if you can make it uncomfortable, but the shooting gallery is easy pickings.
Yeah, indeed. They just wanted to get that one over and done with an IP. They had nothing in the round, trying to catch 9 Pandas in a bit of an awkward spot, perhaps. Maybe if they were rushing long, wrap around the back of them. Doesn't really matter. The round is done
make sure
in
you
the blink of an eye. It means NIP can get their A1Ss in play. Obviously, the downside of this is that Wrinkle won't be on his AWP. It's always interesting to me as well to see how many AWPers on Dust 2 especially opt for the early scouts. It's very viable. You see Woxic do this a lot, for example, on Dust 2.
No, like short for authorization or authenticate.
1 and 3, so maybe that's not the way to go after all.
Yeah, rough run at the RMRs for them. We saw Wakadia and Woxic both having struggle games. Major was trying as best as he could to drag them back into the action, but too tall of a task. No scouts here, though. All A1Ss with very limited utility for the NIP side. It's only Yocap that's got the smoke and the flash on close mid. And Rez walking up.
Flashed.
He's going to go for the flash out short here. 1
nice
for 1 off the back of Wrinkle's flash from the site. But 2 quick trades. Low HP on glowing, sure, but you've still got the manpower advantage here.
I missed them. Once that smoke clears, could be in the thick of the action. The flash is good, but he's anticipated that, turned around. Not affects him in any way, shape, or form. And now with that peek out, glowing on the close angle, the MAC-10. Oh, this could be a backstab. He gets one, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. There is a second player, though, down in lower tunnels. But Shalfie not quick enough.
Lucky thanks to the 9-month primer. Thank you, thank you.
Of Wrinkle, so he will live.
Isaac might feel pressure to make a move.
All alone. It was, as you said, his clutch that really got NIP back into things, but no chance of that being a possibility in this one. Immediate headshots dispersed across the entirety of NIP, and they never really got into this round. And like we say, this is a real comfort pick for 9Pandas. They love playing this map. They've played it a ton. They have a very good success rate on it. You're seeing this T side very calm, very collected, not rushing into anything.
That's why with how dominant early into Ancient it was. We were thinking there's a timeline here where 9Pandas
thank you very much for your Twitch primer. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support,
fell through the fingertips after
Sorry for my lower energy today.
Command, respect, back into the game.
I'm just,
it doesn't get any easier, though.
Like, want to be here, but it's also like there's just been a lot of shit I wanted to be here for.
Here on Dust 2, and potentially into Mirage as well.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Paint a bit of a damning picture for them. Haven't really got much to work on this one. Couple of smokes, few deagles, B250. See if they can take control of the extremities. They push into upper.
It's like 4 a.m. over there, big dog.
That's glowing that was holding Frippy. He's posturing off. Wants to join up with the rest of the squad that have taken the initial long control. Going for the hit out on the site. Isaac with the deagle. I mean, that's the first pick. Isaac's balance is able to cover it on the cross back, but you found at least 1 kill. Any more for NIP?
A bit of damage inflicted to a few players, but this is where the superior firepower really should start to shine. Resto with another deagle through the smoke. Going to be point blank range onto Result, but it won't be the shutdown. Instead, Result comes back in for another one. He's already up to 6-0. To put it in perspective on Ancient, he got 8 kills overall. Was rock bottom of the scoreboard in terms of ADR at 42. And for a star rifler to go missing at a key moment like that.
Why does the America's Armor lead to the opening stage and EU leads to elimination? Only some to the elimination.
But as we saw in Ancient,
and it's based on performance in the major. So the Americas lost. We lost our spot in the elimination stage. We had 1, I think, or maybe 2.
This is where things can start to turn around in their favor.
It's based on performance. So we didn't have any teams from the Americas region make playoffs last year.
Both of these two teams.
So we lose our slot. However,
both NIP and 9Pandas,
we did have more teams advance from the opening stage,
avoiding the 7th place decider. That's if you win your game.
So
and
EU lost an overall amount of slots.
Respective matchups.
1 to us, and then 1 to Asia, I believe.
It's not only your result; it's the other teams.
But they also have all the elimination stage.
Oh man,
spots.
He's trying to get the fast pick off. Let's just run straight down.
Shift out the way, man.
Can you move right, please? Like, I'm trying to pick.
Totally simmer down, buddy.
Gets the kill. He gets the opener on the Yocap.
Just assert dominance next time, shoot in the back of the head and say, listen, I was trying to shoot one of them.
We basically traded more opportunity for our teams, but less guarantee.
This was a double-up setup, by the way, in this round for NIP.
Based on our performance. It's all performance-based.
Yocap was using the second. He's yet to get off the mark alongside Mistem, who is 0-9 on Ancient to kick things off. And 9Pandas have totally bypassed this setup entirely. It is a full-on investment of huge proportions for the economy, additionally, after a tactical timeout. And he's just been slapped right across the face. Ooh. Okay, Rez is going to keep the dream alive, keep one of the AWPs in play, probably. But the round's pretty much already done. Like, NIP just can't get a foot in.
Yeah, this one's in the bin already.
It's kind of how the Ancient game started, so we'll see.
So you're not going to be able to fight back.
See if 9Pandas stays on the gas or if they let up again.
And Result yet to go down as well. 6-0, mirroring the scoreline there of Disbalance. Heads up call from Rez, at least with a HE. You blow the AWP back to you.
No, what do you mean? I posted one. I haven't seen somebody get
fight on the close angle towards short as well. But quick reactions.
I think Bro isn't putting it in the right spot.
Give that back to Wrinkle in the next. So it could have been even worse, but obviously the hot commodity of the rounds is not going to be yours. So slow start for the Ninjas once again. Shades of Ancient in the early game.
Surviving to the bomb blast. No problems for 9 Pandas. It does mean that NIP will retrieve and continue the AWP and M4 into this. Gives Wrinkle another opportunity to have some impact. He's already on. Oh, I think actually those stats are from the last map, right? Yeah, I was going to say, he's got 6 opening picks and 5 rounds, Jackie.
He's just that good.
Yeah. What a beast. With 0 rounds as well. Feels bad for Inkle right now.
Joe, you can't change your name on the leaderboard? And no, I just lost my rank.
Flubbed a huge lead on Ancient, but this is such
I just didn't play because I was playing Face It and I was watching the
It's hard
major.
to see how they do the same here the second time around. Peek out, Wrinkle lucky to survive. The flashbang pretty much keeps him in this round. Dilladez couldn't fully get that spray under control. He couldn't see anything. But with the damage inflicted, Wrinkle has to play way more passively. He'd love to go for those wide swings that we saw time after time on Ancient, but you just can't afford that luxury on 16 HP. One stray bullet through the smoke and you're dead.
You ever played with Forrest?
You can play for the cross from CT on low health.
Planned an entire weekend with Forrest on CS2 when we played tested together in Seattle.
But they're up on the bomb site, and Isaac from Gandalf, who wanted to be a bit of a bad magician and split him in half. It's not going to happen.
Funny enough, I was, after our first 2 games together, I had to get traded off of Forrest's team.
Be ready for the taps. Maybe there's more
We were
story to
winning
this
too much.
round yet. 3 versus 3, 2 of them incredibly low. Bomb's just gone down. Paranoid about the setup towards T-Spawn.
I watched Forrest lose every 1v1 to the caster Harry for
23 health, just going to be holding
2 days.
for the doors.
3 days? 2 days? 3 days?
Losing these weapons could be far worse. There's
I
no
love telling
number
that
pick.
story.
It's all
It's
going to
too
put you in a
fucking
3v2
funny.
where you might want to have a look in for the
When we were
bomb sites. They're going to
playtesting
save.
CS2,
Hold on to these
Forrest
weapons.
actually
Wrinkle will
did
keep
lose
the
every
AWP,
single
no
1v1
rounds.
to the caster.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they must have
To
a
the
good
point where
read at
I
least
was
one
having
of the
so
9
much fun with
Pandas,
it,
although
I was
they may not
letting
have
Patrick
confirmed
know.
damage on
I can
both.
call him Patrick, we're tight
But
like
more
that.
importantly, it's the
I
fact
was
that
letting
Wrinkle's
him
on
know
16
that he
and
was
you have
versus
one kick
Harry.
between the 3 of them.
Just to remind him.
It sucks to save at this point because you're eyeing up a 6-0
we're
deficit,
literally
but
in the Valve
alternative of
offices,
pushing and
you just
losing all
hear
of these
it's
guns is far
Harry.
worse. And you can see the economy on Isaac and Mistem, not great. Res just below $4,000. Losing these weapons would have been catastrophic. So hold on to them. Second timeout. This very much feels like deja vu from Ancient. 2 early timeouts with Exist getting involved. Big deficit that you're trying to chase back down again. But of course, the difference on that one is that they started on the T side and they were really struggling to bypass the IDIS balance AWP and Dilladez just basically popping off down middle with Shalfie. It's a different ball game here because they could be looking at a high deficit going into the T side, and we know Wrinkle is way more comfortable on that CT side where he can kind of dictate the pace more, take the pace where he feels comfortable.
You'll be able to slide in there. That's the trick, bro. When you see the other game ending, you hop in there. Same with Chad. Chad's gonna have to off up. Exclamation point AUTH, brother.
Yeah, with the 2-player peak. Yeah.
In the mythic Chad.
That's great.
Sometimes you need a bit of a blessing on your side.
Yeah, he was
He
roasting.
takes the fast hit, had the spawn for the long engagement.
Are we gonna follow the same exact script as last game, or are we gonna?
He wants to instigate around on this one. He's looking for the headshot, but nothing to be gained.
Goodbye, Jesus
Resource
Christ.
ready. The AK. Strike straight back. Oh, thought maybe there was a bit of timing there for Isaac on the run out, but this is just easy for them. Each and every duel, timing for Rez as well. And CT Spawn switches to the HE for the response back. They drop on top of you. And they're just being body bagged one by one.
They're actually just ravaging them right now. My God.
Body language on exists there.
How long did you know /test before
Hits the last shot.
We just spent a few days in Seattle.
On their T side.
It was at the start of the year, January of.
Yeah, I give credit where it's due as well. Like Resalt may have been missing in the first map, but he is
It's been
here
out
and
for
he
a
is
year.
delivering.
We played not this January, but
Round
last
after
January.
round with entries, with double kills.
Yeah, 2023. Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to be playtesting it for 2 days.
Multiple players over on 9 Pandas.
We basically begged all the devs to
coming into this best of 3
the ones
series.
that literally don't have life kids and a life to maintain.
But
to come into the offices on the extra day
right with the
and babysit us so we could play test it some more.
Player. This time Yocab 0-7 with 19 ADR.
Nova, thanks for the 16 months reset.
Really
Thank you,
faring any
beautiful.
better on most of the rest of NIP. It's really only Rez that's kicked things off in a positive way.
That's Wrinkle. Annoyed he doesn't get the trade as well with the setup you're going for. Obviously, you run out in towards mid. He was looking for the peak backup, but you killed the one player with the A1S.
Zach, by the way, thanks for 13-month armor. Thank you, thank you,
his
thank you.
timing on that initial play is well and truly gone. Nine Pandas
Yeah,
setting
it was
themselves
super
up for the
bare
hit
bones when we
towards the
played it.
bomb site. It's missed them. Only one kill to his name so far here on Dust 2. Posturing at the back of the site on the peak up. They line up for him. Easy spray down. 4 kills picked up as they do fade away.
I set my coffee down and bro just killed 4.
How on
Holy
earth they've
shit.
been obliterated on this one.
Wait, it's actually the same scoreline now.
We had a moment on
Wait.
Ancient with Isaac picking off a clutch
Wait.
that just seemed to inspire and resurrect
Oh
NIP.
my
Is this the moment on Dust
God.
2? Mistem lines up all 4. And that's always the problem when you push into a site without flashes or smokes and you're in a claustrophobic, close-knit kind of choke
I think
point.
the footage of the
Hold down left
playtest
click and there's going to be
Republic
multiple
probably
frags coming your way
not.
and you can't really
All of our
re-engage. You're
stuff
going to be
was
shooting in the
recorded,
back of your
so-
teammates' heads.
Valve has it. They can always see it and talk
Well
shit
placed
to us.
timing. Nine Pandas maybe just overthinking things. Whichever way you spin it, though, Jackie, NIP have got to
How
make the most
excited
of
were
this
you, dude?
opportunity.
I thought I was
if it's
getting
a one and
fucking
done, Nine Pandas
bamboozled.
are off to a
Like when I got the
outrageous
email.
T-side start on Dust 2.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's got to be the splash.
I reached
of water
out to
their
the Twitter
faces,
account,
wake them up,
and I
give
was
them
like,
just a group
hey,
of
yo.
things here. Fighting for survival in Shanghai.
Oh, shit.
If Nine Pandas take this,
I
there's
mean, we
more
all
to be
knew
done,
what it
another
was,
map
but
to
to be
go.
fair, they were
Mirage
hella.
at the end. One-for-one trades initially into the
Even
round.
when we were playtesting the game, they didn't really tell us
taking the
anything.
space towards
Like-
mid, gets the mid to B smoke up, flashes through it as well. You
Tick.
can crack it open, get visual, but no one's
Engine.
initially committed off the back of that.
Anything.
They still
Like,
got
why
the
we were.
tie nades as
They
well
just said
for
it.
that.
They literally called it a
Triple molly,
new
flashbang,
update to
and
the
the
game
smoke on
that we were going to be
Dilladez.
testing. They didn't even like.
They're going for the quick hit. Out through short. Run onto the bomb site. Wrinkle. Top of the car. Flashed off, but still good for the connection. Playing with Rez. That duo comes alive again.
Typical Valve. Oh, dude, and when you're yapping with them, they're the same way, by the way.
Wrinkle with a second pick, funnels Resort back into middle. He does have the bomb. He's been spotted though, tagged down at 28, missed there.
It's like, yeah, I really like this. What do you guys think about this? And like,
Making
well,
sure
what
that
do you
he's on
think
point
about
to
this?
deliver. So NIP got 2 rounds. Very similar
Did
story.
they tell you who else was going to go to the playtest? No, but I knew Chris was going. I didn't know everybody else, though.
As you can see, they can honestly buy in the next one as well, whatever happens at this point. NIP doing their absolute best to recover what looked like a lost cause.
Muji, did I say that right? Thank you for your tier 1 sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any pros go? No, because it was during Blast. Also, I think
man
the
that
reason they
makes
didn't want any
moves for
current
NIP
pros
is
playing it is
Wrinkle.
they didn't want anybody to have an unfair look.
He's getting
Right?
those opening jewels now. He's getting into the groove of the game. Peek out, eye disbalance on the shot back.
So it
As
was
the flashbang fades, so does the
it was
life of
me,
Mr.
Get Right,
Cab on the angle towards
Forrest,
the car. Smokes, Molotovs, everything bombarding into
Harry,
the bomb site.
Hugo,
But he could still be the blockade to buy a bit of time.
Machine,
His position not yet
Sponge,
compromised. Shalfie tucks in
Moses,
behind the box. You've got the
two
contingent on mid as
matchmakers
well. The insurance
to
policy
balance
of
out,
Resort.
you know, basically only
Walks out.
esports people's.
Nothing to be gained there. His teammate behind the car had already expired, so Wrinkle forced back into a save.
Bill, thanks to the 21-month primer. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's going to be a very disappointing outcome considering once again he got the opening pick onto Dilladez on middle. Great shot from Iris Balance though. There was a flash toss
So you've
in.
been
I don't
exposed
think
to
it really
Australian sense of
affected
humor.
him.
Oh, I've
even
been
though it
around
came up
Aussies
on the
for a while.
scoreboard.
I met Sponge
on the kill feed.
like
Good flick
4 or
onto
5 years
Mistem,
prior
and
to that.
Yeah, as you highlighted, like Yocab was still the ace up the sleeve, but the utility was solid with
Sponge,
smokes and flashes.
I always
and
like to
didn't
tease,
really
but
have a
Sponge
chance to
was.
fully.
Let's just say I showed everybody the
involved in
North
that
American
round.
Counter-Strike ways
So
in the
NIP,
playtest,
it's
and
2
Sponge did not
rounds.
appreciate North
They're
American
able to
Counter-Strike.
muster together and post up before being brought back down and being put to the sword. The save drop will allow them a couple of opportunities on this one with Isaac Rez and Yocab looking healthy, can drop across the miss them.
Well, I run it down a lot. So like,
I mean, best case scenario right now
being
is 4
brutally honest,
rounds
if I
on
saw
NIP,
Forrest on
and
one side of the map, whether he got a kill or got
Nine Pandas are
killed,
playing right now. I can't really see
I
it
felt
happening.
pretty good with my chances if I took a 1v1 with anyone, so I just literally ran it down
Yeah, it feels
somewhere.
like this one's already kind of played out. Like they're just ebbing, flowing through the game, knowing how to counter it time and time again.
So I was just playing like a face it hugger, you know what I mean?
This is a showstopper from NIP. They're
I
just
was
not really getting
vibing.
anything to find impact on these. Wrinkle will not be getting his opening duel this time as Disbalance tips it back in favor of 9 Pandas, but Yokab realizes
is a
he
true
needs to do
connoisseur of the
something
game,
single-handedly. Quick trade there for the T's, glowing with a readjustment. We said he had gone missing. Where's
It was
glowing?
a lot of
Here
fun,
he is
though.
in the 11th.
Maybe
I think they fully
like
got
the
baited
most
into
fun I've ever
feeling
had
safe
playing
there
Counter-Strike,
in lower
to be
tunnels
honest.
because
it was just a
there
fun
was no
group.
call for
like,
my disbalance that
good
a mid
shit.
player had been pushed into.
And everybody was just down to get really
Didn't spot
nerdy,
anyone
which
pushing
was
lower
really fun.
tunnels. I think because you can see the first play that Yokab picks off is jumping around the corner with a nade or a knife or something. Isaac in the meanwhile, though, has he just...
What is the timing on that?
Resort hasn't even seen him. He's still looking at middle. He has no idea.
That's so mad that they've been able to get past one another.
Yeah, but then they're going to
Just
sync
watching
back
it
up
on the
again.
overview. Oh, mate. I mean, he actually might be able to get out on this and just back off, hold onto the gun.
I think he will, yeah. Because Resort clearly has no idea. He's still looking at CT spawn. You can see from his sort of angles that he was checking out that if he'd seen him on catwalk, like pushing into mid, they're definitely going to send players over there earlier on.
It's my most
I mean, these are all
W
just
snack.
drops in the bucket, though, as far as NIP are
I
concerned.
don't know,
It's all well
man.
and good
I don't
saving
just have
this
one. Look at
M4,
me.
but you're still
Lately,
9-2
though, my
behind.
go-to snack has been something called Cheddys.
You aren't going to have a great deal to play with in this round either.
They're just like fancy Cheez-Its.
Yeah,
I fuck with
Yokab, even
Cheez-Its,
without
but
that
like
hero play,
Cheddys, they're just
or
slightly
with the hero
better.
play, I should say, it's still so comfortable and convincing for 9 Pandas. It's like they're just not, they're not breaking a sweat right now, Jackie. This is kind of what we expected coming into Dust 2.
I mean, Mr.
That's why the
played
pressure
in
was
NA
on
for
so
quite a while,
firmly
so
for
I'm a bit
Ancient.
biased here,
And we
brother.
were
Probably,
fearing the worst
and I
of
would like to
when
see NIP
that
not be
horrible start
totally
kicked into
a
play.
joke.
Isaac woke them up there, brought them back into it, but he's been quiet on this one. And Wrinkle had about 5.8k, so he's able to get himself the AWP. Kevlar as well, and a single nade to work with. That's the smoke that's thrown out. Rez, a little bit more aggressive this time. Takes command of short, fights in for the opening pick. There is a trade, but damage back onto Dilladez. 2 players in position towards midside, forced off by the Molotov. It's Yokab with backup. Wrinkle isn't here. He's all the way out on long. Might still find a way to make his mark here in the 12th. Looking for a bit of a push up on short. You've got to edge yourself around the smoke.
I need to make my own
Molotov
shitty
for all
version
the
of
smoke
Walking
coming in
Dead
on
and
top.
sell it
It's
for like
Isaac.
fucking 130 or some shit. It's just like a
Dilladez can
life
just
hack
tuck
for
in,
being
wait
at
for
your
his
desk.
teammates on this, go for the full execute out, and you're so heavily committed to the split push
I feel like
out through
absolute
alongside the
cheeks, and
Wrinkle,
now
his late rotation.
I feel like I
Come back
haven't
to haunt them. They're
streamed
paranoid about a
fucking
mid to be on this one. They double up again.
I don't really understand
26
Isaac
hours out of the last
rotating
34 or
off
whatever.
from the boxes there. Like, you've completely given up catwalk. Like, even if they're worried about the mid to be hit, like, you've already got to play there. You've got to have faith in Yokab to hold that by himself. You've now basically just given put a red carpet out and said, 9 Pandas, please plant on the A site. And they're going to have great post-plant positions as well,
Yeah,
assuming that
this is
something
pretty good
crazy
for
doesn't
them.
happen with a jump spot. The MP9 tries it, may, won't collect any kills.
M4,
And now
M4.
3 players isolated down. They have the high ground, and Dilladez is making the most of it with those 2. Wrinkle at least flicks in for the finish off kill
Look,
onto
he just
Glowing,
kinda
but he's about to
threw.
go across onto long side, baits out the shot.
Oh.
2 players staring him
NT.
down, and they will put him out of his misery. But
Yeah,
you
GC
go
won
back
last
to the
night.
Isaac rotation, and it's
gotta piss real quick.
such
Hold
a
on, guys.
question mark to me. They haven't even smoked or flashed it at that point.
And Wrinkle's always one of those players that can find impact in those kind of rounds, but he's so heavily committed on believing there's a late lurk out through the doors. He instead went further in, looking for the clear on Longhouse, finally comes back, hits one, but then the verticality comes into effect. Too many angles. There was always the possibility of the quick trade, even if he took down another player. And that's for the last round at the end of the half. So a massive deficit here. 10 rounds on the board. Great T-side from 9 Pandas, controlling this game. You know, coming into Dust 2, we were looking at the stats. It paints that picture that this should be 9 Pandas, incredibly confident, incredibly dominant. We're seeing players that were quiet start to get loud as well in terms of their impact on the server. NIP haven't got that plot armor this time.
I think that really factors into why maybe both of us coming into this game expected 9 Pandas to actually take the win, is because in terms of map pools, 9 Pandas have a much deeper pool than NIP do. To put it in perspective, Dust 2 is their second best map. Their best being Inferno, which is NIP's permaban. They played it 18 times. Tons and tons of success on it with 72% win rate. So, you know, it's always going to be a comfort pick. And the same could be said, really, of Mirage, which is up third, which is looking increasingly likely to get to as iDisbalance pops off with 3. No real retaliation other than Result hitting the deck, but Mistem now with bomb in hand has to try and recover. In more ways than one for his team to stand a chance. Julie's in play, playing with his food is Diladez, and finally decides to puncture Mistem and get 9 Pandas across to an 11-2 lead.
And Diladez going absolutely ballistic as well on the player cams. Lots of energy from him. He was hyped up even before the game started, and everything's just been keeping that energy high for the team, whereas it's a lot more somber for NIP. Obviously, first 2 timeouts called in incredibly early on. Since then, they've all just been watching on. Exist hasn't had his opportunity to speak to the rest of the squad. They call in their third here now, so last chance saloon for them and for him. And what a gross position you left in, right? Losing that pistol round. If it was hard before, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's like that lifeline, that life raft has just popped. And you're just watching it slowly sink. Wilson! Yeah, exactly. That movie gets me every
They lose
time,
pistol. So we're going quickly to...
It's almost like they're
to
not
map
even
through.
fully going off now with the cheering, because they've already accepted they've won the map almost. It's like they've come to this super confident realization that NIP, they can't touch them on Dust 2. Tech9s, the Eagles, everything's been invested into this round, desperately trying to clamber their way into a shred of a possibility.
It's trying even worth at this point. I mean, honestly,
Try and take some weapons away from 9
this is
Pandas,
like
who
where
are
you're
playing this
looking
one
to
much
just
more
get like some
passively,
kills,
giving up
you know, so
catwalk,
you
giving up
feel
mid, player up close
a bit better going to the next map.
MP9. They have
Like,
come off B sites.
they're probably still trying,
Yeah, he missed out
but
with the opening pick with that flash.
that
What a
type of shit.
second as
Oh
well.
my god, how did he get
Hold
to?
the phone. Maybe there is a chance yet.
Oh, Turmoil with the Tech-9. Evil Brain, Angel Heart as he pops off. Mistem showing up on that one. But iDisbalance.
How many miles did I walk yesterday?
For the
Just a
spray.
few.
They're all lining
Like
up.
3.
But the tech still deal damage. You should be able to feast with this MP9.
Tech
But it's not
random.
working.
But yeah, these are the types of rounds, like,
it's all techs.
you want to get
Glowing's the
some
last
kills,
one
man. You
left,
don't want to
so
just
NIP.
GG go next. You need to get into the flow a little bit,
Small
you know?
sliver of a chance given to them. As the Tech-9s parade massively.
That works.
And a bit of energy comes back to the camp, but this is only just
Taco
getting
takes
begun.
the 21-month armor.
It'd have to
This
be
is
a
insane work.
huge comeback, round after round. And is this really sustainable, right? Yeah, sure, you get out through mid-side with the Tech-9s. What can they do with the actual weapons?
Nice, man, bro. Come on, boys. Let's fucking go. Let's go.
Now we're getting some fucking...
Bruh, maybe just stick with the Tech-9s, boys. That was incredible from Mistem. The fact he gets the second kill while fully flashed as well is...
I don't remember.
As you say,
to be
though, it's
honest
not
with you.
the kind of dependable, consistent
I'm not really like
rounds that you
doing
can
any
bank
goals
off
for
saying, right,
walking
we can
because I
put on a
just I
variant
live
of
for
those
that.
and
It's
tie
more
this
like
up. Now that's the exception to the rule. That's a bit of a fluke.
It's just more like just
great
moving my
shots,
fat
don't
ass,
get me
you know?
wrong, but there were a couple of moments there where 9 Pandas, like iDisbalance with his M4, could have probably killed 3 on that spray.
funny enough,
Then
I
a
usually
Result
use
with
the
an MP9
walking
gets
pad when I'm
instantly
tired and
round
I
the
feel like
corner.
caffeine isn't doing enough.
Those are freakish kills that you really cannot expect to get too many more of. Aggression up on middle though for 9 Pandas. They've got those 5-7s, missed them. Oh, he's tucked away into the corner. He's heard iDisbalance. He has no idea. Takes him out. That was maybe a win condition in this round on the side of 9 Pandas, but it has
So
been
now I'm
thwarted.
just
It has
simply
been
blending
denied.
caffeine with walking, and I feel like a god.
So a 4th round to NIP. Playing for a bit of pride and confidence here.
Fucking
on
locked
Dust 2.
in. You guys need 5 more for a 3rd silver game? Huge.
Resort just trapped here with a 5-7.
Yeah, I'm using-
They peek
I use,
together,
like,
so there's no way
barefoot
you can
shoes,
commit to just one
basically.
fight. They're able to double up. And Shalfie back in spawn, waiting for this one to expire. Again, it is only a 5-7, and Kevlar, he'll drag into the next round.
Making my way downtown.
Better than nothing, but unable to post up any rounds here.
Sorry. That was map 1.
Yeah, a bit of a
It was nice.
NIP
was down 7-1 and rallied back.
You should be locking in and dialing in so easily. Sure, Shalfie can maybe be a bit of a problem with that 5-7. The rest of the team, though, USPs.
You're definitely not fast.
To see that Rez has been having some impact, though. He didn't necessarily need to do a lot of the heavy lifting on Ancient, but there were moments where you saw his aim just slightly off, especially considering how good of a play he is individually, typically, for NIP. Of course, been at the roster, or the org, I should say, forever.
Now that song's stuck in your head. Okay, I'll get. Where are you?
Years and years and years, mate.
You want to switch up?
9 Pandas on this one. They set up with all of their men on short, looking for the run out, reposition round, peeking in one by one. Range advantage is good for NIP and missed them. Point man up on short finds that one, so no shenanigans from 9 Pandas. But they've been biding their time for this. Reinvestment comes out. I disbalance with the AWP on his CT side. They got nades, they got rifles on the rest of the squad as well.
Yeah, Rez has been at NIP for about 7 years.
Man.
Since 2017.
Or he does call me the human jukebox, though. I'm usually, if I'm just like walking around the house, I'm just
not
kind
many
of
players
fucking
have that
humming.
sort of standing with an org, that kind of loyalty over a long period of time. And think of how many rosters he's been a part of. But hold that for a second, because
You're pulling the strings from Max
double
Adrev.
Shalfie already taking down Yocap.
I should, though. I should run more, to be honest, when I do these crazy-ass streams.
He tried to get outside alone
My
and
God.
just got barraged down. They're going to try and make the most of this momentary weakness on Catwalk, or at least they think it's weak. But glowing there with the incendiary throws it down and just stalls them.
Hoping they've caught a timing for the run out, but he's just jump spotting, like you say. Dashes in the incendiary to slow it down. And the re-smoke out. So round 17. Becoming a bit of a stalemate here for NIP. They got the one smoke in the back pocket for
NIP ever going to be good again? Maybe. I think this team
is pushed up onto the
isn't
close
necessarily
angle.
some world beater team, but like at least finally they're like
Set up with that over the top, block off.
like NIP isn't like trying to do the get rich quick scheme of rosters right now, which is nice.
Waterfall onto the box, expands the whole way across, block off the CT angle. High disbalance. Scoped in, waiting for the walkout, but the timing on it
NIP
just
was
posted
basically
off.
behaving
They start
like
peeking.
every
They see
city
the shot as
organization
well.
in the
That's your
NFL.
window now. NIP can run in towards the bomb site, glowing on the spam through the smoke, connects
Like,
onto
they
Rez.
just kept
Wrinkles
trying to get
holding.
one player like
He's
it was
the
going to
flanker,
magically
ready
silver
for the
bullet
backstab if
their
they come
entire
barreling out.
problem, you
Jump
know?
around the corner, glowing, gives himself up. Back could be spammed onto by Resort on the angle works. Low HP, but look at the positions. Missed them. Already wrapping through lower side, and they're going to come straight back into him. He just tucks in. They don't know. He can
Oh,
swing
well
out.
done. Well
Gets
done,
one.
Mister.
Shalfie with the AWP
Well
shoulder peeking
done.
it, but almost fully extended. You're giving all the damage to Mistem. 3 clean kills. And around going the way of NIP.
I
With
mean,
the
never
AWP being
forget,
saved for
NIP
Isaac,
did
he can
sign
get dropped back over to
Astral,
Wrinkle.
or not Astral's Device. They bought him out of his
They
contract
just have
6
to
months
keep
early
winning
just
time
to
and time again. But
rotate
right now,
a
even
revolving
with 9
door of
Pandas
5th
finding good
players,
openers,
typically academy players.
closing them down hasn't been as
And clearly
clean
had
on
no
their
real
CT
plan of who
side.
their 5 would be.
Switch up here on the buy, of course, not having enough money to work
You know,
with,
it's
so you get
just-
the smokes out.
I'm just saying,
tons
like,
of
that was,
HEs, they could go for
that
a
was
stack.
kind of their approach with a bunch of things. Like, they kept just trying to sign, like, large names and, like, force it to be a thing.
Coming in, and NIP are about to walk into it. Damage on the grenades is
You know,
hefty. Missed them
Well,
on
people
14
say that
frags
Device
and having
ruined
a
NIP
real
and then left.
huge amount of impact on this T-half. Takes the bulk
What
of
did
it,
he
but Rez and
ruin?
Wrinkle laying the CTs bare with
They
those
were already
AKs
bad.
and the AWP, and suddenly just 2 remain. Diladez.
Sure, he probably ruined people's hopes and dreams because they thought NIP would be half decent again.
In this. Although Glowing puts the deagle to work, and plenty bodies have hit the deck. NIP have managed to get themselves a 7th round.
As soon as the
And
old
9
guard were gone,
Pandas
and
now
they were
forced
bad.
into their first tactical timeout. The first time they've maybe started to feel a little bit of a pinch.
They had rosters
of
that
pressure
had glimpses
and
of
realised, well,
not
hold on
being
a second,
totally
there's
ass.
actually a map being played
Mostly
now.
led
They look
by
like so
Hampus,
confident. Even
but
in the winning rounds, you didn't see Diladez popping
pretending
off.
like they
were just
were
kind of relaxed and calm.
doing anything
Maybe some
spectacular
nerves starting
before
to creep in
that's
now.
just a lie.
With NIP, they are 1 map up in this series. They won the debut on Ancient. And will it be that same storyline again? A slow start into a huge comeback.
Glimpses of not totally being asked as a goal-free sports org. Take it from me, a guy who runs an esports org. Right, but I would hope you don't spend $700,000 to buy somebody else out for 6 months early just to achieve that. They could have kept their roster.
With the orb, Dillardaire's on the cross, tagged up. Connections there, great reactions from Wrinkle. No pick, but a hefty tag that could save them late round, depending on how this one plays out in the 19th.
Everything you happy with today, Beef? Even though we were kind of struggle busting. Loki, I will say, production today felt very, very smooth. We had some issues with the person observing for me today, but it wasn't really their fault. It was just unlucky.
Deals with Shalfie up on middle, and that gives them.
Production was having a Jordan's blue game for real.
Reverse across to the A site. Because Balance playing in amongst those smokes is still in the fight, still activating in. And another kill on Rez. Although Wrinkle returns to favor and does have control over the bomb.
I don't see it.
Almost faking as if he's trying to cross over on the B side.
Did he hear the scope?
Glowing is down.
I don't think
on
so.
CT, he can see that's not the case. However, Balance has moved off his perch. He's no longer watching Catwalk. Wrinkle can get onto the site. There is a way forward for here to get the bomb plant down in enough time to reposition and welcome and receive the oncoming CTs. This round is now the winnable spot, and it just got a whole lot better. Glowing thought it was a B-side plant. His back was turned. He just gave it up for free, and now it's a battle of the Orpers.
The timing on it as well from the walk back around from Disbalance. Wrinkle's able to get himself into a good position. The Shinobi sniper does it again. Wrinkle saves the round for NIP.
My God. Also, the
showing up
Shinobi
in
sniper
Shanghai
is
and erupting with excitement. A huge clutch from him.
Oh my
It's about survival. They've got to grind out these rounds again and again on their T side.
Cooper watching Wrinkle demos immediately.
With Disbalance looking like the job was done. But they forgot about Wrinkle.
I'm not talking about that. Nice fucking Cooper.
Almost couldn't believe it himself. He's like, oh yeah, I did just clutch. That smoke was sick, by the way. That totally changed the dynamic of that 1v2. I was thinking that Glowing would have the angle to see that there wasn't a cross, but you could see by the fact he was shot in the back, looking up at window, he fully thought that was a B-side plant. He had no idea where Wrinkle was.
1+2 really lets you showcase. You get a lot more
Very well
upfront. Straightforward
even with
aim
all
duels.
that being put into place, even though that's been 6 rounds back-to-back in favor of NIP, they're still 11-8 behind. There is still an opportunity.
I think people that haven't played
to get
hyper or super competitive CS like this
of battling their way back.
Don't understand how small the gap is when it comes to individual level.
Buried. Are we really about to see 2 rounds in a row?
I always like to
with 9
say that this is, I like to follow this up. That's a good thing, though. The skill and gap between these teams comes from experience and chemistry.
It looked like missed them, DC'd halfway through that clutch
completely
there.
unobtainable
pause called in. The admin's having a
skill
word.
level
Look, he's trying to get CS back in.
Because if that were the case, Falcons wouldn't be shit. Or wouldn't have been, you know what I mean? Or the super team Cloud9 roster that was assembled, that was total shit, right?
Seems like he's getting back into the game now, though. Relaunching Counter-Strike.
If it was all just pure mechanics all the time, you know.
Kind of saw exists, wave him off. It's fine. No worries.
You would have super teams being made all the time.
Yeah, we just want to get straight back on the server, right? This isn't a very precarious but tantalizing position.
Actually, a good thing that you the individual mechanics shouldn't be like
still
this,
firm
you know?
favorites. This should still be their map.
There's some truly gifted players where their skill ceiling is higher than everybody else's, but you know who those players are.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more weakness, whereas as much as obviously they can be incredibly proactive on their T side, and they were being able to play off one another to get opening picks to keeping you guessing with the movement. CT side's been a lot more stagnant, kind of just basically playing possum, waiting for the pushes to come towards them.
G2 is good because of, G2 is good because of their raw firepower, but they also go dead last at an event after winning one because they can entirely rely upon it.
Should have been their round, it all went wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, you're actually proving my point. G2 has one of the most raw firepower teams we've ever seen,
on them.
And they're not even number one.
That will be a 2-0 for NIP.
That doesn't mean they can't win. and that they won't win
That would
anything.
be
It
a
just
different
they're not a
kind of heartbreak,
consistent
this RMR round.
like
Of course,
entity,
last time unable
and
to
everybody
make it to
knows it
Copenhagen because of visa issues.
Yeah.
because
Game
that's not the
Allegiant took
focal
their
point,
spot.
right?
And now, in this
In
2-2
so many ways,
matchup,
talking about G2 proves the point.
with 2 golden opportunities on both maps. It's not done just yet, Jackie. Yes, it's looking a little bit bleak, a little bit grim, especially as it's going to be
Navi
another
for
eco
sure
round
is.
coming in for 9 Pandas.
And Navi
it's
is
still
a
in the
prime
lead.
example of a team that
They will have a
is trying
scout
to
as well.
use chemistry and experience in a system
alongside it on
to
Shalfie.
create
Obviously,
that
round loss
consistency in
bonus
a
is
time
bringing
of
to the
Counter-Strike that
fullest.
we haven't had for a while.
Oh, that
We
looks
haven't had
on
a
to me.
true era of
I've got
Counter-Strike
Boomer
since
Ice, though. I could
Astralis.
be wrong, but I thought that honestly hit him.
Well, this might
Everybody's always trying to
watch out.
predict
Balance
who
here.
it's going to be. Is this the era? Is this
The
it?
flick of
Are
the
they
wrist
doing
from
it?
the
Is this?
Panda.
Do we call this
As
an
I
era?
disbalance takes the head of Rez. And they take map control, push the extremities.
Yeah, you could say phase there for a
Start to
moment, but
suffocate and squeeze them off. As they bleed their way into upper on the rotate back though, Yokat catches a glimpse, range advantage on the AK, the Arabesque firing off the warning shots. But I Disbalance does it again. He's still taking these fights. 2 with a scout, slows
exactly,
them right
Matador.
down.
No, I agree
3
with you.
Ts remaining.
The longer
2 up
something's
on
a
the
true
bomb side,
sport,
but
the
CT's
cat
in great
becomes
position
smaller
to
and
make this
smaller,
one
and the margin of error
uncomfortable.
becomes smaller and
Getting
smaller.
tags off.
And it
Jump
makes the
spot
game
up.
that much more
Take
compelling.
down
And
the
oh
bomb
my
partner. It's
god.
all on Isaac.
Oh no.
He had a hero round back on
To the
Ancient, but
force
this one's
buy.
even harder. Smoke shot's good for the first. Paranoid about
no.
the close angle. Taps the bomb to force the fight, but the spray is laboured and Result
Oh,
delivers.
man,
That's how
that's
they make
pain.
it a 12.
That is pain.
6 rounds in a row of consistent buys, crazy clutches, and huge individual moments, and you get put to the sword by 5-7s and a scout? I mean, take nothing away from Itis Palace.
I'd
Those
say
are
it's a
2
pretty
sick
big
shots.
simplification, Ryan, but not a terrible one, to be fair.
Oh, that's such a gut punch. NIP have expended so much time, effort, energy to get themselves in this. And now it's 4 map points. Dilladez caught on the cross one more time. Tagged down significantly, but the same can be said for Rez. Up on long, grenade lands right by his feet. And he needs to tread lightly now as he backs away. Waits for the rest of the reinforcements to arrive so they can take that long. No one's home. There are 3 players in close proximity looking to try and boost over, get themselves into the fight. Need to be careful.
Oh Lord, I
Wrinkles
watched that
watching
shit
this angle.
live.
Drops the orb back to Rez, low on health, 14 HP to his name. Takes the rifle on this. He is a bit of a hybrid, so he'll be comfortable in this situation as well. And it's glowing on the bomb site. Support on short, flash over the top so he can peek in, take the combat on ramp, but run down from Isaac. And they're expanding quickly.
Bro, that
taking
ragdoll
space.
looks so cool.
Chip damage is great though for both
Like a
teams.
movie
Everyone's
scene.
softened up, so the M4s could still find frags
4v4
from this.
post line. Here we go.
Single flashbang in the back pocket for Dilladez, but I Disbalance. His head's on the chopping block, and it's Yokat to be the executioner. The backstab seals that one. Gives them a fighting chance here in the 9th. They're all going to barrel back. They're looking to posture off from it. They know he's here
This
as
is
a
actually so
mid-contingent.
smart from 9 Pandas.
And they just want to save these guns.
I really do want to give them
Economy in a
some
real rough
credit.
position.
To call that off was so good.
NIP could claw their way back into 9.
Because their money's not great.
Yeah, they are. That's been dialed in already.
That was actually
Question now remains
impressive.
whether 9 Pandas can save any of these guns. Money could
Not sure
justify
that's fine,
an
but I
MP
do know
hunting for
Gamba
this, even though
talking
there are
here,
low
brother.
hit points across a bunch of them. Also, don't want to give any further AKs
Keep
across,
toward
so
you.
they're
Good
going
luck.
to be
Be
happy to tap
responsible.
this one
Just,
out.
I don't want it much.
allow
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
3 9 Pandas players to save 3 more opportunities
Oh, you're
now,
all
though.
good. You're good, man.
3 more chances.
The notorious Wrinkle still has the orb. He's been good with the mid-openers, getting tags, getting hits off.
For
Hefty
a
investment
star.
on long-side, reading the book and expecting
NIP
a
just
fast
don't wait.
round
Are they
with
taking the
tempo from
timing?
the T side of NIP, but they're not coming this
Oh,
time.
they are. They already spoke to mid B. They already
It's a
spoke
split
to.
push, mid to be out, focus on Dilladez
Are they
in
gonna
the
need this
round.
smoke though?
He's got to hold back the
No
way.
nade.
Quick
No
reposition
nade for it to
Glowing.
blow
He
the
was good
smoke.
last time. Visualize the frag,
Bro,
got the
she's
shot off
trapped.
to put him into a better position. This time goes headstrong. Dilladez all on you to defend, but the turret is
Safe.
uprooted by Rez is AK.
And that should
Perfect
be
call
save.
from
Shelby,
Missum.
though, is gonna be in a fight
Perfect
sooner
call
rather
from
than
Missum.
later. He's being flanked
Great
from the side. Here's
situational
the
awareness from
footsteps.
his team as well.
Oh, put down. Yokab deals with him. Do they want 2 AWPs? For the time being, he's going to pick that one up just to make sure the CTs can't get their hands on it, but be curious to see if they run with 2 AWPs into the next round. Dust 2, of course, is a map where that could very well be a possibility, but decides against it, tosses it back down, picks up the AK instead. So NIP will hit 10. Didn't look likely at 11-2 down. Mesalt's waiting for that push. Waiting to receive the tease through on long, but he goes down. A lot of damage, but no kill alongside it.
It's a big find, man. Their
Nice
money's
balance,
not
will
great.
say. Now, there is more than enough money to get a buy in.
It's not horrible, but like,
Second time out
it's like
called.
right in that sweet spot where if
Makes
they
a lot
get
of
cleared
sense.
on one of these full buys,
Want to make sure that you
there's
go
gonna
through
be like
everything. Fierce is
they're gonna
called
be a
that one.
situation where they might have to like
They will have a buy.
double force.
We see consistent
To stay
long
alive.
control attained by 9 Pandas from
Did Liquid stay in
Resource
Shanghai? I
getting out
don't
there
know,
with early
man.
grenades.
I do not know.
A lot
I
of
know
it's been based
Complexity
off
came
spawns
back,
as well,
and I
though,
think
so
they're
it'll be curious to see what they come
Complexity
up with
came
here.
back for 4 days, and then now they're back there already. I think they get there tomorrow, so they'll have 4 or 5 days to adjust back.
Double AWP setup.
I know not
Could be a
all teams
tenacious
stayed there
defense
because
for 9 Pandas here in the 23rd.
think
That
Elijah
would
was
still
mentioning,
close the
like,
game and push us to the 3rd map, the decider of Mirage.
it wasn't
bookend that's been
easy to
waiting
do
in
like
the
their
wings, but
normal
a story
routines
we might
because
never
the
get to tell.
hotel internet
If
was
NIP
a bit
can
rough.
close this into
And I imagine that's because they have it super
turn
locked
for the
down,
mid face. Wrinkle
for the
Labs going
event.
for these. Bypassing
like in
this
terms of
time.
the overall traffic that they're allowing
players
to
out on long,
operate
deep
outside
HEs.
of the event's
Isaac.
network.
A sliver of chip damage as that one tickles the toes and drops him
And
to
then
86.
flip side also is like
But it affords Resort an aggressive position, allows the
kind of hard to
wrap
get
off from
practice,
Shalfie
I would
for that
imagine,
second
because
door.
the teams
We
you
put to better
practice
use
against, you're going to be
elsewhere.
playing against.
Seen a change as
So
well.
if you
from
don't go
9
back to
Pandas. I
your
was curious
region
what
to
kind of
practice for a little bit,
alternatives
you're
they
not-
go for.
you're
Dillade's
just gonna be
really
playing
struggling
people you
on
could
B-side,
potentially match
especially
up
since
against in the
Balance over
tournament.
there for this round to join him. He's playing more of a static angle. He's allowing Dillades to
only
play more
Hulzerk
middle.
stayed in Asia. He's vibing in
Dillades is
Tokyo.
typically one of the guys over the duration of this tournament that has been popping off round after round after round. He's been very silent, especially in the second half. B-side just seems uncomfortable for him. May very well try and push out there as well. You can see that nothing's really happened over on the
Wouldn't it end
B-tunnel
up like
side.
5 weeks?
At
Nah.
some point, someone may try and flank
Yeah, I don't
around
know.
the
It's a
back,
bit
get into
tricky.
lower tunnels and have a quick peek. But for the time being, this is leaving Glowing alone to fend off the A site. He does have backup in the form of Result up on long, but he's been mollied out, flashed alongside it, does stand his ground for 1. Any more kills would be huge, and it could
To
be
be
the
fair, though,
beginning of the
Lee
end for
said he
Dust
didn't
2.
flip his
Wrinkle comes
sleep
in for a
schedule. He
tech
stayed on
and
it.
a spray from Yokap, good for 1, but it's going to have to be down to Wrinkle one more time as he lands the headshot, but it's not quite good enough. They tried their best to make the comeback, but we go the distance to Mirage.
Yes, we are going to get the 3rd map. 9 Pandas again. They were letting the lead slip away from them. NIP creeping stealthily back into the game. But in the end, it's going to be 1-1. We are going to Mirage. I'll start with you, Maui. What do you make of that one then? Once again, your boy.
Red Rock, thanks for your
Fighting
22-month primer. Thank you,
Wrinkle's
thank
doing
you,
the
thank you.
absolute most that he can.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But overall, horrendous start for NIP in this one. Once again, this was a punish pick from 9 Pandas.
Yeah.
They did target this intentionally. They had a pretty decent win rate overall. Not necessarily a map that they've been going to heavily at this tournament per se, but in the grand scheme of things, this T-side start from 9 Pandas was just blistering, and practically it felt like everything was working for them. NIP tried to throw a little bit of disruption into the direction of 9 Panda, but yeah, I think God was on Shalfie's side, and for the rest of 9 Pandas too.
Yeah, I think they were just having a strong default at the start of the game, right? Like,
why am I not in the
managing to
major?
find
Because good
openings
players
or
play
at
in the
least,
major.
Trades out of that, and then mid-round pretty easily and pretty decently. Threw in a couple of pop plays there. I mean, this was sick for me. This is the first round NIP win. It's a 4v5, and they just sort of line up perfectly for him. But yeah, 9 Pandas just being able to sort of get the job done in the first half, it felt like, and then even though it got dicey in the second one, we're able to close it out eventually.
Yeah, and look, we've talked a lot about NIP. We put a lot of the focus on them. I think over on the Nine Pandas side, you know, you've got to really pay attention to some of these players as well. Like iDisbalance, I think, has been doing very well overall at the RMR. And I think you can understand why he's like an integral player. He was good again here, and Resalt as well, able to bounce back. I mean, you know, he needed a big performance on this map, and he delivered as well.
Rico, I was always on the schedule.
I feel like
before
iDisbalance has gotten a little bit better in this series than from the other ones. I'd say he's a little bit hit or miss. Resalt has been pretty solid for them. Still yet to really see the Shalfie performance that I've wanted from him in the series, but no, iDisbalance.
I'm old enough to remember when he was meant to be the next big thing. I mean, if you remember, there was a lot of talk about how he was going to be the emergent
on Spirit.
superstar from
Before Dexter came.
Yeah, exactly. And you know,
Rico?
he hasn't delivered on that promise. But
the schedule
there
just
was a
sucks 'cause
reason
it
people
sucks,
were
you know?
saying it. His ceiling is still very
not
high.
much.
It's just we don't see him up there that often.
I would say consistency issues have really marred iDisbalance. Like, he'll have these sort of pop-off games here, but I think it's actually kind of map dependent. I gotta check out his map stats a little closer, because I think Dust 2 has been one where he's actually been a contributing member for Nine Pandas so far at this RMR, and just whenever I've caught them in the past. But I think like Resalt also, on top of what iDisbalance here, he was just ready for every situation. Yeah, I mean,
There's
Yanko
just
was
a
talking
weird
about
one
the
to
fact that
answer,
there's a lot of
Rico, so
defaults for the side of
my
Nine Pandas, and I felt like every stage of the default, he was good for a kill, regardless of what sort of conflict he was presented.
Anything to add about iDisbalance's performance?
Yeah, I think he was solid. We saw towards the tail end there, just also managing to find a couple of entry kills and tags just with the initial peak with the off through double doors, who obviously makes the life so much easier for the in-game leader too when you play with that sort of an advantage. And it was just that feeling where they win the second pistol, right? So they're up 11-2, and then you're like, okay, we lose the second round. Oh, we'll win no matter what, and it's getting really close. And then, fortunately, attack pause, Richard.
Yeah, well, look, okay, let's talk about it, right? So this happened before the tech pause, if memory serves me correctly. Let's just take a look at this wrinkle clutch, because this was big. This is when I thought, oh, wow, okay, the comeback is real.
Sure. So on round 19 here, great start from Nine Pandas overall. Sure, there's a flurry of frags in their favor to bring it back, but Wrinkle in the 1 versus 3 gets the kill towards middle, jumps down to take down Glowing, who's unsure of where Wrinkle went to, because there was a bit of a gap of information right there for them. But overall, I mean, that round, we saw stuff like that on Ancient, where he helped Isaac win the 2v4. Like, Wrinkle is pulling off heroic stuff overall. Unfortunately, they couldn't build off of that momentum.
Yeah, and then, speaking of momentum, after that round, they immediately went into a tech pause. And obviously, you put your coach head on for a little moment, and you were kind of like, look, unless something really drastic has happened here, this is not what you do not want to break up the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if a player has an issue and can't play the game properly, right? Like, I mean, you need to pause and sort it out. But if it's something minor, like you're in the middle of a comeback, and then there's a slightly long tech pause, I don't know how to put it. You're going up against the half fight. This is off the back of the Wrinkle plunge.
Yeah, this is the round that really
round
fucked
falls
things
apart,
up for them,
right?
for
I
sure.
mean, trying to go for long, just in a half fight, the cities are going to take some more risks. It pays off. They hit some shots and they get on match point. This is the first round they win in the second half outside of the pistol. And I'm like, I think we even had this issue one time when I was in phase. And I remember just telling the player, bro, unless it's something like where you literally cannot play the game, let's just get back into it. Like, they don't know what to do. And they were out of timeouts, I think, the opponents too. So it was just this unique situation where I know you're going to get a lot of flack for this, because it's going to be like, oh, how is he supposed to play? If he has an issue, then, he's supposed, you need to be able to fix it. But
like, if it's just an FPS drop or something like that, because a lot of these players complain about stuff like that.
You're spot on. I think people at home might not really understand, like, a lot of the tech issues, they're very...
My screen is a little bit more green than it's supposed to be. I feel like my bullets are traveling slower than they're supposed to be.
I think I had a lag spike too.
It's like a little Joe. Because the thing would show jitter at the top right or something. It's like, dude, this is.
It's like, oh, I'm just having lag spikes all the time. It's like, well, you're just struggling. It's fine. We're coming back. We don't need you right now. You know, like you're not the main thing.
Because the composure for them in that following round that we showed is just like they're getting picked off by pistols who are just kind of going on these little hit and run missions. They're like peeking out a little bit, getting a couple shots off, then they're tucking back in, and it just felt like NIP weren't as composed after that long tech pause that clearly threw off their focus.
And so you say to lose to kind of half by, you know, that's essentially what delivered the game to 9Pandas, you know, so definitely something to think about. And thanks for the coaching insight. I'll stay on that. We're going into Mirage. So who's winning this one and why?
So funny. If I actually tried to take them on a walk, you would literally hide.
Pandas for what they've shown me thus far in the RMR.
I was NACS earlier today. It was good.
Watching them play against Aurora, this is. Again, I've been saying his name repeatedly for the side of 9Pandas. Shalfie has just been such an integral player to how they want to structure everything. He, on T side, it's like he just goes everywhere. Like usually in these kinds of positions, I would be like, oh, he plays con, watch out for him in con. But actually when watching his demo, I couldn't tell you with 100% certainty what his actual spot is. It just looks like he gets to go mid in a variety of ways on every single round. Even on T side, sometimes he'll come from the top, sometimes he'll go from underpass. Like he gets to just call his own number as far as I can tell.
But they do actually.
And he has great intuition on this map, and he is going to probably be the difference maker for me on this side for sure.
Like forced tech pauses. It's also why teams can't talk.
So far in this series, right? On Ancient, they had a big lead. They let it slip. On Dust 2, almost let it slip, but managed to close it out last minute. I think it's going to be pretty clean on Mirage.
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to a break. We're going to see if the ninjas are going to assassinate the pandas or whether the pandas will banish them back to the shadows. Find out after the break.
What's the starting point for a 5-stack? ESA open. Nah, Matt. I already stream too much as is, bro. I don't need to add a lifting stream into my fucking schedule. Oh, shit. Yeah, and IRL streams in general don't really interest me because people suck, so... Last time we checked my 1 rep maxes? Nah, I'm not gonna 1 rep. I mean, I did 2 like 4 months ago. Bench was 315 for 2. Squat was 330 something for 2. And then dead was 460 something, 70 for 2. It's nothing like too crazy. How many miles are we at? We're over 2. Yes, I enjoy confirm. Honestly, my chest is kind of weak, I feel like. I'm a fan of bodyweight exercises. Yeah, I do them. Good. They're solid. Bodyweight exercises are like that thing where that's how when I was actually like hardcore on my deficit to start the year. That's that shit I was like, damn, this shit's easy. When you slide 20, 25 pounds off your body and you start doing some bodyweight stuff, you're like, all right. You do barbell squats? Yeah. What do you mean floor mat? You mean like what splits? I don't remember. Feel like just trying to get yourself amped up to go, just go. Just simply go. Who the fuck? You might not even know anything that's going on. Just go and fucking hit up some machines and just move some weights around. And then what you're gonna notice is your brain's gonna be like, so how do I do this better? At least that's how mine is. It's like, okay, this is cool. I'm doing this thing, but like, how do I do this better? You got a home gym? Yeah, I do. You can do, what is it? Exclamation point home gym, you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Don't mind that guy desperately trying to get unbanned in Instagram. Nah, I lift with Trainer Homie. Trainer Homie's been lifting with me for a while, man. Devour, no. Honestly, I'm the worst type of person to work with Devour because I know what I'm supposed to do. I will actively make the wrong choice. Like, what's gonna make me happier? Losing some weight or eating this ice cream right now? Don't give a fuck. Here we go. Alright though. At least I kind of proved to myself. I did a deficit for a little while, dropped a lot of weight, so we'll get back on it again. What a dolphin. I mean, wait, Matthew, you asking the same thing? Did you mean to ask it that way, Matthew? Hell yeah, Rin. Yeah. I'm pretty much, I'm starting to lock in with the deficit again. I took like probably 4 months off. I didn't put on any weight again. Which also is a good thing that I can stop actively counting things and not fuck it up. Yeah, we'll see. I'm basically gonna take it to the point where I literally feel like I'm altering like my life dramatically, which we're not there yet. What's the chance of I don't know, dude. I honestly can't believe Astralis beat Eternal Fire, so I'm not sure. Soon. Matthew, I was sponsored by Factor, so I was using them a lot. Still do, although right now on this schedule, and Nori's been cooking a lot at home. I haven't been having as much because we just always have leftovers. Good thing to have. Am I surprised that we're getting in? No. For whatever, like, listen, I won't say you're like flat out stupid, but I'm just, Heroic has a winning percentage on every single map that they play, and they're the 7th ranked team in the world. Now, I definitely think Dexter hasn't really changed anything for Heroic, but what I do think is they've gotten more out of Testas and Nerds, and they look more
Welcome
cohesive
back
as
to
a
the
unit.
World. Shanghai Major RMR for Europe.
I mean, like, when you have a team that has a winning record on literally every single map that they play,
Pandas, a close second affair, Vince, but they find their way.
I know
through
they
it, so
don't
it
like.
all has to end on
No,
Mirage.
Heroic isn't
But who
making
will it be
some
an
sexy
Oasis
runs
for?
in tournaments,
And who will
but
it be just that? A Mirage.
They are objectively
That is
good.
the question that we are all
a very good
waiting
team. Like,
with bated breath. That 13-10 scoreline
we just
on
don't
Dust
think they're
2,
going to be winning any
alongside the
tournaments
first one,
anytime
to be
soon,
fair,
you
doesn't
know?
really paint the full picture as to how we got to that point, that result. It was super back and forth, fast leads being lost and then re-extended on Dust 2, with Nip making a crazy comeback on the very first map. So stats-wise, we talked about this before, Mirage should lend itself to 9 Pandas. From what I've seen so far on these 2 first maps, I have absolutely no idea who's winning this.
Primer.
Yeah, I think
Arcot
expectations
Joe
and
with a
statistical
6-month primer. Any
breakdowns throughout
primers,
the
prime
window at this
forgetters?
point,
Thank
right?
you guys.
It just goes
Thank
down
you.
to what you can do on the server.
Thanks for those follows
Put
as
your best
well
foot
and the
forward,
subscriptions
fight
on
for
YouTube.
survival
Appreciate
here.
it.
You need the W to stay in the runnings for the Shanghai Major. It's all on the line. We've seen great rounds from Wrinkle. Rez having his moments. Missed him showing up back in map 1. Isaac with important clutches over on 9 Pandas. Resort felt like he went a bit quiet. Glowing. Conversation was, is he going to be absent on the server? Shalfi was dealing damage. Dilladez with a deagle has been lethal, but it's all got to be said here.
That's not
T-side start for
technically keeps track
NIP.
of
9
it, but
Pandas on the CT side. We get into the groove
I
of
just,
things.
like I said
Third and
earlier,
final
I'm just
map.
kind of,
It's
I
all
don't have
on
any
Mirage.
goals with the walking pad
Now,
besides
the
just to
T-side
fucking use
has
it.
been a little bit of a slow start for NIP in each and every one of these maps. Dust to the had success
Just a
towards
nice
the
little
end,
cheat
but
code.
the leaping across, Jakub is taken down first. Resort in the meanwhile, though, dialing in some more frags, and it's pretty much everybody lending a hand in this one. This step, he had tons of impact on Dust 2, but this just feels like it's a little bit too much to ask for. There is a low in...
What's wrong with that, Javix? We
Dilladez
beefing?
down on the get-right position, who can get finalized here, but he's just baiting. Missed them out into the open for Dilladez to shut him down for a 3K and get 9 Pandas in the lead.
The pistol prowess of Dilladez has been felt
the
throughout
Gamba?
this
Yeah, I
series, and
gotcha.
again, another round where he's able to show us what he's made of from the short angle. Taking scalps in the round. And kicking things off with a good CT side boon. Excitement there for him as well. He's fired.
Jackie and
man. He's
Vince are
been like this
casting,
all day.
baby.
All tournament, to be fair to him. On downside
Got a
is
new
when
walking
things
pad?
start to
Yeah.
go right, can get very
got a
quiet
way
over on
shittier
the
one.
9 Pandas side
I
of
could break
things.
5 of these for the price of my last one, so...
Missed
W.
attack down to 27, but will stand and
Worky,
deliver
thanks for
for
28 months
Problem
primer.
is
Thank you,
Glowing
thank you,
is
thank
now
you.
just picking apart the rest of the T's with that FAMAS. Second kill is good though, and a deagle traded up to for Yokab. Ooh, I thought for a second I connected.
Hell
Would've
yeah,
been costly,
NPC.
but 9
Fucking
Pandas
load
take
up
the
that
2-0.
walk, bro.
Yeah, good
I'm in
crouch
character
into it, felt like he
selection
was ready for
screen,
that
so...
one.
Make sure you guys customize my hair.
But nice hold from Glowing.
If you guys
Second
could make
round
me a little
picked
bit
up
more
relatively
jacked, that'd be
cleanly.
great. All right, thank you.
And here comes the buy. The T side of NIP with the AKs out on parade.
Man, so is NIP just going to spot them
And
10
needs to
rounds
play as well
again
here
before
going
they
into
start
the third.
playing, or what?
So a bit more stock in this round. Let's see what the call is. Early mid-smoke out towards the window. Follow-up going to be blocking off connector as well.
UFC
Second
next
run
to
out and see if they can
35-month
fight for
reset
this.
chat. We're one off the
Block on that
scam
from
train.
the
I
CT
appreciate
side
y'all, man.
perspective.
Thank you, guys.
They're just peeking over the top as well, looking for the fight here. Flashback in. It's completely missed off the back of the body block. They're able to fight from it. It's a quick reposition round towards the D side. Resort caught in transition through the window.
Got stuck in the window.
Shot connection back onto Isaac. But Yocap, he's looking to brawl. Causing issues inside
Damn, that
the
was
market.
sick timing from him.
Checks out with 2, glowing.
Ooh, cheeky
burning
peek,
alive.
though.
There's still strikes on the Famous, but that might be all they get from this.
It's got to be a save. Wait, but they
Yeah,
have
with the tons of
no, they
casualties
didn't.
they've taken
I'm
over the
stupid.
duration of these first 2 rounds as well. They're not really in a position where their economy can afford
Block,
to lose
it's
more
just
weapons.
something I
They
found
have to
on
just
Amazon.
save.
That was cheaper.
And Mistem knows it. He's on the prowl. He's on the hunt. Wants to try and finalize these 2 last pesky CTs and drop their weapons to the deck. Glowing behind CT. Box in the toll booth. May pay the price. In just a few moments' time, Mistem is going to clear this angle and will take him down. And now Dilladez realizes he's in a real world of hurt. Mistem picks up the pace. Good snap headshot. No survivors. And Idisbalance, Dilladez both down at $1,400. Precarious
Ballsy
position
call
for
on
9
Mistem, I'm
Pandas
gonna be
now.
honest. To get your first gun
They
round,
may
to
wanna
use it
just
in a
tap
B
out of
pop,
this round, but
that is a...
they're going to force. Instead, yeah, 2 players having a
You
double
gotta have
save
some
is never a great position to be in. So
some girth for that call.
Looking at 2 5.7s, a Deagle actually alongside
My
the 5.7
excuse is I've streamed
MP9.
entirely way too much the last 3 days.
No kits and a
Don't check
distinct
my
lack
VODs.
of utility on top of it.
Matthew, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Nice talk in the channel. I'll be matching all gifted subs on the scam train. That goes for Twitch and you, YouTube, you fuckers.
Run down on short. Rez repositioning quickly. Squeezing map control on the CT side. Break on the window, smoke peek out, but Wrinkle will take the face.
And
win
Wrinkle
that
already
one
got his.
comfortably.
All right.
So Shalfie slain.
Wrinkle gets online early on
Captain's tucking
Mirage.
close in the smoke towards Connector as well. Dilladaz, he's been lethal with that dig. This is a rough encounter for him and Resort. They look to clear it. Rez on the run-in. 1-for-1 trade. Missed him with a bite back. High disbalance here on jungle side. Cleaned up and 1 by 1. Mopping up the Pandas. Window of opportunity for Dilladez well and truly gone. He can get his hands back on the hot rod, but this 4th round looking everything is good for Nick.
That'd be a good take out of it though, a second rifle. And keep in mind, Dilladez has a Deagle, so he can drop that across one of his teammates, assuming they can hold on to these 2. But what makes
Dusty, is
this
that cup? It
third
ain't.
map such an enticing
Matthew,
proposition
thank you
is
again
that
for the 5
when
gifts,
you
brother.
look at
Appreciate
the
it.
sort of trajectory to this point, and yes, I completely agree, throw all the normal stats and everything out the window, it's all about this map, but you have the 2 AWPers and their respective teams, the 2 players are playing the best on the server by a considerable distance. Disbalance having one of the best performances of his entire event so far. 40 kills. Wrinkle, 41 frags. There's such little to determine between these 2 AWPers
Sylviano,
right now.
the gifted sub to
ADR,
Sweet Potato,
88
thank
to
you very much.
86,
Shout out you
the
one
rating
gifted.
1.34 to 1.36. It is so close between these 2. But the problem here early doors is that because of how scrappy the start has been from Idisbalance on 9 Pandas, he's not going to be able to get an AWP for quite some time. This is actually stalling and stymieing your heavy-hitting player that is feeling it right now.
That's the difference in opening jewels as well. Like coming into this series, Wrinkle had twice the amount of opening jewels he was being able to find. 27% conversion rate compared to the 13.4% that we'd seen from Idisbalance. As we were saying, it's one being proactive, whereas the other's watching it happen, looking to react off the back. This is really rough for Glowing and really burnt to a crisp instantly. No HP left, and that's the rifle that was in his hands. You bleed back out on mid-side, looking to just throw bodies at the problem. See if you can make it uncomfortable here in the battle of attrition. Rez being run down. No escape.
33.
Result sprinkles the bullets on top. And NIP respond with a barrel out into the bomb site. Heads up Molotov as well. Stops Idisbalance getting back around.
Bomb has been planted.
It surprises me somewhat that Dilladez is still here. They have no kit. They don't really have much utility either. And additionally, 2 players without armor. Aim punch going to be a real problem, but they want to try and still go for this
thank
one.
you so much for the 5.
They need to get their first kill.
10 gifted subs. Can we get some nice talks in chat for Sky? Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I mean, I know hindsight's
Are you
always
11
2020, and
gifted,
it's
Chad?
easy
Thank
for
you
us to
very
make
much,
these
man.
kind of judgments, and yes, they can also buy, but it felt like the chances of them winning that round were so low. Saving the AK surely is the better play long term.
Yes, it is, Vince. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I tried to chase on the economy on that one, see if they could find anything from it, but really messy in the initial engagements. It was glowing, that was burning. Response back onto Residence and top mid that afforded them those AKs. Down to 2 players, but NIP taking the bomb plant and the round. So 1 ahead, 3-2 split here in the third map. Disbalance, A1S in play, can't go for the jump out, but his teammate will find the first pick. Wrinkle with a rapid response, straight back down. It's a carnage up middle. Everyone's scrapping.
Both teams giving as good as they get. Wrinkle down low,
Curious
HP
what
has
they
already
want to
picked
go
up
with this. I
one.
mean, it looks like Cat, but
Dilladez on 9 frags, who did get in amongst it. Also vested. Good to see him back on the server again after a rough dust too. But it is Yocab. Edging NIP slightly in the lead. Oh, but he gets caught in the side. Not anticipating Disbalance, missed him. Insta trade back again. Just
they might cut it back.
And forth encounters between the two teams. Standing in the middle of the ring, exchanging haymakers. Glowing though gets the KO blow onto Mistem. But the bomb is now transitioning back through the T-spawn.
Got a horse in this race.
In the hands of Wrinkle and Isaac.
Ever so slightly to
making
NIP.
moves into Con. He may have
Not
just
so much so that I'll be
this.
upset that 9 Pandas
He's
wins
playing himself
or some
off the
shit.
side, but now
And
he
I
goes
would
back
say
on
they're
there
the
again.
favorite.
He could be there to receive and to take down these Ts. Even if he picks off a low Wrinkle, that could be good enough.
Last chance qualifiers is where we've seen this man absolutely
Sky, thank you.
thrive.
Thank you again,
But in
bro.
this round, it's going to be a fast peek in from Wrinkle, low on health, opens it up, shuts him down, doesn't expect the second to be in close proximity, and it's Isaac back in a 1v2. He broke their backs on Ancient in this exact position. Can he roll it right back? Time ticking away. Throws in the Molotov and the HE. He's looking to try and get himself the plant down. It'll be a fast peek from
Bastard,
CT.
thank you very much for your Twitch Prime. So beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, and Glowing wouldn't have been affected by those grenades either because he knew the time was so low, the
watch
full-on
Arcane
plant would
Club?
have to come
Nah.
through, so he just runs him down and
Everybody
runs
says
him
great
through
things
in the
about it. I
end.
just haven't really. Others
3-3,
really made me
9
want to pull the
Pandas
trigger on
finally
watching
have
it.
an AWP in the hands of Disbalance for
I
I
tried
believe is
to
the
one
first time on this
when
half.
I was traveling to Cologne.
Taking that away from
I think it
Wrinkle.
was not this year, but last year.
So let's see if he can have that same level of impact.
think
They will
my-
be having to withstand up against
I
NIP
think for whatever reason, like
on
my
another
download
full
got corrupted
investment.
or
It is
some
2
shit.
Mac 10s.
And
Two
then I
players
kind of
without
just like
head
never
armor
went
could
back.
be caught off guard
Nori's
by
not
this.
too interested, so you know, wifey.
Oh,
So
no,
we
from
watched
Dilladez
cool
had a
things
bit
like
extra
Penguin.
cash. It's only
You know?
Disbalance.
Although now we
Without
got the
the
new
helmets.
Dune show. You guys watched the first episode of that? Goddamn Tact XO, you beautiful, beautiful human. Thank you
Quiet
so
game
much
from Rez
for your
to this
5
point
gifted,
as
you
well. He's
beautiful
had key
motherfuckers.
rounds
Thank
over
you
the
very much.
series.
And I 16 gifted, chat.
Slow to start. How does he
There's a
finish?
show now?
That's always
Yeah,
the big
so it's
question. Very early doors in the third map so far.
it's a show about
sets himself
the
up by the ticket booth with support of Glowing on the bomb
like
site.
the Truthsayers. What's their actual
Dilladez
collective called?
posturing off, so it's a fast hit here from Mistem. He's able to get short control instantly. He can do
The women that are
distraction piece,
advisors to the
potentially
kings
backstab
and
that
shit.
kill
Relic,
Shelby.
thanks for the
Then you get
53-month
barreling
farmer.
out
Thank
onto the
you.
bomb site. It's all down to resource.
Yeah,
That's
the
over
better judge rate.
MP9.
Thank you.
Utility's gone for him. Ooh,
Yeah, it's basically their
looking
lore.
for 2. Gets him low, but Isaac will bypass. Retake's already arriving on the scenes. He's looking to try and get that fast deny onto the bomb, but missed him towards E-Box, hits the head, and the round's gone with it.
Bypassing Disbalance on the
Yes,
AWP.
Relic, it
I almost
is.
feel
That's
sorry
how I
for him.
feel.
It's like, yeah, I finally got the AWP, guys. Let's go. Oh, you've hit B.
Missed him
and
having an
after
insane
Brilliant.
mirage right now, man. Good for him.
So back he'll fall into
Bro,
the,
what
the
the fuck?
palace with
Asian
Glowing.
salads. Thank you so much for your
Great call
fucking
by
5
NIP,
gifted
though,
subs.
and-
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, you mentioned that they had this
I
kind of
21
this
gifted,
two-hit
chat.
contingent in terms of the Mac 10 running and gunning up on the catwalk while the bulk of the T's exploded out of
thank you,
BX.
thank
But there's
you.
only one player there for 9 Pandas as well. Like,
Hope you've been well,
there's
Asian
not too much
salads.
he could have done about that, really. I think it was Result with the MP9. He got the 1 kill, but he was just overwhelmed, just swarmed by aggressors. I do wonder if this continues to be a problem over on B, if they're going to send a second player over there.
31
at least to play on
gifted, yo.
catwalk. Just
Is
to
it
help him out just
Royal?
a tiny bit. I mean, there's not much that Result can do if he's getting rushed down
Royal,
by
I
4 and 5
apologize if I
players.
said your name wrong,
Yeah,
but thank you
Shelby
very
on
much
short,
for your
but obviously
5.
he just got backstabbed
10 gifted.
instantly,
You're
so as soon as
absolutely
he went
fucking
down,
stunning,
everyone
and I
was
really
able to run on
appreciate
out.
you. Thank you.
And he was trying to set him up with the
You guys
utility
are
and then just got mowed down
psychotic
by the
today,
Mac,
huh?
so went a bit south for them
Little
pretty quickly
psychotic?
on that one.
Everybody just hates their money
Investment
today.
into the utility around the weapons they've still got to play with. Glowing
Procs
AK,
and shocks, thank you very much for your Twitch primer. Beautiful. Thank you.
Wrinkle can take fights here, though. Comfortable in these sort of scenarios. Glowing. Oh, headshot angle.
Oh,
Delivers the goods, but
spraying
the
like
payload
me.
still arriving.
Ew.
He's a full commit. I've been tons of time on the clock. Minute and 35 seconds. All three players here towards the A site, drawing rotations over from the Pandas.
Okay, Poplums, thank you so much for your 5 gifted.
Slow down. I mean, the smoke's
You
in
just
their
must
eyes. They
hate
can't
money as
really
well,
do
and
much
you know
of
what? I
Isaac's position
appreciate
outside
that.
of
Thank you
Palace.
for your
Now it's gonna
5
start to
gifted.
fade.
Bank Shot Toast, thank you very
Tons of
much for your
utility.
Twitch
You got
primer.
3
Thank you.
Molotovs, loads of flashes. Peeking in like this again.
Lot
just plays into the
of
hands
girth
of
in here
Result, but
today.
you do remove his head.
Collective
Dylan
girth.
He's been patiently waiting beside the box. Knows at least 2 players now up on the ramp side, but he may be unsure as to Isaac's current position. And as he goes in for the swing, looks for the deagle. It's all gone horribly wrong. Shalfie tries to lay down with the 5-7, but there is Yocab to pick it off. It was looking shaky for NIP. 1 HP for Misstep.
They made their
and
mistakes.
take the 5th.
They let NIP back into this game.
He's hit some big shots with a gun over the course of this series. Back on Ancient, absolutely feasting with it, but not here, not this time.
My wife left me because she said I was
So another round for the greater NIP.
She just had
This time with a good start.
Claymore, thanks for the 247 bits, you
It's
idiot.
always been slow for Vince. Feels like they play on the back foot. They're able to find their way back in the late game. This time around, just starting to command early, finding confidence.
I'm in character select
Keeping
screen,
that economy on
Amelia.
the brink of destruction for 9 Pandas as well, of how close
Oh,
these
he's
rounds
going
have been.
for it.
It's a flash now. Line up through triple,
Wow,
span
bro,
into the
they're
box,
just
2
fucking
opening picks with
running at
Wrinkle
'em.
winning out in the head-to-head. The battle of the AWPers there versus I Disbalance. And NIP have got the upper hand on this round. Quick into A. Block off all the potential response from the CTs. Fragment the map. Yocam on the blue stop. Oh, can't even take that one.
Jesus.
The AK dismantles him, and Result watching all of his teammates get thrown into the blender around him. Has hit a nice adjustment shot there on the run out towards Rez. Can grab an AK from it, but that's all he's going to have if he can keep it alive. And we've missed him on the bomb site. Should be bang to rights. Clean up on this one. A full house of NIP taking 6.
I love how
If you were in a
aggressive
fighting
and
game, what would
ruthless
my
NIP are
ultimate be?
playing as well.
Earthquake.
Dying embers of this all-important match just to survive.
Minute
to
and a half
watch on
left,
while
chat.
the rest of these games unfold. A lot of Counter-Strike to be played today. And one of these teams will be locking themselves into that final matchup later on. But they're so aggressive, not letting 9 Pandas get
camera angle
comfortable, not
just
letting them
looks
get
so
into
funny.
to positions. It's just run and gun. And even in the rounds where they've been a little bit later to execute, like a couple of rounds ago, the initial charge is there. They're terrifying 9 Pandas, making them throw out their utility early on and then just bypassing it.
DJ, thanks for your 75
I mean,
months
they've got a
reset. Thank you, thank you,
42%
thank you.
win rate on
Appreciate you.
Mirage coming into the RMRs. And right now, they are looking clinical on this side. Shalfie seems to have some tech issues going on.
Admin does not look happy.
Yeah, locked into a back and forth here with the admin. So a technical pause, throwing a bit of a spanner in the works on this one. We'll see what the resolution is. Headset off for now. Just the one flip-flop.
Just one.
Got Result as well, sat back in his chair. Oh dear. Not even sure what the problem is.
Linus, what was the final number? We're at 20 seconds.
'Cause, I mean,
So I might be able to
Counter-Strike's
gift this
up,
subs.
so I guess it's some kind of audio problems going on.
36? All right.
Yeah, seems like it. I was pointing at the monitor, communicating with the admin. Seems a bit frustrating.
Yeah, fuck it. They're on a tech buzz, so hold on.
Yeah, this also happened on the
Thank
last
you.
map
Guys,
as
we do a
well,
lot of
when
baiting
NIP
around
were
here, but
really
thank you
surging
very
ahead.
much.
They
I
had tons
appreciate
of
you.
momentum
Thanks,
built
guys.
behind them. The tech issue came in. It seemed to... I'm not saying that was the reason why they lost the game or anything, of course not, but it certainly didn't help.
Oh my god, I almost
Same kind of
hit 100.
situation here as well. Off to a cracking start on their T side. I mean, coming through into this, you've got two players well over 120 ADR, and it's not really the usual suspects. It's Yocab, who had so many impactful rounds. Obviously, the wraparound from Market, where he shut down 2, basically outright won the round. They got Mistem again as well, who was great on Dust 2. Rez is down at 24 ADR, and Isaac's
Almost
down
at
at
that sub
39.
goal, boys. Thank you very much.
So
thank you,
they are
thank you,
straight
thank you.
up bludgeoning 9 Pandas without a lot of those heavy hitters fully activating and arriving on the server just yet.
Well, in is back in. Headset placed over the top. Perhaps we're getting closer to this one going live again. We'll see. In terms of the organizations, though, what they're working for here, obviously, with their major appearances, NIP head and shoulders above the rest, 16 appearances at Counter-Strike
Josh,
majors, of course, their tenure for the organization.
5 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you.
Behind Fnatic and Na'Vi. Rez, he's the only one with a major experience on this roster, of course. 7 major appearances for him. Wrinkle, Mistem, and Yocab looking to make their debut. Oh, and Isaac, of course. Can't forget about him, mate. He's had like 3 majors now, I think. I forgot about him, really, with how good he looked back on Ancient, mate.
He's been to a fair few.
With some paper towels. Drink spillage, is that what's happened here? The socks come off. Yeah, I think he spilt a drink.
Oof.
He's getting the feet out for free. Shalfie, put those away.
I'm so confused. If it was a spilt drink,
Claymore, thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because obviously he was pointing at the headphones, the in-ears.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, everybody just wants to give me 5 gifted now after this game. Okay.
I don't know.
Claymore, you look incredible. Thank you.
It looks like a bit of panic. There's the paper
and Sky,
towels
thank
in
you
the
very
hand,
much for the
the
5
admin,
gifted.
a bit
Thank
confused,
you.
wet sock
Appreciate
there.
you.
You can see right through it. Oh dear.
I'm so perplexed what the hell's happening. Because normally when we have these tech issues, you can see people like scrambling around, typing on the keyboard and stuff. This is just like Shalfie's having a chill conversation with
This definitely makes me feel
how's
weird.
your day today, mate? Right. Okay. Resalt's put his headset back on. Shalfie's got his in-ears. He's put his headset back on. Let's go. Fierce is stood up. It's looking good. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking good.
No, I just don't like it because they're getting absolutely throttled and there's a quote-unquote tech issue, but
I think that's
I couldn't tell you what the fuck it is.
We've seen on casts between the both of us over the course of this one.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to keep those
and bro
liquids
just
contained.
put his shit on and he's back to normal.
2 or 3 of them were in the Americas RMRs.
Yeah.
Like, that's really weird.
I think, who was it? Art Frost that accidentally spilled like a whole bottle of water on his desk, and that took ages to clean up.
Yeah, and that's also in the same game, I think, when he was mega tilted.
For the 1,
he was real frustrated. Yeah, he was super angry.
3.
All right, and then IP call a timeout.
4
So
gifted.
obviously,
Thank you.
all of the tech issues, they couldn't speak to each other. I had to just sit in silence, call a timeout
Nah, that
straight
felt
away,
like
make sure everyone
literally,
is
bro.
dialed in.
Yeah, it gave me
Makes
old
a lot
vibes
sense why
of
you want
people
Polis wanting
kicking
to
their
play.
PCs.
And NIP have shown with Exist, to be fair, over the duration of the RMRs, but especially in this game.
Oh, did we
they're
hit
not
the
scared
sub
to
goal?
throw
Is
a
that what it
couple
was?
timeouts early on in the map, just to make
Fucking
sure they get the best
psychos.
possible start. We've seen this in both of the maps now, leading into Mirage. They're up against an eco. M4 for Resalt has been purchased. He's down to $0. So more of a hero M4 it looks like. And everybody else is happy enough just to go down to the pistols. So we'll see if that has been a bit of a combo breaker for NIP coming straight back into this.
It was last time. Oh.
They've picked up 6 of the last 7 rounds, and Wrinkle showing no signs of slowing down.
No, certainly not. Fast hit there through the wall. Diligence tries to duck and
Are you
dive.
suggesting the drain on purpose? I'm suggesting that seemed like a really weird tech pause, and I couldn't tell what it was. And in the
A
past,
hefty pick. And
we've had to do a lot of
rifle on top, so
rules around techs because people do intentionally have tried to abuse it. Yes,
they take space, bleed down the ramp, see if they can get a read on what's going on the round. It's Wrinkle holding for
definitely
that.
Makes me worried.
To go for the rule, rotate, he'd be in position to hold them back. It's just Shalfie. Single smoke dashed in.
Like way back when people, and this is why we have the rule where you can't talk to each other during text.
On the move, it's side disbalance, but it's only really going to be the 5-7, the P250 for a late hit on the bomb site if they come a knocking. They don't necessarily need to either. Tons of time still on the clock. They've got a boatload of utility with 3 players towards mid-side.
And, you know,
block off connector.
Obviously, he didn't do this, but back in the day, people legitimately would just kick PCs so they could talk to each other if they were losing.
4 stack. If they catch wind
Very
of this,
clearly
you could
spill
bet
water.
on
You
the
think
play.
so? It just looked weird because at first he was like, he took off his in-ears and was just sitting there like he had a sound issue.
They could, but time now at 30 seconds. It looks like they fully engaged. They fully committed to this play. And Shalfie with the 5-7 is going to be able to deliver the first. This is getting awkward real quick, and it's gone from bad to worse. Resalt is chipping in for 2 frags.
No.
Yokat misses every bullet. And although Rez finally shows his hands, is it too little too late with 15 seconds? They come out into the open, and Shalfie puts him out with the AK. NIP have been broken. A great start, but they move into the stack site and they get
lost
punished.
the round after the tech. And they got ecoed
A
again.
slow round with them walking into their demise. Started off with Shalfie on shore. They just kept finding kills.
It's
no room for trades. Went
I
down
just
to
wish
Rez,
that it
doubled
was
his
like
kills
clear
over
what
the
it
course of
was.
This map so far in a single round, but not enough to clutch it. And Shalfie, after wiping
If you just
away the
spilled
water,
some water, that's
it's
fine. It's
tears
just like
that
from
he's
our
spilling in
perspective,
that
it looked
round.
really weird.
Yeah,
That's
I like to
something
believe he's
crazy.
got like a bottle
Am I
of his
crazy?
enemy's
At first, you
tears
guys
and
didn't
throws
know
it
he
around
spilled
now and
anything,
again.
right? Or it didn't
Sorry,
look
I
like
think it's
it.
gone everywhere.
Like consecrating
Normally,
the
when
round
somebody
around
spills
him, you know?
something, somebody's grabbing something,
You'd need a blessing.
trying to
with how
clean
this
it
one
up, wipe it
started.
up.
High disbalance does get the orb. Back towards the ticket booth again this time. We've seen it before. It was the first outing he had with the orb. It was limited success. We saw a late B hit
That's
from
why.
NIP
That's
there.
so.
That was
I don't really
on
like
this
to
one.
try to make players targets of things. I feel like that's fucked up.
Bloke
But
open,
also,
looking
it
for
looked,
the
yeah, it
peek
just
down
looked
in
weird.
case someone's going in for the connector hit. Look at the position from Rez though, inside of the window here, just on the alcove. Oh, and Resource about to be tested. So many angles, she can swing in, bait the crosshair off, can't even get the first. They overwhelm him, barrel into the bomb site. You can have that rotation cut off as well by Rez. Shalfie, show us what you're made of here. Can the Nightwish turn this into nightmares for NIP as they bail on the play?
Rez is in such a
50
strong
seconds on the
spot.
clock. Rez calling for the rat back. He's in jungle. Glowing tucks in through the
This
connector
position's
smoke.
really strong, though.
Hearing the footsteps, but you're going to be peeked from both sides, trying to decide where to
Rez
look.
cleared him.
Rez has got the right idea.
Oh.
One by one, NIP win their duels. Wrinkle with a closer and a 7th taken on their T side.
The college
Impressive
football
mental fortitude
commentators
as well
on,
after the
for Fox
timeout.
said Skibbity on
That's the
TV
tech
today.
issue to lose around the
For
Knicks.
real?
They did. They didn't press the self-destruct
Did they
button.
follow it up
Didn't
with
get on
Ohio
their own
Riz
backs. They come
when Ohio
straight
State won
through.
today?
They get the success. They break 9 Pandas back down to size. And it's forced them into a Deagle, a 5-7, and a couple of FAMASs. Now, they still have the open play, but Idis Balance has not had anywhere near that same level of impact on this CT side as we've seen throughout the duration of the best of 3. A lot of that has been because of the economy not allowing him to.
Rez.
But Rez this time
Going
just
big.
enforces his will up on middle, and it's an almost carbon copy play at the last round. Straight up into window wants to try and
Shroud spray,
backstab
holy
them.
shit.
Glowing in all kinds of bother right now, and that HG could finish him off, but he decides to wide swing and take the life of
still
Yoka
alive.
in the process.
He's still
Scrappy
alive.
round,
What the fuck is
fraying everything
happening?
bar the kitchen sink.
Bombs
with one
down.
another, weapons grabbed, glowing.
This guy's still fucking about.
Can he do his very best in a round like this to hold back the oncoming onslaught? Missed them, overwhelmed. The Thanos makes a
Oh
huge
my
play, but Rez
God.
with the tag softens them up. Up on the stairs, looking for the closer. He was brought back to life by the
How
homies
did
in that
9
round, but in
Pandas
the
win
end
that?
goes down
Jesus. XUI,
5-7.
thank you very much for the 32-month
A
primer.
little
Thank you,
bit of
thank you, thank
steam
you.
towards the tail end.
That's
But
crazy
a quiet
work.
half for 9 Pandas overall.
What a battle indeed.
Gotta give a lot of credit to how Glowing played that shadow position now with the 5-7 man. He was an absolute nuisance. He was a menace. It
An
would have felt like a death
absolute
by 1,000
fucking
paper
menace.
cuts. He kept going for the wide swings. They pull a grenade out, he wide swing, one taps you. Stays alive the entire time, and therefore you have to have at least one set of eyes watching Shadow for that repeak, so it allows the default position and the toll booth position to really excel,
you
to
can
really
just
thrive.
You could see the pressure,
The
though,
pressure
you know?
was off their shoulders because Glowing
You
was
can
just
just see the
absorbing
pressure
it like
on
a
NIP on those
sponge.
rounds. They know how much it means and how this was.
Such a
Yeah, I
good
see the
round
spill
by
now,
him.
by the way. My bad.
And that's that kind of experience that we've been missing for the duration of how 9 Pandas have really came into this tournament. He normally is one of the guys you can rely on to have the big plays.
Maybe you should have got him to help suck up the water, Vince. If he's looking like a sponge, would have fixed that tech pause.
I just have like really weird mental
We
images
need
now.
Can we get
just
a
sucking on the
camera
carpet.
review replay on the
I don't know
spill?
why my
Thank
brain
you.
has gone there. Look, it's early in the morning.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough. Right then.
Visible Scott, thanks for
7-5,
33
closing
month
it looked
primer,
like it was
thank
gonna
you.
go. Ooh. Technical timeout.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's not
Oh,
happening again,
no.
is
Not another spill.
I'm baiting
Surely
because
not
I'm
Isaac.
guilty. Any other prime for getters?
I can't see because referee's in the way, but he's looking to the floor.
Check the
for
ground. Check
something.
the ground.
What's happened here? I don't see
How long
any
you walking?
liquids.
I don't know.
Right, no water. Maybe just a raw technical issue on this one.
I have to get glowing on
A
the
walking
case.
pad says I'm about to be at 10,000 steps.
Hey,
So
there's a spillage.
Don't worry, I won't talk during
I might
the
take
pause.
a
I'm just
little bit
gonna
of a
mop
break
this
here.
up quick for you.
rev it back up
Right,
again
okay.
later.
Looks like it's fixed. Headset back on. Maybe just a minor issue there. Something getting pulled a little bit potentially.
Yo, Felix, thanks for the Twitch
Love
primer.
hearts in
Thank
the
you, thank
spawn,
you,
but
thank
no love
you.
on the server between these two. It's all for survival. Got to win this game and then keep your eyes honed in on the
You're
other
over
results that are
20,000
coming
there?
through over
Nice,
the course
man.
of the day to see whether or not you make it in that 6th place or have to play out the 7th place decider.
You push yourself. I'm not trying to push myself. I'll push
Investment into the
myself in
pistols
the
going to
gym.
be the HE for Yokab.
Trying to walk.
Incendiary for Isaac. Smokes for the setup with flashbang
Sprint!
supporting that here from Shalfi and Dilladez
Go!
with the core of the squad grouping up for a Palace pop on the run out.
All the sound cues have been cut, but they're about to be ripped back open again. Smoke's now being deployed. 2 of them blocking off the jungle and staircase.
Low-key, they don't like
But
to have the
Nine
players
Panda's not
have
fully
their...
committing just yet.
They
They're
don't
about to make
let
that
you have
explosion
drinks on the
outside of
desk,
Palace
so-
with a flashbang alongside it, but Wrinkle,
They actually should
Evil
get
Law
some
Flash
cup holders.
picks up
I'm not
2,
even trolling.
But now there's a flurry of frags back in Nine Panda's favor. Dilladez and Result getting the bomb planted down. Isaac needs to have impact over on CT's side. Into the corner, second best. It's Result that goes back in for a second
brutal.
kill.
I feel so
Now
bad.
Yokab, he's had a
No
really
armor
good
hand to
map
get peeked
so
with a
far,
nade
but
out.
USP is going to need to be surgical to crack back open this site. To get him in with an opportunity to try and clutch out. The first kill is good, and there is the second. Yokab continues to twist the knife, twist the scalpel in the ribs of Nine Pandas as they'll go 8-5 in the lead.
16 kills to his name, a 1v2 attributed to Mare, giving them an 8th round. It felt like they had done it. The crocodile tears from Resort's P250. But on the jump up towards
Jumping on Ticket
move,
was kind
no
of-
success. It all was started by Wrinkle as well. Beautiful double up for him. And with time ticking away, Yokab hits a beautiful shot. Down to his last 2 bullets on that one, but still hitting it heavy. Whole team firing him up. Absolutely ballistic scenes.
Such a good confidence builder, but Dilladez is going to try and shatter that mantle as soon as possible, and it's a really good kill at range with a Galil. Wrinkle goes down. Mid control not quite established as NIP quickly rummage up close and try and scarper into a crossfire with Yokab and Rez. Once that smoke clears though, Rez will be cognizant of an underpass push. Now we know it's not forthcoming, but NIP aren't sure about this right now. Very passive from Nine Pandas. You can see them looking at the extremities. They're anticipating a push. They think NIP are getting aggressive in this round, but it's not the case.
Slow it right down, play for the choke points. 2 players set up there, round towards connector. Peek out from short side as well from Yokab. 50 seconds left on the clock. You're going to be walking down, miss them, ready with the A1S. As soon as you peek in, you better hope you find those quick kills. Nice, glowing, gory on the kill. Excellence in the round.
They didn't kill
One by
anyone.
one, every encounter is a W for
Only
them.
2 players just barely
Isaac
below
is all that
50
remains
health.
with
Wow.
no room to really find impact or get anything
Wow.
from this. The bomb's going to be going down. Nine Pandas taking their 6th on the T side.
Those peaks from Nine Panda were actually quite strong, though. Like
And all of the cries of elation and joy.
they predicted exactly where the
Jubilation
NIP
after
players were
Yokab's
going to be, and they
slick
were moving well as a
1v2 have
unit
now
right
been
there.
suppressed. Because they realize it gave them a great advantage, but they have stumbled and fumbled it on the first hurdle. Nine Pan is into a really good position now. Like, you're looking at just to save on this MP9. There really won't be much else to play with on an IP unless they go for a full-on investment with 5.7s, Deagles. That's about as good as they're going to be able to muster here. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at double eco territory, so it will be a scrape
All right,
together
boys, we
buy,
hit
but
10k steps.
Nine Pandas will be feeling very confident about how their prospects around 15
Oh,
are
that's
looking
funny.
right now.
This pad doesn't go past 10k. It just restarted the number. That's funny. It keeps the distance and the time, but the steps reset.
5-7s can still be worth their weight in gold, but it depends how they play it really here into the 15th.
Well,
NIP have won some very strange rounds like this over the course of the series. Just don't count them out. Let's see what they've got. Rez with the moves, backed up by Wrinkle. Control the underpass with the rest of the players grouped up. They're going to get a read on this instantly, so they'll know if they can wrap off. Go for the setup towards the A site. Confirming no one's here. Smokes out on mid. They're starting to take a bit of space on ramp as well. Missed them, tucks in.
Stat track
Right back for Shalfie.
I'm dead.
He can secure the bomb. They're just trying to clear this out. Make sure no one's hiding on the bomb site. Restrict vision. Out of smokes though, just down to flashbangs and that one Molotov. 4 players on CT. Flash over the top for the peek in, but the MP9 supported with Wrinkles 5-7.
Tree frog, good luck, but no game but talk. Unless you're talking about channel point predictions, but
Rez on the flank found. M4 cold in the ground. They can grab that
good
one.
luck,
Try and
just
keep
not
some
here,
of these
brother,
weapons
right?
in play going into the next.
Yeah, exactly. You can run it back. You can have a do-over. They tried.
Scorp, thanks
They
for the
really
49-month
found
reset. Thank you.
the gap to exploit. There was a rotational player in the form of Rez that got shut down at T-spawn. Oh, if Glowing pushes through the murder hole, it will live up to its name. He's going to get shut down from the
Well, I
side
don't
of
know,
Mister.
Tree.
That would be an upgraded Galil, so he decides better of it, and that certainly was the correct decision. So 8-7. Also really interesting comparatively how NIP are occupying these kind of like eco awkward force buy rounds as compared to 9 Pandas, who were in this position quite a few times. And they were so passive,
Oh, you like
so
the overlay
default in
setting?
how they set up time after
You mean
time.
other game? You mean
And
like
NIP already
tournament
showing that they have
organizers
no
or literal
problems
other
getting mega
esports?
aggressive, you know, pushing B-apps, getting into underpass
And if you
early
mean the
on,
other esports, what do you normally watch?
getting up close on ramp and palace. I do wonder as
I mean,
we
Big Z,
continue on
yeah, people are
towards
that
the
DJ. I've had
end of
people
this
send me a
map, if
death
that's
threat
gonna be
because they lost
something that
10
can pull
grand
out and
betting on Mythic, so...
maybe get a victory from further down the line. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of this round, though, they do run it back. 2-5-7 is almost an identical buy, but this time they do have the M4 on top of it. See if they can put it to use.
Missed them close on that ramp position. With a small veil, a smoke restricting them from being able to run on in on this. Smoke over the top.
Somebody in the YouTube chat suggested
Deep in
that I
connector.
should look at the
That could be a
distance
bit
to
of a gap on
Shanghai.
that one for the peek in. So
And then
the
I should
5-7's
walk
not
that distance.
repositioning off. Oh, it's actually on top. It looked awkward on the minimap, so they put an afro on connector, but it's not
I
really
think we're
going to
gonna be able to- I don't know if I'll be able to get there in time, brother.
Peek out. 1 for 1.
10 miles, am I close?
Beast, here's the swing, the setup you were waiting for. It missed him, and he hits him. Swinging back, success with the MP9. It's all starting to go wrong for the Pandas, endangered in this round, and look at the position for Wrinkle. Oh, he's right on target. But the stopwatch could be a problem. Shalfie,
6,500
he spots
miles,
him,
oh no.
lines it up with a Galil, takes a couple of shots. He can grab the gun. Only 33 seconds left on the timer for this one.
Exactly, and because even though he died, he saw both players, or at least he heard the first and got shot in the back from the second. And with the bomb down on ramp, they know it has to be A, so they can position
Nick, thanks
accordingly.
for the
2 players
26
in
month reset,
shadow.
thank you.
This looks like it's the nuts position. This looks like it cannot lose from here on out, but maybe I spoke too soon. The 5-7 now comes in.
he didn't have
Resort
armor.
nails it. Oh, they had 2 facing opportunities, but
Neither
NIP
one of them did
squandered
any
both.
damage.
How have 9 Pandas managed to win that?
Felt like it had all gone wrong. At every
Synthetic,
turn, uncomfortable.
bro,
The
please.
missed smoke, the
My
back of
help.
both the SMGs missed them with a double up on the ramp. You catch your timing on the T-spawn flank of Rez. But boy, oh boy, that 5-7 not
These
delivering at
pistols
least
bait,
there in
no?
the 1v2
Well, I
on
think
the
they already
tail
knew
end.
about the one
8-8,
guy's
tied
position,
back
so I
up.
would have
Number
given
4's
it
gonna
up.
be called in.
That feels like it might be more of a detox than anything else, man, because time was so low. They had 2 separate peaks, but it was slightly disjointed, but you still feel like one of them's going to win their duel. And then they had the 5-7, the
spill
ace
some
up
water.
the sleeve.
What if we just cut and we
didn't
see
happen.
Sis just fucking
Shalfie
like
was too
field goal
quick.
kicking a water
We may
bottle
very
across
well
the
look
room?
back to that round, Jackie, at the end of this game and say that was the moment where 9 Pandas
I gotta get 13
really
million steps
stepped up.
roughly.
We talked about that Isaac clutch that got NIP back into Ancient. That might be the moment for 9 Pandas.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it.
And that was the round we're singing about, still giving him his praises, his flowers for his performance there in the 1v2 on Ancient. But where's he been? Isaac, where you at? Third map, and he's quiet. 3 kills only. Dilladez on a warpath through underpass. Rez trying to lock it down on the peak. Timing. He's got to back off, frozen the incendiary. Yokab runs back towards short side, tucks himself in so he can't get shot upside the head from the peak on the bench. Dilladez being very proactive with this. Molly deep. Keeps him trapped in position. He's got to go forward. A sliver of space he can tuck himself into. Re-smoke for the escape plan. HE right on target. 1 point of health. Living on borrowed time.
Oh, I thought, dude, there was a flash that went in the window. I thought the flash killed him.
Oh, some really good Molotovs, though. You can see one in the window, one up in the ladder room, as you highlighted. But again, a third consecutive round with a fast flank, but it's only as powerful as those that stand on the site and Rez right now.
It's
It's made
2018.
of sterner stuff.
17.
Losing
In Oakland.
no points of
It's
health,
definitely in
pulls out
Oakland.
the USP,
We're so
and
back.
it's more of the same. Rez with a hero play. 4 kills already. Could be on for the ace. And Shalfie on 29 is trying to play around the bench. But if it's not Rez that gets him, Mistim is in hot pursuit as well. Rez goes down. He has no idea as to where Mistim is, but Rez take a bow. That 4K was huge.
What a round from Rez.
Rez
man.
the Rhino, ripping them a new one on contact towards the B-bomb side. Perfect placement, making it uncomfortable. And giving them a huge lifeline into the game. Beautiful kills. And the insurance policy will pay off. Missed them with the final pick. Smiles all round, screams for the team. He was a beast, bud. Yeah, 100%.
Can confirm. Speaks
Can
only facts.
confirm.
You are right, though. Like, one of those players on NIP is not like the others. Everyone else is double digits, having moments of craziness and madness and clutches and entry frags, but Isaac has been a bit of a non-factor. Sure, he's playing over on the B site. It can be a rough one. But really highlighting it because we know he's capable of so
I'm
much
sponsored
more.
by Sisters, brother. I can't tell you my pad either
If he
right now.
delivers on that prospect here, I mean,
I've been
it
a
could be the difference
QCK
maker.
heavy
I
my whole
balance. Not really
Uh,
having the impact either in this round. This could be a great moment to kick
let's
things
just
off,
say
though, with the flickers off.
they made
And
it
he
better.
did go for the repeat.
That's all I can tell you.
There was a Palace player, but
And
Result has been
I'm on a
sent
Prime Wireless.
out of this round and now
Been on
forces
that for
Ibis
quite
balance
literally
away.
a few years now.
He was playing off the idea of Result, maybe gets a kill, then he can go back into ramp and get a pick, but it's completely backfired as a option.
Oh, God.
To start this round off, they
Cleaning
snatched
it
the
up,
crown
cleaning
from the
it
King
up.
of Resort in the Palace. And then in the brawl, it goes down to a real uncomfortable situation. Lesser weapons,
Yeah,
but
code
far more
farm 12 for
firepower in the
12%
battle of
off, boys.
attrition. And missed him, just waiting for the walkout on the smoke. It's Dilladez holding for this, peering over the top, trying to get a read on the round. Good adjustment. Low HP for Wrinkle. He's got to play a passive angle, tucks himself in on the corner. A lot of noise being heard. Playing off the audio cues, doesn't want to over-egg it on the peak, wants to wait for just the right time to go for the swing back out. Good after, free pick, onto Dilladez and Wrinkle. A 4K with 6 health to his name.
Money's gone for 9 pandas.
Perfect, and trades up to the AWP
But
addition.
these are the hard rounds for NIP.
Like, originally, he was just playing, like you say, to be a nuisance, to be a nightmare. Like, you know someone's around the Palace area. As long as he doesn't show his hand, they're going to be focused one player over there. It allows the other two to come through. But as soon as he hears the plant and sees that his teammates aren't in position to deny it, that's where he feels like, okay, I've got to be the guy. I've got to be him for this round, and he really was.
Ben B with a 27-month armor. Thank you, thank you.
As well,
Thank
man.
you.
They've got an AK, and that's
What's up,
it.
boo-boo?
We even have Glocks on 3 plays. Deagle for Dilladez. Managed to get up close on the chair, and also Dilladez making movements over on B-Apps. But he's not going to be given the chance. Isaac lights up the kill feed.
Fast swing past connector, visual contact there onto the back. That's the ticket booth set up with the AWP of Wrinkle. Resort on the cross isn't so lucky. Gives himself up and gives away another piece of the Panda squadron. 1 by 1, just isolated kills, no room to trade off one another.
Skeleton Crew, thanks for the 72-month
Just keeps
reset.
going
Thank you, thank you,
peak
thank
after
you.
peak on connector side. Wrinkle finding these for free. An easy round for NIP up against the broken Pandas there. Third timeout going to be called in. NIP on 11 rounds. Third and final map here for survival to keep yourself in the runnings.
Love it, man. The way they're playing right now is so composed. 9 Pandas call their third timeout. And their final one.
What's happening?
Getting
NIP's
towards
finding
the
that
finish
gear.
line. Now, obviously, the winner of this will not
If you really think
automatically
about it, too, the
progress
ecos
through
that
to the
they
major.
lost,
They're going to have
CT
to wait
side,
it out for the rest
or
of the
they're
games
on their
today.
T side rather.
But what we do know is guaranteed,
Bro, they've
Jackie, is
actually
the
played a
loser
really
of
good
this
Mirage right now.
is done. Major dream is over. You have to go again next time. 11-8. Galil and Scout as they fully invest into the round. 9 Pandas hanging by a thread, and Wrinkle getting aggressive in Palace. We'll see action sooner rather than later as the slow peek into his crosshair yields the first kill.
Damn.
And he dials it back to the site. They got the pick they were looking for.
The opening duels continue to support that this man is so quick on his feet, so fast with the picks. Takes control of Palace and postures back towards triple. So 9 Pandas down a man already. And with limited utility to play with going into the 20th. 2 of them down in underpass. Side disbalance with the Scout this time, supported by Dilladets, pre-scoped up for no audio cue. They're trying to pull off this split push onto the site. Can they even realistically find a way in? That's the big question. Rez supporting Wrinkle. Advanced angle for Mistem as well, down towards the ramp. Deep smoke on Connector. Throws out the Molotov, trying to force him out if he's playing on the close angle. Now got to be more paranoid about where exactly they are. Smoke on the corner, Wrinkle keeps it locked in. They're walking through the smoke. He's trying to find his opportunity to strike. Oh no, Dilladez, the jump up. He sends himself into the air, but they come crashing right back down in the round as NIP close that one with ease. 12 locked in, 1 away now.
Oh, the panic crept in.
Is it guaranteed or no?
And death follows for 9 Pandas.
Has anybody looked at the
as
scenarios?
The last round, potentially, of their tournament lives are going to be down to 2 MAC-10s, 2 Galils, and you can make it 3 MAC-10s. Two, so the run and gun potential is there, but NIP have built up a fortress on this CT side. They're going to be getting aggressive, running down into underpass for the time being. They cut the sound cues. Don't want the cat player to hear what's about to happen. But considering how often NIP have gone for these long rotations round the back, there will be that little bit of doubt creeping in the back of 9 Pandas' heads, like, is it happening again?
Shrapnel all over mid-side. Damage done onto 2 players. Smoke up through Con. So chip damage already boding well, and an advanced angle being taken for Isaac, pushing the whole way up through the smoke, posting himself up on the settee. Wants to shut them down with the spray. There's only one. Nothing left on the round. 1 by 1, they get funneled into these AKs. And Dilladez is the only man left standing. The Pandas are about to go extinct here in Shanghai as they've got nothing left to fight with. 13th round for NIP. They recover it, locking it down over the course of the series.
Bro, they
2-1.
look so much better than them on that map,
to fight
too.
for another day to try and make the major.
And there you have it. NIP are the winners. 9 Pandas are the losers. That's how it works.
Yes. I would say that that is actually the essence of competition, Richard.
Yes.
And one thing that we know is that NIP as an organization know all about competition. 17th major for them in total, 8th for Rez, 4th for Isaac. Everybody else First time, but exists. This is his
All right, boys.
fourth or fifth as a coach.
Not bad, almost 12,000 steps.
That's fine. We can
We'll run it a bit more
we
later,
save the
probably.
research for the later in the morning, don't we? That's not a problem. Yanko, what did you make of that?
Yeah, just a surprising result for me. I thought 9 Pandas were the favorite in this one.
This guy's wearing a panda.
I mean, read the room. Maybe take the silly hat off, mate.
I said, read the room.
Hey, what up? We've just lost.
It's one of those ones where you pull the ears and it just like starts flapping at you.
All right. Sorry, Yanko.
No, yeah, I thought, but just didn't play all too well in the final map. It was the NIP guys who stepped up, especially Rez and Wrinkle in crunch time in that second half in some back-to-back rounds with 4Ks, like broke the momentum that 9 Pandas were building, and were just able to close out.
What do we do now? What do you mean? We got 3 more best of 3s, baby.
The 2 names, Rez, Wrinkle. You know, we haven't always talked a lot about Rez. He's been on NIP roster for years now. He's the
Time for me to
kind
get
of
a drink.
stalwart. But never really, you know,
God damn it.
scaled the
Sylveon
heights.
got
Some of the
VIP.
other names, some of the other NIP alumni. But, you know, his veterancy, his experience, it showed today.
Do I have
he
to
had
give
some
it to him?
incredible holds on that CT side
we
that we
should vote.
saw, and able to help get his team over the line in a difficult series.
Rez
think we
has
should vote.
really been, to me, one of the underrated players in Tier 1 CS. I know that people have various qualms with him, but I really do
Damn,
believe
Nicole
if
just
he is
did the
your
chase. See
third
this
best
shit?
player on your team, you can be a pretty good
Damn.
roster in Tier 1 CS. Unfortunately, he's oftentimes been outlined as NIP's best player, and I just don't think that's
Yeah,
really
he
what
said thanks
serves
to the
him the
fucking
best. He doesn't
points.
want to be the star, the shining star, and that's what's great. Because Wrinkle is taking a lot of that pressure off of him, he can shine in a little bit more of the back line, just come up with
put
big
my walking
moments like
pad back
this,
and get
be
the
a stable
drink,
pair of hands, and it's not that I want him to necessarily be the biggest playmaker. I
What
just
I know
want him
about
to clean
Face
things
2.0?
up, and that's what he does
Not
best.
too much,
Yeah,
to
and
be
I
honest.
think people might
Like, I know a
forget,
lot
like,
more than
how
you,
much of a
but
good servant he's
I,
been to the NIP organization. You know, at various points.
They
he's
actually
you
been
know,
trying to schedule a
picking
meeting
up
with me to
the
look
orc,
at it, and I
making
just
a
haven't.
lineup
I know
work,
some of the
and
changes they're
jumping
making,
into
and
some
I'll be
secondary
completely honest.
calling and stuff. You know,
I have
when he
my
first
doubts.
came into the team and when he first broke through, he was meant to just be the rifle.
I do think
that
they're
was
trying to
out there
streamline the
popping
website to
heads
make it
and-
better,
and
but-
doing what he does best.
Yeah,
but
I'm
as
not
you
sure.
can see from the scoreboard, there was one storyline that really
I
stood
think some
out
things could be
in
really
this,
good, but I could also
match, and
see
that
some
was, of
things go
course,
really
just
poorly.
Wrinkle, the best player in the series.
By far.
You due diligence and get with them.
And really looked
And it's not due
like
diligence
the
from
complete
my
player here,
feedback. They already
Yanko.
got my
Yeah,
feedback before.
definitely. And even if you look at the timeline of his
It's
skills,
just to
like
show me
watch
so
the
I
tail
can
end of
promote
that
it.
game, right?
Yeah.
4K into 2 more rounds with a double kill to help his team close out the game. 7 opening duels, 1 as well. Just found impact throughout the series. Incredible performance from him, but do want to mention Yokab, right? Who had a great map, had to stand in last minute, right? First qualifying tournament for the major decider to stay alive in the running, and yeah, you can see that he
As
did
a
most of his
stand-in,
work on the T side as well.
He doesn't get a sticker, does he?
I don't think he does, actually,
No, that's
which
like
is kind of weird because
sad.
that means Maxter does.
Yeah.
But either
that's
way, I
actually
just want to remind people.
We love you, Yokab. That's what matters. We're singing your praises.
Yeah. I mean, this was, to me, this was one of the best eye test maps for Yokab I've seen from him at this event thus far. He's had some weird maps. Like, he's had some ones where it feels like he's trying to do a little bit too much, and this one just right in his wheelhouse. But I do want to remind people that Wrinkle switching from bait to NIP at first looked disastrous. It really did feel like he actually got the short end of the stick in a trade where it was almost like head trick for him as they swapped teams, because bait actually passed NIP in the world rankings at one point in time. But now at the end of the day, I mean, Wrinkle's getting the last laugh. He's the one that's actually getting stickers at this point, and he did it with a huge carry performance that bait would have desperately needed if they wanted to qualify themselves.
We've got some rounds you picked out to look at.
Yes.
So talk us through what we're about to see.
Yeah, let's just start playing these through. There was so much excitement in this game that from round 10 here, I think this was a great Wrinkle round overall. I think this one got a little bit hairy though, because this was after, I'm pretty sure this was after a tech pause also. And this is kind of what we're talking about with the momentum from the previous game, how it was halted because, tech pauses actually really favored 9 Pandas in this game in a weird way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the NAP, another strong half. on the T side. I think it was a couple of saved guns and a couple of pistols for the side of Nine Pandas, and they managed to convert that one. The struggle though was they could not win consecutive rounds on their CT side really, and that's what hindered them in this game.
Yeah, and we've got round 13 as well. You can see.
Oh, I mean,
this was the
great wrinkle performance from the beginning, but then actually a good clutch here from Yocab, and we wanted to highlight this one because Yocab needs some flowers, okay? Because he's not getting a sticker in the game, to have a 1v2 clutch like that, 7-5, game so close, you really need, like, if Nine Pandas win that one, they're back in, you know, like, this game ended 13-9. Imagine if they got that pistol buffer too, we could be sitting here still right now, or even actually just saying, congratulations Nine Pandas on the victory.
Absolutely.
So good on Yocab because it's just high pressure. That's where your name is really defined. And in one of the most important rounds in Yocab's career, he came up big.
Yeah, and look, you've got to give credit to NIP the way they fought back into this RMR. On day one, we were all thinking they're done, you know, like they don't look very good. They've got to stand in. You know, this is like one of the weakest NIP teams that they've fielded in a sort of major qualifier. But yeah, I mean, obviously, so far so good. Excellent course correcting. I still suspect Exist might have had a little bit to do with that, honestly.
Probably did. I mean, it's always tough in these situations. You have different players. It's a high pressure environment, right? You have young players who can easily get carried away. So to keep them focused on the big picture and the task at hand, like, plays a big part of being able to make it.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Anything you want to say about Nine Pandas? Obviously, they've been having a bit of a tough time around the majors and qualification.
Yeah. I'm not trying to rub too much salt in the wound here, but I feel like Resalt, of all people, has to look at himself and just say, was this really worth it? I switched over from Aurora, who was cooking, top 20 in the world, doing well at lands that they appeared at, and then he thought, for whatever reason, that this team wasn't right for him. He joins Nine Pandas, and neither of the teams actually make it. When I would say Nine Pandas, let's remind everybody, Nine Pandas qualified to the last major.
Yep.
Like, so they were in a good enough position with Clax instead of Resalt to qualify. Aurora was a better team in their own right, and now neither of them actually make it through. It's kind of like this is just sort of a disaster for both teams now, who really, I'd say 5 months ago before the swap happened, had strong shots actually.
No seized, no major.
Okay, there it is. So, gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be breaking down the next best of three of the day, where Astralis is going to be looking to put an end to the Passion Project. We'll see you in a few moments.
I know, Mango, but they say he doesn't get stickers and all that shit, so I don't know how they do that. Chat running, yeah, now heads up. I just hope if he's playing the entire major from day one, I just feel like they should use his sticker, but that's just me.
Yes, welcome back. We've got a great series for you.
Oh God,
there
NIP
are two
really
narratives
needs
that we've been pushing here on the
Astralis
desk.
to win.
That's what we do. We push
Oh my
narratives
God.
like a corrupt media outlet.
All right.
We've got.
What side are you on?
Well,
NIP's
you're
never
about
cheered
to
harder
find
for
out.
Astralis in their
We're
lives.
going to talk about Astralis versus Passion. Narrative number one: Astralis. They've fallen on hard times. They're in utter shambles. They've been mismanaged for a long, long time. They've missed out on 4 consecutive majors. They could miss out on a 5th here. They're having to do it without their star player. Unfortunate turn of events there with health problems. And Cadian thinks he can go for knives in must-win, high-pressure games. Where to begin with the Astralis nightmare?
Well, they're forced into a tough situation. Yes,
Damn, they're
they've
the
been
favorites.
mismanaged. Yes, they've obviously gone through a slew of changes that we've measured as questionable at best, kicking BlameF, of course, after the failures of the previous RMR, now instating Cadian as their in-game leader. But Device isn't here for mental reasons, or mental health reasons, actually. All the respect in the world to him, but they're playing with Bro in his stead, which means Cadian is back on the AWP. They took a while to gel, but after beating Eternal Fire in a BO3 yesterday, you do have to take them seriously.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I mean, this is basically heroic with Stair and Bro instead of Tessus and Shush. Like, that's what you get, and that's the benefit of having the old heroic core in Cadian, Ston, and Yabi, where, okay, they already know Cadian and how he likes to lead and how he likes to call. Stair, he's done everything except for opping in this Astralis lineup ever since he joined, and Bro is just playing his old role, so that helps them speed things up a little bit.
Anybody
Obviously, only had
explain
like 5
what
or
is
6
NIP
days of
hoping for?
practice,
Astralis and Spirit
with
win,
this,
or the others?
lineup coming into the RMR.
If
But man, this
NIP
just feels like one of
automatically
those
qualifies
David
if
versus
Astralis
Goliath,
beats
matchups.
Passion and
Perhaps even,
Spirit
Richard,
beats
the
Sashi.
good versus evil matchup.
I wouldn't go that. Not even I would go that far. I will remind you, in David versus Goliath, David does win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just
And
reminding
then if that
everybody.
happens,
But
it's
anyway,
Astralis
just one
Spirit
thing
for
I
the
do
final
wanna,
spot.
point out here, because we haven't talked about it. I hope we've got time. I think we're about 4 or 5 minutes out of the game. Obviously a veto to do. Stout. He's meant to be a star player.
And he looked like one at the Blast World Finals, but
Briefly.
it
Gosh,
was
we got
the
2 Ruby
only
games
event
going. Let's go.
where he looked
W.
like his former self. That was with
just gotta
Device.
keep getting
It
more
felt like
gold-
the system was finally coming
gold
together.
gamers.
And the one thing I'll say about Stown is that I don't necessarily always see him
Sorry, I
as the
just
most
joined up. No, it's
self-sufficient
okay, man.
star.
You look
I
great.
feel like he worked
Appreciate
very
you being
well
here.
in the old Cadian heroic system. However, when it comes to a system that's still gelling, finding its vision, finding itself, I feel like Stown, actually the weird thing that comes short in his game is mechanics. He's not always the strongest mechanical player in the server. He's much more cerebral, he's very strong at using his teammates to his advantage, but if just left to himself, I feel like it's just not always there for him. Like, he's not somebody that's going to take over a game like we just saw Wrinkle did.
A lot of talk, not too much game to back it up. I mean, with that heroic Astralis situation at the beginning, conversation about not seeing
Any
the
level
game and
6
the
through
future the
9s, then they
same way
face
as
it on some
Cadian, and
trials to gold.
going to have more freedom to show what he's capable of, and then takes a dip in performance in Astralis, then it's blame F's fault, and you have to play out of position. Okay, now you have your positions, and Device is calling. What's the problem now? Because it was still nowhere to be seen, and now that Cadian is back, we saw, okay, World Finals a little bit better. I just don't think he's him, like he's that guy.
Yeah,
he
it's
is
a
like
difficulty
your Rez,
rating.
who can be the
Yeah.
third best player on the team and
That qualifies
a
him
cerebral
through.
guy, but you can't count on him
It's a little
to
tricky
be
to
the
follow.
leader sort of on the
Right.
server and be the guy who's going to take the initiative and make the game-winning plays.
Now we've got Passion, the
No
story
problem.
of the
Smoke
major
a bottom,
melee,
thanks for being
the
here.
youngest team here, got off to that 2-0 start
Morning.
on the best of ones. You want them to go
Morning, Little.
3-0. They had tough opponents, and now they find themselves in the nightmare
it in
situation,
NAR
which is
2-2?
you
I
have
don't
the
actually know.
potential to be 2-0 and going out 3-2. Never a good feeling. We watched them yesterday. We saw a little bit of nerves, I think, creep into their game, and you can't blame them for that. But the thing they've done well is played fearlessly. They've rose up to the level of their opponents. Some of these players have actually been just fantastic to watch. Super exciting to see all the new talent at the start of CS2. And I would include 1 or 2 players from Passion right in that conversation based on what I've seen, even if it is a small sample size, Moe.
Chakasmo and Jambo have
Yeah.
really put their names on the map for World Counter-Strike with their performance here. I think we've got the veto flying in just a second. I will say Astralis, they've been banning a variety of maps. The only map they haven't banned has been Inferno, and I'm talking even about BO1s. They do go for the Anubis to kick things off. And so for Passion, they are going to be banning Nuke. And for Astralis, I guess they could go for Inferno, but like they've been picking a lot of different stuff in this with this 5-man core, but they've also been looking pretty good at okay, so they do go in for Inferno here off the back of the win against Eternal Fire yesterday.
Yeah, the problem for Passion a little bit is that they go for Dust here. Vertigo is definitely up there for them, but that's one of the maps Astralis has been playing as well, and they do decide to go for Ancient, actually not even Dust 2. Then they veto Dust in the second phase between Vertigo and Mirage. Astralis does go for Mirage, which is also a little bit interesting.
Yeah, that's odd. It's actually a little odd for me.
Comfort pick. I mean, the reason why they were in the semi-final in Black World Finals was they were Vertigo abusers.
I think the second phase veto might actually, if thinking what I thought, it looks flipped to me. I feel like Astralis should have banned Vertigo and Passion could have maybe banned Dust to get it to Mirage. I thought Passion would personally maybe pick Mirage too. So Ancient, like they've picked a couple different maps in this tournament so far. Obviously they wanted Anubis, which is Astralis'
they wanted Anubis, obviously beat VP on Mirage as well. It's a good map for them, so.
Yeah, so that's why I just feel like the Ancient pick in general is, I just didn't really see it coming. But if we just want to talk about the first map, Inferno,
in studios, but actually they're on either side of each other.
I think. Where I feel like Astralis is more comfortable. It's one map where I think they gelled very quickly. The Cadian system is much easier to execute when the map is more condensed, like in Inferno, as opposed to like some of the bigger, wider spread ones, like Nuke, for example, or whatever. But either way, I've liked Bro. Like the one guy I actually have been really shocked by at this tournament has been Bro, just playing Pit, kind of just floating on the A side of things on the T side. I honestly didn't expect him to be a solid contributing member, but he's actually been one of their strongest at this entire tournament.
Anytime somebody does anything, because they're probably anxious and excited.
He's looking great.
Yeah, very
coolest thing ever, though.
Yeah. Could have done.
He looks a little fidgety.
That's what I would have done. Let's bring in the commentators. You're fit to play, aren't you?
Yeah, we're fit to cast, baby. We're ready for this one. What's up, Nico?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the community sentiment is that Passion aren't going to be able to do this. They're
wrong. It's happening.
They're right. They're expecting them to go down today, but I'm here for this story. I'm here for the miracle story.
I want to know, do you guys think that we could all move into a house together, live with each other for 300 days, and just create a badass broadcast together? Do you think we could make it? No toxicity?
Isn't that what we're doing now?
Yeah, kind of. I guess in a way.
We'd lose a few people along the way.
I even played retakes with you last night, Jason, for God's sake. Like, I've never played
No, I played retakes. You were kind of
doing Richard was
you were there.
This is outrageous.
Thrown under the bus.
What have you made of Astralis? Do you think they can actually
that's
do
crazy.
it? Because
Moses
I
really
still
did
thought
just
they were
torch
very
him.
shaky the other day.
Where we are now, thanks to the form with Primer. Thank you.
Performances. I don't know.
I think when you look at the experience of the two teams, like if you can't beat Passion as a game that you have to, move on to the qualifying game, right? Like this is a team, if you're Astralis and you're looking at this, you're like, this is exactly what we want. Massive experience on one side with all these players on Astralis, no experience with the Passion guys.
Right, well look, have a great cast, gentlemen.
Thank you, Richard. Have a great time in the green room.
Predictions are closing after Pistol, but get them in now. Don't be a fucking weenie.
Big time game. Passion looking to qualify for the major, which would be an incredible story for them. If they win, they are through. They have made it. If Astralis win, they have to play later on today.
If any of you guys want some gold codes to try it out for free, let me know.
We'll also have to compete, but look, let's just start with this. Passion, you had that beautiful first day, but everything since then has been a struggle to convert that final hurdle.
Yeah, the best of ones. Successful for Passion, but best of threes. They take a map, never able to close it out. And we'll see if they can do it today against Astralis. Banana taken here for Astralis. Already stare at the front, Katie in behind him. And Fear ready with a flashbang to go. Jacasmo plays in behind the fountain.
Yeah, very bomb site centric for Passion. Oh, and they found a timing to start pushing up halls, which is going to be dangerous. Yabi is over here, and he's been a stud for Astralis throughout this tournament. Been massively important. Defensive smoke deployed. So Astralis is going to back away. And potentially, this Yabi kill, this Yabi sequence is so important.
Doesn't like there's animosity between Richard and Maui. Quite the opposite.
He should never get away from that fight.
And you're not busting up the stack right now either if you're
They
Passion.
just like to bust each other's balls.
All on his own. And Yabi had already spotted him. He's going to be saying he's still in halls or he's going to be in pit. There's no way he's going to back into the bomb site. And Passion's in a lot of trouble. Yabi's done it again.
Great work from Yabi in the apartments. Chilla goes into the repeat, goes down. Astralis look like they picked this up. And for Passion, it would be a devastating way to go out, but it would be expected. You know, two opening games, sure, in the best of ones. They beat VP, they beat Spirit. No one can take that away from them. But it's the fact that you have to qualify with a best of three win. They've lost two of those now.
I just feel bad.
Against lesser opposition than the teams they beat earlier. Like Spirit is definitely the best squad that they've been able to take down. But they haven't played any lands, really. They haven't played an RMR. They haven't gone and got experience at top events yet. So it is expected to see them in this position, Jason.
Well, look, they've played 372 maps this year. And I mean, that kind of works out to an average of 1.5 maps per day, which is pretty mental when you think about it in terms of official matches. And that's not even practice on top of it. I would say it's devastating because they've lived up to the name of the team that they're within. The passion of this team, all of them moving in together in March when Fear joins the roster. It's quote-unquote boot camp, living together for 300 days, grinding Counter-Strike, playing Counter-Strike, watching demos every single day together as individuals, improving this whole year to put themselves in a position to qualify. And that's the heartbreak. It's not just the fact that you go up 2-0 and you can't win the best of threes to make it through to the major. It's the idea that you look back on the last 300 days, and no matter what happens, that initial feeling, if you get eliminated here, is that those 300 days went to waste, that you didn't accomplish the goal that was set when you moved in together and sacrificed everything to be in that kind of an environment. And it's such a tough prospect coming in now.
A 4-spy back game here for Passion, so Jambo bringing out the scout. Joel Beretta's on Fear. Enough to give them an opportunity to win this round, but Stown is looking sharp. Great shot to open things up. Yambo goes down to top middle.
Oh, close Yamba? Yeah, I got it.
Astralis on the exact opposite route as well, losing their 2 opening games and having to come all the way back in the best of threes, looking shaky.
Permaban anybody that flamed you. I would never personally.
Such weird drama surrounding this team coming into the Shanghai RMRs. And somehow they began to overcome it together. Bro with a good nade, and that's banana control for Astralis. So Passion with 3 players remaining against 4 are going to stack up at the A bomb site, cross their fingers, hope and pray this is where Astralis finish.
I think that's exactly what is expected, though, of Astralis, having to figure it out as the tournament goes on for all of the problems that we mentioned.
I might play some WoW this week, guys.
Of device.
There's like a 4-day break, right, guys?
Player that left under awkward circumstances.
Not just your star player, but your in-game leader, because I mean, I know Cadian joined to take over that role, but not long enough to really settle into it and get comfortable. And he's spoken about that. He's like, I was just kind of getting adjusted back again to being an in-game leader with the rifler, with device on the AWP, and all of a sudden this changes. And he's felt very insecure individually, not least of which is he's playing
or is it just not on
arm, like
trying to go for some
TV
yeah, and he's basically just said, I haven't even deathmatched in like 4 weeks. Like,
I think they just haven't put the matches on HLTV yet.
I've been rusty because I can't just grind deathmatch to feel individually in the swing of things. Yeah. There's a lot of lack of comfort within this Astralis team that we saw early on in the RMRs. You think when Device leaves, they also, I mean, really kind of in some way, in my mind, the badass of this team is
Why did I not see it on HLTV when I click matches? I see it for events, obviously,
but
it was
plug and play for him. He got all his positions that he used to have. They just brought him back in and gave him all of his old spots. It's Stair who's kind of, once again, had to sacrifice, which was the story of previous Astralis lineups as
like
well with Stair. He's the guy moving around to make other players more comfortable, to put them in the roles that they want to play, and he's taking the sacrifice.
There was a moment that made Stair gain a lot of fans, and it was the last RMR, when Astralis were in this position on the final day of the EU RMR, and they lost. They didn't make it to the Copenhagen Major, and given the fact that they're Astralis, not making it to the Copenhagen Major was one of the worst outcomes possible. And who do they send out? Is the youngest player. They send a 20-year-old Stair out to do the loser interview, and he stood up and did it. And I think a lot of people gained a lot of respect for him at that point, and then we've seen him consistently be able to adapt, take weaker roles inside of this Astralis team, and not always delivered to the highest extent, but been serviceable. And he's just earned his spot here in Astralis. I mean, that last RMR failure was the reason Device became the in-game leader of the squad, right?
Yeah.
They got rid of BlameF. They weren't happy about it. It was almost like a public mutiny against BlameF on social media right after. So they tried to make it work, but realized coming into this major season that it probably wasn't going to be in the fighting form that they desired. This is a big old shutdown here.
Yeah, one of the most historic and successful organizations in Counter-Strike has been a long time out in the cold. The last major they attended, this Astralis organization, was PGL Antwerp. You know the lineup of PGL Antwerp? Listen to this. This is going to blow your mind. BlameF, Config, Glaive, Farlig, and Zipix playing in Antwerp. That is the last Astralis lineup that competed in a major.
Just think of all the players they've been through, all the money they've spent. And they might not make it again today. Well, 3-0 start here from Astralis. Passion UA will get their first bye here on the CT side. 1 kill so far in the first 3 rounds of play for Passion UA.
And I think, you know, if you're Passion, I think part of the conversation that you maybe have, but this is maybe something with their inexperience that they're not able to really identify. You might start out slow in this game. High pressure game. Every game at the RMR is going to be pressure, but no more than your final chance at elimination or qualification. And they mentioned it earlier on in the RMR in those best of ones that they won on the first day. Jitters, adrenaline, the excitement, the pressure all rushing in. Both Fear and Jambo talked about the fact that feeling that adrenaline in the game, winning a clutch and feeling adrenaline, feeling your aim a little bit shaky, your mouse hand not as steady as you want it to be when you're playing. Those are all things that this team is going to have to deal with, and it's going to come rushing back. So I think the key to Passion, obviously, you win an early round so that you can settle yourself down, but you have to be able to outlast some of those early jitters in this map.
Well, a slow start would be devastating for Passion, considering the maps that they've won in the best of threes have been the first map of the series. They would then go on to lose the following two in both of their best of threes so far. 3-0 down here on Inferno. Astralis taking their time on this T side. Now just going through the motions in Banana, waiting out the initial burst of utility from Passion UA, and now they take Banana, sending KDM forward. Flash goes in, and with 30 seconds left, a rotation of an extra player coming over for Passion UA to the B bomb site.
Chilla's going to have a really tough job throughout this half of handling Yabby, who's been fantastic for Astralis through the Swiss system in this RMR. Here comes a late peek, gonna swing into it. Good kill. Secured halls as well. That is a lovely find, and yeah, they're coming right in.
14 seconds left, such limited time. Fear still in the bomb site. We've got Chilla inside of the pit, and all he needs to do is stop this bomb from getting to the bomb site. 3 seconds left on the timer. No more time for Astralis. They let the clock run too thin, and they don't get right back into it. Passion with their first round victory, and Cadian going down right at the end. They built so much money up that it doesn't matter, but the first round victory comes in for Passion UA.
You see a little bit of those jitters on Fear right there? You see him like just tap the mouse really quick. One shot comes in before they turn the corner. He's so tense, so ready for that fight, knowing the time is coming down. A lovely little crossfire at the end of the day, but shout out to Chilla. The clear of Yabby and Halls is critical. That second prong of the attack could have swung out, could have helped them open up the bomb site, but it wasn't available any longer. And so Passion do get that early gun round to try and settle into the CT side.
Stare on the charge all the way up to the half boys going into the fire, though. A little gap, a little bit of sanctuary in between the flames. And now he climbs up on top, and he can't stop Zero Fix. It looked like Stare had a great opportunity to open things up for Astralis. Good damage, forcing Passion away from Banana and back into the B bomb site.
Yeah, well, now you got to figure out what you want to do with Fear. He's got 4 HP, defensive smoke deployed. This might be a world where they wrap back around, go boost him up so he has a little bit of an advantage. Negate the little bit of health that he's working with and see if you can get him into a cheeky position. Not going to be super effective on the rotate supporting the A bomb site with only 4 health and no utility. But as the IGL, he might want to have that little bit of a brain reading both sides of the map. So he shifts over towards Library. Good utility damage, chunking down Astralis players.
Well, that third play that was leaning towards B has now gone back over towards the A bomb site. So Astralis with a little bit of fake utility through top mid.
That's a last smoke.
Comes back into Banana. So here comes the final play. It's into the B site. Still 2 defenders here. Zero Fix out at second oranges.
Jacasmo has a Molotov to drop down when this execute comes in.
He's got flashes ready to go. He fires them up. Molly's already gone in. And Zero Fix forced into the open, forced into the fight, but he's blinded. Bro, despite being low, he's still in the fight. And Zero Fix moves forward. Jacasmo steps up off the fountain, and they start to clean up this Astralis attack. Cadian with 18 seconds left. They push through the smoke. They keep fighting, and a strong finish to the round from Passion UA.
That's absolutely lovely. What I mean, for an inexperienced team, that level of utility, that level of patience and cohesion is so wonderful to see. And they stall out that hit with those flashbangs. Beautifully orchestrated from Jacasmo on the defense.
There's still money here for Astralis, but they're not happy about how these rounds are going. They ran out of time in the previous gun round, and this one, right down to a desperate last-second execute into the B bomb site where they don't make any ground. So they've taken a timeout because they know they at least have one last buy in them before their economy is reset back to an eco.
Yeah, look what it means to him. Getting the boys hyped up after a nice, solid win. Back-to-back wins as well. Still a round advantage for Astralis. Alp is passed over to Katie, and they come in with another buy. But this Passion defense has shown they're capable of slowing them down, of taking away the initial plan of Astralis, and making them descend into the late round.
Primer. Thank you, dude.
Cadian gets the AWP out. He's got the best spawn as well. He's going to be charging his way into Banana, trying to get that opening pick on a peeking Fear. But there is no peek to be found. Cadian will not get the chance to crack open the round immediately. Passion UA.
He's got a lot of space to work with.
35 with primer. Welcome back, beautiful.
Fear. This could be deadly.
Passive enough setup here from the defense, and Fear just jiggling out for info. Gets the information he requires and drops back. deploys out utility. A smoke's going to keep Astralis at bay for now.
I think Cadian's going to be all right with how that's panned out. That defensive smoke will fade around just after the 1 minute mark, just underneath it. Back towards middle we go. Defenders at the A bomb site very passive for the moment, so no information up at brackets, but they are able to hold on to utility because of this.
Yeah, sacrificing early information for the late round utility, and they know that Astralis have been liking rotting the clock, leaving the final few seconds to go before they make their final execution. So through top middle they go at the 42nd mark here for Astralis. They're sending a player away from B. Fear was on the speedway, but he's decided to call that off. He starts to go back, but here comes the long fight. Zero Fix drops down. Yambo in the first headshot. Yabi going down. Cadian caught it short. Here comes the swing from Chilla, but he can't handle Cadian, who still stands strong with the AWP, but is too strong of a hold from Passion away. Astralis called a timeout ahead of this. And their gun round goes nowhere. Their money is now in the bin. Cadian trying to run back and save this AWP in the final moments of this round, but the scoreline is now tied up on Inferno.
Just look at the way that defense is moving together as a unit. You get the flash peek, you get the flashbang from the pit player, peek towards wrap side, get one kill, two players swing back towards short, both double swing to take down a player coming up short, coming up underneath the balcony. It's absolutely wonderful from Passion, making sure two players are fighting, and then they can handle the wrap with ease. They've got a pit player, they've got a player inside the bomb site, both coordinated on the same fight after the fact. And Astralis' offense has stalled out due to the team play of Passion. 3 in a row.
Well, you saved your AWP. If you're Astralis and you've got one op and nothing else around it, Jason, what are some of the options you can go with here if you're Cadian?
Well, I mean, we saw him go up towards Banana and have some space to look into the B bomb site. He's going to expect some aggression this round, and obviously with no AK-47s to trade, those are some deep nades. Good find. You can also send Cadian in the mid round up towards middle, see if he can get a pick towards wrap side. No op yet in the hands of Passion, so Cadian probably feels a little bit of freedom to take some aggressive picks, and probably feels he's required to take some aggressive peeks in this round, as it's the only weapon they have to work with. The more I've read about this Passion team, and Fear in particular, who seems to be the one doing most of the interviews and most of the media.
He was media trained.
God, yeah, he was. Navi Academy, he gave them great credit, didn't he? Saying that they did a lovely job training him for media, but also, I mean, tactically, having some input from Blade, having some input with the Academy coach, being able to provide some structure, it's been critically important.
I reckon there'll be new ranks in 2.0.
Trying to sell the fact that Jambo is over here in the cubby. Isolated
be
and
at
alone.
the Austin Major.
I think Astralis get into this is if Cadian has a big round. And he's waiting for a peek. And
Last told me to hit him up.
Here comes the peek out from Jambo.
Schedule a meeting and
he got
see
so
if
much
we can work
info from
something
that
out.
peek as
So,
well.
And then the peek from lane off of that contact as everyone from Astralis turns to address wrap side. They can do nothing. Flashbang to activate him again. Peering into it. Down turns into the wall. Jambo, there's a nice kill. And Cadian once again is going to have to back off and save this AWP. He's got $0.
Yeah, you
saving this in the past 2 rounds.
You definitely have to get this into the next one if you're Cadian.
But what I wanted to say about Fear, he had a pretty, in my mind, it's a pretty awesome quote, to be quite fair. Every day we watch 3 or 4 demos as a team, as individuals, but they don't watch my demos. And that's why they don't have the advantage. I have the advantage. And that's just Fear basically saying, for the past 300 days of this boot camp, we have been grinding and doing every single last detail to improve and get as good as possible. And no other team is expecting us to come in and be dangerous, and that's where I'm going to have the advantage as that underdog, as that unknown factor, and he's been delivering on it through the RMR.
It really has, but Cadian going down after the time, $100 in the bank.
Yep, that's brutal. So, I mean, once the guns have come out, it couldn't have gone worse for Astralis. Stalled out twice, essentially, on this map, forced to make really late plays, desperate with the clock winding down. Now Cadian's got no money to play with. As if they needed more
dropping the flash and shooting
weighing
past
on the
was
shoulder
crazy.
of this team.
And then also, honestly, it was more crazy is knowing that he didn't peek.
You're like, what's he gonna do here?
And I mean, I guess that's one of the factors we're going to have to look out for of this Astralis attack on Inferno.
Don't let you leave the buffet with $0.
We've seen them kind of take banana control. They haven't really been able to wrestle it away from Passion. Haven't had success getting up mid and getting bracket controls. They've taken nade damage. They've stalled out on executes into the bomb site. They've been destroyed by crossfires. Hitting into the B bomb site, good late utility for Passion, who's holding on to nades, not concerned with taking some early fights so they can have some util as the round dwindles. So far, defense is looking rock solid.
straight down mid. Right into the chest of Bro.
Off
and if
difference.
Astralis didn't have enough issues, they're now going to have to play this 4v5 from the start of the round. Great timing to that smoke, just as Stair was rounding the corner and looking for his fight into the B-bomb site. Yabi was a nuisance earlier on in apartments. You said it was going to be a difficult game to try and defend against him, but if you're passive, you don't offer him up chances, then Yabi's kind of cancelled out in the apartments until he decides to start making plays.
And in the games that we've seen, Yabi has been the most consistent initiator for Astralis. He's had some of the huge
I'm
impact
definitely
rounds
the guy
in the
that goes to the
various games,
buffet,
whether
and
wins
I'm
or
on,
losses.
like,
He's been such a
the list.
force for Astralis.
They just don't let
Jambo
me
with
in
the beat
anymore,
down
bro.
mid now goes towards Rap side, has information on the mid
Empty, dude.
progression. Gonna be
Trying to watch
smoked
your armor
off.
right now. Can you? Bro's horny on the main.
Holding on to utility so late into these rounds are passion, and it's making it
Honestly,
so difficult
I
for
don't.
Astralis.
Even living in Vegas, I don't
Towards the
remember the
end of
last
the
time
rounds,
I
they
ate
just
at a
have to go
buffet.
through a heap of utility. Time is cost, and then they're down to the
last
final
time I ate
20
at a
seconds
buffet
by the
was
time they
with
get
Tim
into
the
the
Tap
bomb
Man.
site.
2-2 split, 2 halls, 2 coming up mid
That's
and short.
comedy.
Flash is at the ready for Astralis, but again, it's the 30-second mark, and they go dry into Jambo. Yabi falls in the apartments. Jambo's going to continue to wait. Stair peeks out, his hand showing, bomb down, and now Astralis have to try and get it back, and they're just melted it short. There's nowhere to go for Astralis. Another buy
Pretty
round
sure they heard
done.
me and Tim
At
coming,
least
and
the
then they
money's
prep for a
evened out
banquet.
across the squad again, but it's going to be Tech 9 armors at best, and we're looking at a situation where we're watching Passion UA build up a strong CT showing in the opening map of
The
the series.
Batman, aka
Jambo's starting to
Snack
flex with the
Prescott.
AWP. This round has just taken so long to come to fruition.
Nah.
Yabi and Stair are ready to go in
Timmy
holes
never
for quite
chokes.
some time, but they don't pull the trigger, and it's a long time to be overexposed. You're giving Passion the
said,
opportunity
not
to
gonna
move
lie,
into
last
position
time
and be
I
the
ate at a
aggressor
buffet
while
was
you're
also
setting up
with
the
Tim.
attack. And Astralis
Okay,
need a little bit of life in this
who-
T side. All
is
they've got
Tim
is the
just
pistol
always
and the
eating at
weakened by
buffets?
victories over Passion
Yeah.
in rounds 2 and 3.
Let's be very slow
By the way,
so far
Dank
on
Buzz,
T
thank
side
you
of
again for your
Astralis.
4-month primer, bro.
Passion UA haven't had to deal with a pace change yet.
Well, here it is.
This is a little faster from Astralis as they got through top middle.
Yeah, timing is kind of there, although Zero Fix is just getting back now.
Dodge the flash, although Jambo still goes down to Stair, and so now Astralis starts to move forward. The AK into the wide open,
Whoa.
and Bro to down Zero Fix. So the pace change from Astralis, and the momentum they get from taking that long kill should spur them forward to a round victory here.
should be
2
saving.
save on the other side of the map, and 1 player in the apartments not getting enough damage done. So weapons to pick up for Astralis. They'll grab them off the floor, the spoils of war, and Passion's best chance of taking 6 rounds right there falls through their fingers. So
Yeah.
Astralis up to 4.
That one hurts. That one hurts a little bit if you're Passion. Now you can wipe it off and just say, guys, forget about it. We lost a low buy. We don't need to be too stressed. Everything else has been great. That's just a mistake. It's a beautiful shot on the entrance coming up Rap side. But again, we mention it all the time as an underdog, as a team who's never been to a major before. These are rounds that you really need to convert.
It's not even just a major, dude. It's the fact that they've played 10 LAN maps as a
Yeah, that
squad.
too.
All of them in a month.
for four
this month.
For 4 of these players, this is their first competitive team overall. Only Fear has kind of been in this sort of environment with the Na'Vi Academy, and never in this environment under
Yes.
this kind of pressure.
I mean, the juxtaposition and experience is just vast. It's crazy to think that even if you just look at the organizations, you remove the players, you know, Astralis are the winningest org when it comes to major championships. Sure, haven't been there recently, but they've already got 4 titles under their belt as an organization. You look at the players, how many majors they've attended, it's incredible. So for Passion to be in a position where they're competing for a major spot against the squad
22.
today, it's an experience that no one thought they would find themselves with.
Remember when Red Lobster did bottomless shrimp and then went bankrupt next quarter?
Astralis
True.
back
I
to
also
a
remember
buy thanks
Tim
to their
saying
low
he
buy
went to
victory
Red
in the last
Lobster in
round.
that time
Not only
period.
that, but the residual cash left over now, and Jambo into the apartments. It's a double push, and it's going to work out. Yabi goes down, but you need to be careful because Cadian's still here, and he's confident to take those close fights, but it doesn't go his way. Cadian falls, and so
I'm
Passion
starting to
up 2
fade,
players.
boys. I'm not gonna
And a
lie.
last-ditch effort now going towards this B-bomb site. Stown with a great shot on Fear, but if Jacasmo can take even 1 away, the numbers heavily favor Passion, and he's done very well to grab Stown and drop into the first oranges and buy time.
Inferno's
He's just
killing
staying
me.
alive. And Stair can't do much about this. He's now spotted, flashed into the corner, and Bro last detected towards second middle. Passion UA should be
look at
taking this
something
one
out
with
of
ease.
I love all of this from
Curiosity.
Passion. The push down Banana as well. Bro's got another down to 8 HP, but he's got some time to work with. Knows one more than Banana. He goes for the fight. Good shot from Zero Fix. 6-4, but you
12
gotta
and a half.
appreciate the young players getting aggressive, not being afraid to push holes, not being afraid to be dynamic. Jambo's peeked down mid. He's been rap side. Now he's been aggressive in halls as well. And Astralis is going to take a third time out.
Oh, did I really?
So
Jesus.
very early as they are getting bodied.
I streamed 17 hours.
He's taking the hoodie off.
That one day?
All right, let's get into the new dynamic.
Yeah, he's entered gamer mode.
Yeah, we did 17 hours into
That'll
12 and a
tell you
half
how
hours.
Stumped Astralis feel at the moment.
Into, well, whatever it is
Three
right now.
timeouts.
That's why I'm kind
in
of
the first one, like 8 rounds of play.
And you're going to be fine with losing that low buy round because you bounce back immediately, right? You didn't lose that round and then allow Astralis to start building success up on the T side. You shut down that opportunity immediately. And Passion have got to realize, man, you've got Astralis calling 3 timeouts in the first half. You know you've got them on the ropes in this first half of play. Now secure the final few rounds. Get this last 2. An 8-4 scoreline would be beautiful for Passion to play with in this opening map.
Well, honestly, I'm not worried about burnout. I'm mostly worried about making sure I have good energy for Revival Series tomorrow.
Stair takes the opener. He moves up to the half wall. Utility coming in, and Stair gets training.
How many hours are you streaming this week? I don't know.
Relentless in their attack forward for Astralis, and now Fear moves into the play, realizing he's the last-ditch effort, and the in-game leader steps up with a double,
Damn, Fear, okay.
allowing the rotation to come back from Zero Fix, but Astralis stay committed. They get into the site. Cadian, in that open fight through CT spawn at range, wins the fight against Zero Fix. And Chilla left now in a 1v2.
Yeah, Fear almost hangs on to Banana. And I think this is where Astralis can really find an advantage. These sorts of aggressive plays, creating some chaos, and you're forcing Passion, for the first time perhaps on this defense, to kind of improvise and have to make individual decisions because it's so fast and so aggressive. They don't have time to coordinate and fall back into their protocols.
Yeah, they recently picked up Cadian, but then Device
so Chilla's going to pick up the off and fall away.
A health problem that's exacerbated by
and Astralis, despite the fact that they've been getting battered and bruised and destroyed by this defense, are scraping together enough rounds. The benefit of the pistol.
Seems like they realize, all right, let's just fight. We have to start just fighting them.
Bro's technically standing in for Device.
Fashion, trying to have these late round executes. It wasn't working for Astralis, but what they can do is use the firepower that they possess.
Make it an abnormal round, right? Most of their gun rounds up to this point have been those defaults. All right, let's take banana control. Let's force out a piece of utility and slowly progress back towards middle up brackets. Let's force the utility out there, and let's see what we have to work with around the 40-second mark. That's standard textbook Counter-Strike, which Passion, as we've seen throughout this RR, is very versed with. We've heard it from Fear. All the demos they've watched, they know how to play against that style. So yeah, introduce a little chaos, a little anarchy into the round, and see how these individuals can manage with the inexperience. And I love that Jambo's still peeking. He got picked off first on the low buy wrap play that Passion lost. He got picked off first peering down banana in the last round, but still give him the confidence. Still show confidence in him and let him go for these plays. And he's gonna reward you with the kill onto Yabi.
Fear swings out, loses the fight against Ster, and now Astralis moving forward. Ster has got him there, and Chikasmo leaping off the top at first oranges, but Ster does not stop. Gets his team into the bomb site, and this has to be a retake attempt. Last round of the half, and Passion UA still a long way off. Look at Chilla. He's so far away, and with Zero Face going down, Astralis are destined to tie this scoreline up.
I like this change up from Astralis. It's obviously netting them rounds. This is really smart. Just the overwhelming aggression. You can tell the players when these engagements are coming in with the speed and the pacing. They're not ready for it.
Fucking Inferno actually takes it out of me, bro. I'm not even like trying to be extra.
That's when the jitters come back. Chilla gonna nade himself to break the smoke, but he can't find anything. And Astralis burn all 3 timeouts, but it rewards them with a 6-6 half.
Just turning up the heat, applying the pressure onto his Passion. They were getting away with round wins on the CT side by just delaying, allowing the utility to be available into the late stages of the rounds. Astralis started to run out of time. A lot of situations where they were going in
probably time to retire.
Against
well, I do think if his...
So they just change it up. And
I think like
they do have that advantage today.
I don't feel comfortable ever saying something like that because I don't know really what's going on. But I would say like if it's that detrimental,
so that is a strength that they can
fair.
lean on.
But yeah, it's
create chaos.
I don't know how you're going to participate in the circuit if it's
and Stair did a really good job
that detrimental, which it can be.
We were singing his props in the first half, and definitely delivered for the T side towards the end.
I mean, 3 of the last 4 rounds for Astralis.
Like, I mean, that's kind of not the same exact thing, but that's kind of what happened in Get Right Over Time. Is basically the traveling just slowly deteriorated his body to the point where he couldn't go to events anymore without having major health problems.
All around as halftime starts coming to a close, and Passion's going to have to do the dirty work on the T side.
It's hard to know, though.
Man, just reading through the community sentiment around Passion, they have been the story of the major, as Richard was saying, and a lot of people getting behind this because it's great to see all of these unknown players come and take a 2-0 start, beating some of the world's best in Counter-Strike. But the reality of the situation is they are very likely to concede today. And I think we're all just kind of sitting on the edge of our seats wondering if the underdog story is going to happen.
The scary thing is, remember, when they got to that, when they won their first 2 best-of-3s against VP and Spirit on day 1, it was like okay, awesome. Now we got a little bit of insanity in this RMR where it didn't look like we necessarily would. But then they get into that best-of-3 against Big, and everyone kind of looks at that, and with all the majors that we've seen, all the RMRs we've seen play out, all the minors that we've seen in the past
when I travel, I don't one, I like flying, and
best
2,
chance to qualify right here, right
I don't
now.
really like
this best-of-3 against Big is your best opportunity, and if you miss out on this one, oh man,
especially if you're doing like big time zone changes.
And now we're on the verge of that collapse.
Cadian waiting top middle. Here comes the first fight his way. The boiler swing comes out too, and Cadian gets out scot-free.
When you're like traveling and you change like your sleep schedule and your times, and then on top of that, you're probably getting your quality of sleep is like fucked up. It just kind of deteriorates you a bit.
Cadian, there we go. One bullet lands eventually between the eyes.
You have like no routine.
And the bomb site is taken for Passion UA.
Oh, zero fix. Don't go down.
Damn, okay.
You're giving one over to Yabby. Now he can open things up. That's a rough fight to come back into with the Glock.
There's no kit, there's no utility, but there is a lot of headshot potential right now. Sarah and Yabby with 2 headshots back. All on Fear inside of the bomb site. And fear not, their in-game leader with a 1v2 teed up, but Sarah just bashes his head through that box. And this ends up being a victory for Astralis when no one's seen it coming in this pistol. It was such a dominant start for Passion. They get into the site, but they're inexperienced. They offer it up. They peek out. They take the fights, and they make the mistake of giving Astralis a chance.
That fight is always such a trap when you go back towards Porch and Short, when you've taken control of this bomb site.
Yeah, I mean,
you always feel like you have such an advantage, but you give up this position. You allow Yabby to close in, and then you start to see the phrase in the composure of Passion. A peek from Jambo and Lane. All the crossfire set up, the positions inside the bomb site. They willingly give themselves
most of these guys are like traveling probably around
and that's pressure.
250 days out of the year, I think.
Decisions.
At least they got the bomb plant chase. They can get a good buy again here for a force buy. AK out for Jambo.
What are the complexity boys clocking out? Like around just under 300 days or some shit?
But if you are to defeat Astralis today, you can't afford to give up rounds like that. Great shot from Jambo.
Yeah.
Yabby goes down.
Going for that late banana control and punished. Advantage to Passion.
Oh, this setup is so difficult to deal with when you're around the corner. Having Cadian just play below the sandbags there above him.
Man.
Usually guaranteed at least 1 kill, but more often than not, once the one player peaks, they get that.
Why not play more passive for time? Because he's going to get run down either way.
They haven't cleared the sandbag.
Oh,
not good. They go around the corner. Guaranteed 1 from Stare, and then a second as he transfers onto Chasmo. Now Stare under pressure. Could be traded out in a blink of an eye here. And he will be by zero fake. So 3v2, still Passion ahead, and the rotation for Astralis coming back to B.
And because that took so long to get that kill and get that second kill, they don't want to pick up the pace. They actually hold back. They contain themselves 40 seconds. If that flash lands, that's probably 2 free kills. Massive mistake. So they're going to come in a little bit late, but they've got the utility.
And like if
Bro's going to step up through the Molotov, goes for a peek with the FP9. Good dink. Once that kill,
if you have some internal stuff going on, all that stuff just exaggerates
consider the pistol round, but the force buy looked teed up. Stallin's coming back through the CT smoke. It's being watched by Zero Fix. There's a crossfire and Banana. And then the insurance policies, Chilla, out in dark. They know exactly where Stallin is. No kid on his back. He'll do as much damage to this T-side economy as he can as he hangs around. But he starts to realize now no opportunities being presented. And so he takes a few steps back to safety. The scoreline gets tied up. Passion lose the pistol, but bounce back with a force buy victory.
And that's their second of the very important rounds that they've won. And remember, they won the first gun round in the first half to allow them to calm down and settle into the game and get them started on a 5-round streak. And now obviously converting the second round after giving away the pistol on a silver platter. Exit kills on the card for Stown. That's his 5th frag of the map. Not going to get a 6th.
it's a decent point. They're talking about Stown and maybe underperformances.
You don't
I think
sleep
that
on the
has
plane
been
and wait until nighttime in the place you travel to. You don't get jet lag.
He's been here for a good while now and
Maybe
hasn't
for you,
necessarily
big dog.
had the performances we wanted to see from him when he was in heroic under Cadian.
And that's been a talking point of Stown's career. Is sometimes
I mean, it's
that,
not a bad
how
idea
good he can be, and then that sometimes
it's not a bad idea to stay up and make sure you go to bed at the normal time. But
and it was one big concern with him and Yabi's move to Astralis was, all right, now Stown's the guy. Like he is the guy. Where heroic, you could look and you say, what a good team effort this team always has, spread out across all 5 players. Yeah, Stown's usually the top dog, but now it's all on Stown's shoulders.
I mean, we talk about him. We know he's capable of being a star, but the
personally,
question is, can he become a superstar?
My best trips are
I don't think
when
we've
I
seen
sleep
that
on
yet.
a plane.
I don't think we've seen him
with a
take
lay
that
flat.
next step.
Shout
There's
out
too
Monster
many big
for that.
games, too many finals that he has gone missing.
And then once I get there, I stay up until the evening and I just pass out again.
And once again, Passion.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't think that's the case. I would say, obviously staying up and going to bed at normal time and not going to bed when you're tired is good.
Very rough economy moving forward into the gun rounds. We know how punishing it can be for CT sides on this map, and they have to be able to exploit that as the underdog. A beautiful way to get some easy round victories.
Respect underdog.
They just need to survive against 5-7s and Deagles. And a very mobile defense that we know Cadian loves to call. Stacking over towards bomb sites, trying to find the timing.
Yeah, but will it be the right bomb site? It doesn't look like it at the moment. 2 players over towards A. The long smoke comes in for the front of library.
25 seconds.
And here comes some aggressive maneuvers down Banana. Yeah, could get a little bit chaotic here in the final few seconds for Passion. He's still going to deal with his archway fights. Down to fall. But it's Bro inside of the bomb site with Stare combined and Pit. That could be a threat. Bro left alone. Finally traded out by Jambo. And that's the site taken. Passion will put the bomb down, and Astralis do not disrupt enough towards the end.
Yeah, managed very, very well from Passion. A little
Bring
bit
back
nervous
the sleep stream.
as that clock's running down, and you start seeing 2 pistols rotating over through CT spawn. They beat that
just
timing,
because I'm
though.
slowly
Able to get a
fading, and I don't
freebie.
want to stream like this, to be honest.
Because those crossfires, they can slow you down massively. Great pounce out of holes as well from Chilla, you gotta say, to bust up one side of the crossfire between Pit and the bomb site. And they take a lead 8-7.
Sleep stream? No. Nah, I just don't want to like stream just to stream. I did that towards the tail end yesterday, but that's because
it's giving them
I wasn't going to miss that match. But I'm not going to make it to the end of today, so I might as well just take the L.
What, Dingo? I don't even think it's all that strange of a way. I think everyone
understands that concept.
Yeah, pro teams have been talking about for a while. It's actually worse to lose the second round after winning the CT pistol than it is to just lose the pistol.
Yeah.
And Distral's fighting themselves
I'm not
in that
going to the
right
Formula
now.
1 race.
Passion about to get 9-7 locked in on the scoreboard.
Fear.
Yeah.
Going for an economic decision. He's kind of highlighting
Can we get a vote to let you sleep or not?
as a trademark about how they like to play. The system is being about tradability. Don't overpeak. Focus on your economy. He said specifically
I'm a human,
that he
brother.
sees and feels like a lot of pro players and pro teams don't emphasize economy nearly as much as they should.
Streaming
in
is
the
easy as
MR12
fuck.
format.
Streaming and maintaining
so
energy when
5-7,
you're
knowing it's
fucking
going
up
to be
your
a very
sleep.
weak buy.
Not
Armored
easy.
USPs for Astralis.
Just hard to have good energy
Cash to
right
sustain
now, that's
things
all.
moving forward into the half.
Like I said, I could sit here and just have a stream on and exist, but that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Astralis attempt the top mid fight down to bottom mid with USPs. No one from Passion UA giving them an opportunity. Resmoke comes out towards CT, and the rotation from Astralis is now arriving to the B-bomb side. This is
Walk
the
it
best
out?
chance for them to do
No.
damage. It starts with a dink. Will Jambo clear out Dark?
We'll finish
Will
this
Yabi come out on
godforsaken
top
map.
of this fight? Another dink here for Astralis' defense. And the pistol is doing as much as they can.
And then I'll be nice and I'll host
Straight through
Austin.
the smoke.
Holds himself back.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hold on. This is a little crazy. Let me
Although,
get back around
It's
the
a
corner.
5-7.
I will
you wouldn't have
tell
given anything
Austin
crazy over
he
that would have
needs to
allowed
do better
Astralis
with
to
his
win the
ads.
round. But there's probably a certain element of nervousness right now for Passion. Bomb gets planted, they settle into post-plant positions, and now they can calm down.
Drink a monster?
Should be a
Nah, not
comfortable
tonight.
finish to this round. Stares down and Bro just hanging around.
I got another long stream planned tomorrow,
Look at
boys. So I
Jambo,
gotta
16-7 in this
we gotta
map.
catch
He was
up
a
on
beast
some
with the
actual
op on
sleep.
the CT side. Plenty of opening kills, aggressive plays. I love to watch it.
Yeah, Mel, you were saying Jambo and Jacasmo have certainly made a name for themselves at this RMR. And they had to make a name for themselves because, let's be real, we didn't know much about them. Sure, they play a lot of online tournaments, but they don't come to the LAN environment. And there's always that, you always gain more respect when you play at LAN rather than all these online matches. And so the fact that they have only started playing LANs this month, and they're now in a position where if they win today versus Astralis, they qualify for the major. It is one of the fastest rises in terms of actually first LAN to then possibly their third LAN event is a major.
Well, him and Jambo and Fear have been playing together for a while. Jambo,
10 gifted right now
specifically mentioned he found him about 4 years ago out of Face It. Just had a high low, picked him up, and they started playing together, helped him out, get into some early competition for Jambo, and Jambo returned the favor to bring him into Passion back in March. So those two together building a career for themselves. And a qualification to the major would be an incredible first step for this duo, for this pairing.
Is Pone watching the games?
Double setup. Stone playing anti-flash. Bro down below on the porch.
I think he spotted that.
Yep. Information collected on the peek out.
Byron, thanks for the
Stone has to turn now. He can no longer stay tucked to the window. Turns from the flash regardless. Goes back into the fight. And Stone with two. Finally getting dropped off the top by Fear. And they break through the defense. But there's still one player here. Bro inside of the smoke. Into the open. They line right up for him. And Bro shuts down the final two for Passion UA. And Astralis, as soon as the money returns, as soon as the buy returns, they get a round victory.
That defense holds. Top player turning from the flashbangs perfectly. Not a pop flash. He sees it coming. Smoke to put out the Molotov. Gave Bro a lot of safety. Good job from Stout and Bro. We just talked about Stout, and he delivers in this gun round. So Astralis' economy, as weak and brittle as it was, it survives for the moment. Still looking strong. AK-47's back out for Passion.
Nah, yeah, sorry, guys. Unfortunately, I will not be abusing any sort of drugs to complete this mission. Unlucky for you guys.
Another challenge for Fear.
I need to start making poor choices, to be honest. This is ridiculous.
The rest of these T rounds to a victory on Inferno.
Pop flash setup for Yabi to be activated from Sandbags. Going to start hearing footsteps.
Jambo.
There's the Molotov. Jambo gets behind it. Doesn't want to deal with any kind of late banana take. Good nade. Deep down. Chunks a few players of Passion. And banana control.
I think streaming for 17 hours the other day was a poor choice. Okay, bro. Way to make me feel bad about it.
Yabi dropping back. Utility now heating things up. He's going to go into the fight. He's going to be confident and swing. Gets one. A lot of damage done to the second player as well. Defensive smoke deployed, and Chilla's going to have to respect it.
Yeah, and they're happy about what they found so far, the pressure they've applied. 50 seconds. That smoke goes down, probably fade around the 38-second mark.
Cadian's rotated over as well. Doesn't want to leave Ster alone on low HP to defend the B bomb site, but the problem is Cadian can walk through the smoke and his head can be spotted. It is, and the damage done. Jacasmo, the patience on the boost, and that kill on Cadian, you've got to understand, that was probably the rotator. There's got to be one player in the bomb site still, so they're going to look for him. Ster reveals his position, sprays away, runs out of bullets, and guarantees the trade kill from Chilla. So they're into the bomb site, 3v2.
Yeah,
Passion get the bomb planted and drop back.
Smells like old
do you want to go
though.
for this if you're Astralis? You don't really have money. You don't really have money to lose this round. If they commit, it's back to saving. So Bro and Stown gonna call it off. And Passion with a nice boost, with some aggression through the banana smoke at the half wall. They find the trades they need. And it's 10-8 now, and once again, that economy for Astralis on the CT side goes right back to being brittle.
Oh wait, no, I know who I'm gonna host. I know who I'm gonna host. I was gonna host him yesterday, but he was getting off. Tweet-A, bro. Tweet-A.
I love that Passion find a way to get back into that round. The way that they lose a player to Yabi's aggressive maneuver towards top banana. Do you see that as a time to go when you eventually get that trade, and then the smoke comes in, and they just pause and stay composed?
And they haven't been afraid of making those kinds of aggressive plays. That one's through a smoke. We saw in the first half with Jambo, the peeks down mid, the double push and halls. These guys have not been afraid to open up the playbook, which sometimes you see the inexperienced teams kind of forget that they have those options. So afraid to make a mistake that they don't want to get
one of the
dynamic.
major co-streams
Passion
hung out
hasn't
with
had
me.
any of those issues today.
Well, we haven't used any timeouts either. Astralis have used all of them, if you remember.
Yes. In the first 10 rounds of the game.
So Passion taking their first timeout here. Their coach Kane, a major winner with
Unfortunately,
Canada
made
back
the
in
mistake of
2017
running
in
out
a
of
PGL
toilet
Krakow
paper.
Major. At least there's some major experience.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the most experience they've got. So yeah, probably leaning on him a little bit in these moments. I know Fear's had a lot of good things to say about Kane and how he's helped him create this system and helped them improve different facets of their game.
There was a towel in the room.
Looking for it all to come to fruition here at the RMR. 2-round lead.
And let's just say that towel was never the same after that day.
And this round is critical. Astralis must have it. You lose it, you look at 8-11, and your economy's gone and decimated. An admirable battle from Astralis to recover from a 0-2 opening day out in Shanghai.
10 hours last 2 days. I just need to go to bed.
Point brought up by Katie earlier in the tournament as well. He's returned to playing with Stone and Yabby, but when they went in the heroic squad, at this point of the tournament, they would have already been through, right?
Sorry, I just figured I'd share that with you guys before I host them, so that way when I tell you guys to put Talgate in chat,
as the tournament goes on,
yeah.
You'll at least understand why.
For this squad, especially with Katie in-game leading and Alpine again.
Well, you think about it too. I mean, that heroic lineup.
Oh, you meant the guy? Oh, you weren't telling me to get a shower. You were telling.
Entire facet about them. It was easy to come together as a team. This time, they're feeling the insecurity of a roster change with Device dropping out of the major. 6, 7, 8 days of practice. 30
seconds ago. See, dude, this is what I mean. I don't like it. I don't like where I'm at mentally right now.
Fit to play again, of course.
A lot of moving factors for this Astralis team. They've been battling not only against their opponents, but against themselves and those insecurities.
Well, here comes Passion. It's going to be a commitment into the A-bomb site. Can the defense hold on? Stone.
Last map for me, guys. Last map. I'm not even finishing this series.
Finally, the play comes
I just
forward.
gotta
Jambo
listen to my body a little bit here.
Kills coming in from Stone at long. He's not alone any longer.
We still got the entire actual major to go.
For Passion. No utility to make this easier. Finally, that smoke goes down at long side and the bomb planted. But Fear and Chilla are both low. They've taken significant damage on board and now have to close out this 2v4.
Okay, well, Fear's going to position himself. Okay, both in pit. Double pit setup, no nades. There's only flashbang, or there's only smokes, excuse me. They can actually block off pit. They can block off Chilla's position to get into the bomb site if they choose to. And there's that defensive smoke. Going to deny some access, some vision.
Well, Fear's going to try and move up. Dink through that smoke. Stair takes damage on board. And Fear's running low on bullets. He's only got 6 bullets left. Chilla taking the fight.
I did 17.
They've got kits, but there's no
I did
time
17-hour stream into 12 and a half into this 10.
And they get him off.
With only like a 5-hour break between the 12 and a half yesterday to this 10-hour stream. That's why I'm cooked.
11 rounds ring out, and Astralis starting to near the end of Inferno. They are out of money. It is 12 rounds looming for Passion UA.
And if you watching this, understanding that Astralis could never do anything to ever help them ever.
Stop this to have a conversation about how they want to manage this next round's bye. What tactic they want to run. They've got to do it all on the fly. A beautiful 2 versus 3 hold from Chilla and Fear. Chilla getting all 3 kills, and Fear is just so happy he was able to find him through the smoke. A scout on Cadian, an M4 on Yabby, 2 MP9s and a Deagle. That's what Astralis have to battle themselves back into this game.
And in every single best of 3 series so far, Passion have won the opening map. Does not matter if it's their map pick or not. They will win the first map of the series. Yabby to drop Yambo.
That was gnarly.
Maybe the first time we've seen an overpeak on this T side, but it's recovered right back, and there's the flash play. Fear is ready. They know there's one more player at this B bomb site. Oh, it looks like he wants to come on through. He's going to let his team spade him. Low HP, good shot. Oh! Stair might have done the miracle.
Wow.
And it slows down the attack.
Stair with the stopper. The Deagle stays at the new box. Under a minute left. Commitment still forward. Stair goes out again with the Deagle. 2 more shots landed to the body. And finally dropped by Chilla. So a 2v2 to try and grab 12 rounds here for Passion. Bomb plant coming through. And Cadian and Bro, once again, no utility. Oh, they did actually. They found a piece of util.
You have to go for this if you're these 2 as well.
I mean, you invested everything into this. It's not like saving a scout and an MP9 is going to be the winning recipe for the next round, so they go for this. They commit back in. Chikazmo has the perfect angle with some cover of the fountain. Bro goes into the open, but Chikazmo cannot stabilize, and Chilla is so low on health, but time will start to tick. The tap on the defuse, the peek out, and Bro wins it with the MP9. Astralis throw everything they've got into winning this round and preventing Passion from reaching match point early. And they'll get onto the defuse with just enough time to secure their 9th round victory.
I told you, Stair was kind of the start of this team. That double deagle kill. First player's very, very low. The second headshot is critical. A well-constructed round from Astralis despite the difficulties. The nade kill, the follow-up push that did nothing. But Stair delivers the goods. And that might be one of the first rounds on this T side we've seen Passion really get away from themselves. A very early aggression, over peek into the B bomb site from Jambo. And a lack of utility coming in. You could see Stair with that double deagle kill. No flashbangs in his face, no Molotovs raining in. He's not having to reposition and figuring out how he wants to play it. He just gets to stand tall and drill 2 deags.
They realize how much of an opportunity that was, so they take a timeout.
But look, they've answered the bell every single time. Whenever they've been put under pressure, put into a tough situation, Passion's been able to respond.
They take a conservative approach to the economy. They don't want to throw everything they've got into this and allow Astralis back into the game. So very likely we see an 11-10 scoreline. Passion UA will have a bye going into the next round instead. But this one still has a few risks, right? You've got a Galil for Chilla, Tech-9s,
device health-related stuff.
So there is an opportunity to inflict some hurt on Astralis.
Oh, it's going to be fast. Flashbang is coming in. Stair trying to back away. Smoke's going to cover him. They're headed up ramp side. There's nobody home. It's a 3-man B start, which means they have access.
Chakasmo to fall first on Bro. But there's still a short push coming up. There's still this short player trying to sneak up into the site, and that's Jambo. He's trying to get into the bomb site with his deagle. He turns up. Can he deal with Bro? He can't, because Stair from the bomb site covers off his teammate, and Astralis stabilized. Nice position for Zero Fix. What? How has that happened? 3 kills out of nowhere for Zero Fix from the library, and he silences Astralis in an instant. Stair again has to stand up.
The bomb's disconnected, though. He still has a chance. He still has a chance. Fear. Oh, don't go through the door. And Stair hears these footsteps. He knows he can find this kill. Fear's got to be really careful. His teammate is so far away. There's no way for Zero Fix to respond after this triple kill if Fear goes down with the bomb.
Timing for Stair to look away. Letting Zero Fix make his maneuver, clear up Banana. There is a lot of time left here, but it's a dangerous situation for Fear. He doesn't want to commit into the open and get taken down because he realizes his teammate will be nowhere near him.
And Stair's even a little bit afraid to pick up a new weapon. He doesn't want the sound cue to give it away. Now sees that it's clear, takes the risk, grabs the AK-47. 25 seconds. And they have all lost track of each other. All Stair can do is huddle into the bomb site, hope and pray. But his prayers will go unanswered. The B bomb site is the finishing move for Passion. And now they've won a low buy of their own. Is he gonna go for this? Picks up a kit. No.
But no.
He wants the rifle.
Too far away.
Passion have done it. They get up to 12. 3 chances to close out the first map.
Miraculous moment out of library for Zero Fix. All looked lost, then suddenly Yabby appears on his crosshair. He starts to shoot him. 2 players appear right in front of him. They all line up.
And this map has really felt like Astralis has not been able to take advantage of the experience of their individual players because of their inexperience as a team, as a unit. We know Passion as the underdog, as guys who have played literally 10 land maps, 8 of which have been in the past week at this RMR. We know there's going to be some disorganization at times. We know there's going to be some mistakes individually at times. We've seen that. But Astralis put under pressure as well, without the cohesion of a team, are falling into that same trap as we've gone deeper into this map. Incredible sequence from Zero Fix.
That's crazy.
And Astralis
Galil 3K right there
to
is
try and
wild.
recover against pistols. Lose track of everything in that round.
Battered and bruised. Astralis go into round 22. Yabby to take some banana control. Passion away fixated upon taking top middle. And they've taken it with ease. 2 plays in the apartments.
I think they feel the confidence to be a little bit more aggressive in their openings because of the advantage in the weaponries, but here's a classic heroic stack rotating over. 3 players, wrap side, Fear, dinked up, traded off. Jambo, not ready for the follow-up, takes damage.
Canadian swinging into the open, getting taken down by Chakasmo, but the fight is still there for Astralis. They get the numbers even off the back of Chilla's kill, though, for Passion, and look at that. Timing for Stown, just about to walk into the smoke, then Jambo rounds behind him, and Stair a 1v2 that this time he cannot save in. He must attempt this to save Astralis.
And this time he knows exactly where they are, exactly where they've planted, and he's got time to work with. Walks right by a Molotov, which could be used to force out Chilla.
Stare up short. No utility. Goes into the play, clears the site. No one being spotted. The peak comes in, and Passion will draw first blood versus Astralis. They may call this a David versus Goliath battle, but as Richard reminded us this morning,
right,
it was David who won that fight.
I'm literally going to run an ad to just farm
Indeed,
ads.
The sling is
just
out.
purely for money while I rate and host somebody here. Sorry for ending and not making it all the way through today. I just, the lack of sleep the last few days has caught up with me, all right? I'll be streaming the Revival series tomorrow, and then I'll be back on my normal schedule for about a week until the major starts, and then I'll be co-streaming all the games for the major, okay? Yeah, I just don't like streaming where I just feel like I'm on autopilot, you know? All right. Yeah, Immortal. Dude. Yeah. Yeah, it fucking owned me, man. The no sleep killed me. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me rate and host today. Let's do, can we just say Flom raid justice for Tell? You guys down? Yeah, let's do Flom raid justice for Tell. Like that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right. Joel, thanks for the 17 primer. Thank you. If you guys watch on Twitch or YouTube, you guys are absolutely beautiful. We'll be absolutely crushing it during the major. You guys have made this spectacular. Like I said, sorry for running out of steam, but I am human, and the lack of sleep just kind of caught up with me the last few days, all right? All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, morning, afternoon. Thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting me. I'll see you all later. Bye, chat.